1. Understanding desert environments. 1.1 Introduction to desert ecosystems. Deserts are unique and challenging environments that require a specific set of skills and knowledge to thrive in. Living in the middle of the desert can be an incredible experience, but it also comes with its own set of difficulties. In this section, we will explore the intricacies of desert ecosystems, including the climate, weather patterns, and the adaptations of plants and animals that call the desert their home. Understanding these aspects will provide you with a solid foundation for successfully living in the middle of the desert. 1.1.1 The beauty and harshness of desert environments. Deserts are often characterized by their extreme temperatures, aridity, and sparse vegetation. However, they also possess a unique beauty and a sense of tranquility that can be captivating. The vast expanses of sand dunes, rocky landscapes, and stunning sunsets make deserts a visually striking place to live. However, it is important to recognize that the desert can also be an unforgiving and challenging environment. 1.1.2 Climate and weather patterns in the desert. Understanding the climate and weather patterns in the desert is crucial for adapting to the harsh conditions. Deserts are known for their high temperatures during the day and significant temperature drops at night. The lack of humidity in the air also contributes to the extreme heat and dryness. It is essential to be prepared for these temperature fluctuations and to take appropriate measures to protect yourself from heat-related illnesses. Additionally, deserts often experience minimal rainfall, making water scarcity a significant concern. The lack of precipitation and the high evaporation rates contribute to the aridity of the desert. It is important to understand the seasonal variations in rainfall and plan accordingly for water conservation and management. 1.1.3 Adaptations of desert plants and animals. Desert plants and animals have evolved unique adaptations to survive in the harsh desert environment. Plants have developed various strategies to conserve water, such as deep root systems, waxy coatings on leaves, and the ability to store water in their tissues. Cacti, for example, have specialized structures that allow them to store water for long periods of time. Animals in the desert have also adapted to the extreme conditions. Some animals, like camels, have the ability to store water in their humps, allowing them to survive for extended periods without drinking. Others have developed efficient cooling mechanisms, such as burrowing underground during the day or being active only during the cooler nighttime hours. Understanding these adaptations can provide valuable insights into how to live in harmony with the desert ecosystem. By observing and learning from the resilience of desert plants and animals, you can apply similar strategies to your own survival and well-being. 1.1.4 Water sources in arid landscapes. Water is a precious resource in the desert, and finding reliable sources is essential for survival. While deserts may seem devoid of water, there are various potential sources that can be tapped into. These include underground aquifers, natural springs, and even occasional rainfall. Digging wells and utilizing groundwater can provide a sustainable source of water, although it is important to be mindful of the water table levels and potential impacts on the surrounding ecosystem. Collecting and conserving rainwater is another effective method, especially during the rare instances of rainfall. Additionally, desalination techniques can be employed to convert saltwater into freshwater, although these methods can be energy-intensive. Understanding the availability and quality of water sources in your specific desert location is crucial for planning and implementing effective water management strategies. By utilizing a combination of these methods and implementing efficient irrigation techniques, you can ensure a sustainable water supply for your needs while minimizing the impact on the fragile desert ecosystem. Living in the middle of the desert requires careful consideration and preparation. By understanding the unique characteristics of desert ecosystems, including the climate, weather patterns, adaptations of plants and animals, and available water sources, you can begin to navigate the challenges and make informed decisions to thrive in this extraordinary environment. 1.2 Climate and weather patterns in the desert. Understanding the climate and weather patterns in the desert is crucial for anyone looking to live in such an extreme environment. The desert is characterized by its arid conditions, with very little rainfall and high temperatures. In this section, we will explore the climate and weather patterns that you can expect to encounter in the desert, as well as the challenges and strategies for coping with them. 1.2.1 Desert climate. Deserts are known for their unique climate, which is characterized by low precipitation and high evaporation rates. The lack of moisture in the air and the scarcity of water sources contribute to the aridity of the desert. The climate in the desert can be classified into four main types: hot desert, cold desert, coastal desert, and semi-arid desert. Hot desert climate. Hot deserts are the most common type of desert and are characterized by extremely high temperatures during the day and cooler temperatures at night. These deserts typically receive less than 10 inches of rainfall per year, and the evaporation rates are very high. The lack of cloud cover in hot deserts allows for intense solar radiation, resulting in scorching temperatures. Cold desert climate. Cold deserts, also known as polar deserts, are found in high-altitude regions and near the poles. These deserts experience extremely cold temperatures, especially during the winter months. The precipitation in cold deserts is usually in the form of snow, and the evaporation rates are relatively low. Cold deserts have a unique ecosystem adapted to survive in freezing temperatures. Coastal desert climate. Coastal deserts are located along the coastlines and are influenced by the proximity to the ocean. These deserts experience cool temperatures due to the ocean currents, and the fog that forms near the coast provides some moisture. The rainfall in coastal deserts is usually low, but the humidity levels are higher compared to other types of deserts. Semi-arid desert climate. Semi-arid deserts, also known as steppe deserts, have a climate that falls between that of a desert and a more temperate region. These deserts receive slightly more rainfall than hot deserts, but still not enough to support extensive vegetation. The temperatures in semi-arid deserts can vary greatly, with hot summers and cooler winters. 1.2.2 Weather patterns. In addition to the overall climate, it is important to understand the weather patterns that can occur in the desert. While deserts are often associated with clear skies and sunny days, they can also experience extreme weather events such as sandstorms, flash floods, and thunderstorms. Sandstorms. Sandstorms, also known as dust storms, are common in desert regions. They occur when strong winds pick up loose sand and dust particles, creating a dense cloud that reduces visibility and can be hazardous to human health. Sandstorms can last for hours or even days, and it is important to take precautions to protect yourself and your property during these events. Flash floods. Contrary to popular belief, deserts can experience flash floods, which are sudden and intense floods caused by heavy rainfall. The arid soil in the desert is unable to absorb large amounts of water quickly, leading to the rapid accumulation of water on the surface. Flash floods can be extremely dangerous, as they can occur with little to no warning. It is important to be aware of the weather forecast and to avoid low-lying areas during periods of heavy rainfall. Thunderstorms. While thunderstorms are more commonly associated with humid climates, they can occur in the desert as well. Thunderstorms in the desert are often accompanied by intense lightning, strong winds, and heavy rainfall. These storms can provide temporary relief from the heat but can also pose risks such as flash floods and lightning strikes. 1.2.3 Coping with desert climate and weather. Living in the desert requires careful planning and preparation to cope with the extreme climate and weather conditions. Here are some strategies to help you thrive in the desert. Stay hydrated. One of the most important aspects of living in the desert is staying hydrated. The arid conditions and high temperatures can lead to increased water loss through sweating and evaporation. It is essential to drink plenty of water throughout the day and to carry water with you at all times, especially when venturing outdoors. Dress appropriately. Choosing the right clothing is crucial for protecting yourself from the harsh desert environment. Opt for lightweight, loose-fitting clothing that provides sun protection and allows for airflow. Wearing a wide-brimmed hat and sunglasses can also help shield you from the intense sun. Seek shade and cool spaces. Creating shade and finding cool spaces is essential for staying comfortable in the desert. Planting trees or constructing shade structures can provide relief from the direct sunlight. Additionally, designing your dwelling with proper insulation and ventilation can help maintain cooler indoor temperatures. Monitor weather conditions. Keeping track of weather conditions is important for staying safe in the desert. Stay informed about weather forecasts and be prepared for sudden changes in weather patterns. This will allow you to take appropriate measures to protect yourself and your property. Be prepared for extreme events. Living in the desert requires being prepared for extreme weather events such as sandstorms and flash floods. Have emergency kits ready with essential supplies, including food, water, first aid supplies, and flashlights. Familiarize yourself with evacuation routes and emergency procedures in case of severe weather events. Understanding the climate and weather patterns in the desert is essential for anyone considering living in such an extreme environment. By being prepared and implementing appropriate strategies, you can thrive and enjoy the unique challenges and beauty that desert living has to offer. 1.3 Adaptations of desert plants and animals. Desert environments are characterized by extreme temperatures, limited water availability, and harsh conditions that make survival challenging for both plants and animals. However, over millions of years, desert organisms have evolved remarkable adaptations that allow them to thrive in these arid landscapes. In this section, we will explore some of the fascinating adaptations of desert plants and animals that enable them to survive and flourish in the middle of the desert. 1.3.1 Plant adaptations. 1.3.1.1 Succulent plants. One of the most common adaptations of desert plants is the ability to store water. Succulent plants, such as cacti and agaves, have thick, fleshy stems and leaves that can store large amounts of water. These plants have a specialized tissue that allows them to retain water for extended periods, enabling them to survive during long periods of drought. Additionally, succulent plants often have a waxy coating on their surface, known as a cuticle, which helps reduce water loss through evaporation. 1.3.1.2 Deep root systems. Many desert plants have developed extensive root systems that can reach deep into the ground in search of water. These deep roots allow plants to tap into underground water sources, such as aquifers, and access water that is not available on the surface. By reaching deep into the soil, desert plants can withstand prolonged periods of drought and survive in arid conditions. 1.3.1.3 Reduced leaf surface area. To minimize water loss through transpiration, desert plants often have reduced leaf surface area. This adaptation helps to conserve water by reducing the surface area exposed to the hot and dry desert air. Some desert plants even have modified leaves, such as spines or scales, which further reduce water loss while still allowing the plant to carry out photosynthesis. 1.3.1.4 CAM photosynthesis. Crassulacean acid metabolism (CAM) is a specialized form of photosynthesis that many desert plants have evolved. Unlike most plants, which open their stomata during the day to take in carbon dioxide and release oxygen, CAM plants open their stomata at night to minimize water loss through transpiration. They store the carbon dioxide absorbed at night in the form of organic acids and use it during the day to carry out photosynthesis. This adaptation allows CAM plants to conserve water while still being able to produce energy through photosynthesis. 1.3.2 Animal adaptations 1.3.2.1 Nocturnal behavior. Many desert animals have adapted to the extreme heat of the day by becoming nocturnal. By being active during the cooler nighttime hours, these animals can avoid the scorching temperatures and reduce water loss through evaporation. Nocturnal animals, such as owls, bats, and kangaroo rats, have developed enhanced night vision and other sensory adaptations to navigate and hunt in the darkness. 1.3.2.2 Water conservation. Desert animals have evolved various mechanisms to conserve water in their bodies. Some animals, like the kangaroo rat, have highly efficient kidneys that can concentrate urine and minimize water loss. Others, such as the desert tortoise, can store water in their bladders for extended periods, allowing them to survive without drinking for months. Some desert reptiles, like the horned lizard, have specialized scales that can absorb water from the environment, such as dew or rain. 1.3.2.3 Burrowing and estivation. Burrowing is a common adaptation among desert animals, providing them with protection from extreme temperatures and reducing water loss. Many desert rodents, reptiles, and insects create burrows in the ground, where they can find cooler temperatures and higher humidity. Some animals, like the desert toad, can also estivate, which is a state of dormancy similar to hibernation but occurs during hot and dry periods. Estivation allows these animals to conserve energy and water until more favorable conditions return. 1.3.2.4 Heat dissipation. To cope with the extreme heat of the desert, some animals have developed unique ways to dissipate heat from their bodies. For example, desert mammals, like jackrabbits and fennec foxes, have large ears with a network of blood vessels that help release excess heat. They can also increase their respiratory rate to cool down through evaporative cooling. Reptiles, such as desert iguanas, have the ability to change their body color to reflect sunlight and reduce heat absorption. Conclusion. The adaptations of desert plants and animals are a testament to the incredible resilience and ingenuity of nature. From succulent plants that store water to nocturnal animals that avoid the scorching heat, these adaptations allow organisms to survive and thrive in the harsh conditions of the desert. By understanding and appreciating these adaptations, we can gain valuable insights into how to live in and coexist with the middle of the desert. 1.4 Water sources in arid landscapes. Water is a precious resource in arid landscapes, and understanding the various sources of water is crucial for living in the middle of the desert. In this section, we will explore different water sources and strategies for obtaining and conserving water in arid environments. 1.4.1 Natural water sources 1.4.1.1 Springs and oases. Springs and oases are natural sources of water that can be found in some desert regions. These are areas where water from underground aquifers reaches the surface, creating lush and fertile spots in an otherwise dry landscape. Springs and oases can provide a reliable source of water for both humans and wildlife. If you are fortunate enough to have a spring or oasis nearby, it can be a valuable asset for your desert dwelling. 1.4.1.2 Rivers and streams. Although rivers and streams are not as common in deserts as in other environments, there are some desert regions where water flows year-round or during certain seasons. These water bodies can be a lifeline for both humans and wildlife. If you are planning to live near a river or stream, it is important to consider the potential risks of flash floods during heavy rainfall events. 1.4.1.3 Underground water sources. Groundwater is a significant water source in arid landscapes. It is stored in underground aquifers and can be accessed through wells. Digging wells can be a reliable way to obtain water, but it requires careful planning and consideration of the local geology and hydrology. It is essential to consult with experts or local authorities to ensure the sustainability and safety of your well. 1.4.2 Rainwater harvesting 1.4.2.1 Importance of rainwater harvesting. Rainwater harvesting is a crucial technique for collecting and utilizing water in arid landscapes. Although rainfall in deserts is generally low, it can still provide a valuable source of water, especially during the rainy season. By capturing and storing rainwater, you can supplement your water supply and reduce reliance on other sources. 1.4.2.2 Roof catchment systems. One of the most common methods of rainwater harvesting is through roof catchment systems. These systems involve collecting rainwater from the roofs of buildings and directing it into storage tanks or cisterns. It is important to ensure that the roof material is suitable for rainwater collection and that the storage tanks are properly sealed to prevent contamination. 1.4.2.3 Surface runoff harvesting. In desert landscapes, where the soil is often dry and compacted, surface runoff can be a challenge. However, by implementing techniques such as contouring the land or creating small catchment basins, you can maximize the amount of water that infiltrates the soil and replenishes groundwater. This method requires careful planning and design to ensure effective water capture. 1.4.3 Desalination 1.4.3.1 Desalination techniques. Desalination is the process of removing salt and other impurities from seawater or brackish water to make it suitable for drinking and irrigation. In coastal desert regions, where access to freshwater sources is limited, desalination can be a viable option. There are several desalination techniques available, including reverse osmosis, distillation, and electrodialysis. Each method has its advantages and considerations, such as energy requirements and waste disposal. 1.4.3.2 Solar desalination. Solar desalination is a sustainable and energy-efficient method of desalinating water. It utilizes solar energy to heat the water, causing evaporation, and then collects the condensed vapor as freshwater. Solar stills and solar-powered desalination plants are examples of solar desalination systems. This method can be particularly suitable in desert environments where sunlight is abundant. 1.4.4 Water conservation and reuse. 1.4.4.1 Importance of water conservation. Conserving water is essential in arid landscapes to ensure its sustainable use and minimize waste. By adopting water conservation practices, you can reduce your water consumption and preserve this valuable resource. Some effective water conservation strategies include fixing leaks, using water-efficient appliances and fixtures, and practicing responsible irrigation techniques. 1.4.4.2 Water recycling and reuse. Water recycling and reuse can significantly contribute to water conservation in desert environments. Greywater, which is wastewater from sources such as sinks, showers, and laundry, can be treated and reused for non-potable purposes like irrigation and toilet flushing. Implementing a greywater system can help reduce the demand for freshwater and maximize the use of available water resources. In conclusion, living in the middle of the desert requires careful consideration of water sources and efficient water management strategies. By understanding the natural water sources, implementing rainwater harvesting techniques, exploring desalination options, and practicing water conservation and reuse, you can thrive in arid landscapes while minimizing your impact on the environment. 2. Preparing for desert living. 2.1 Choosing the right desert location. Living in the middle of the desert can be a unique and rewarding experience, but it also comes with its own set of challenges. Choosing the right desert location is crucial to ensure your safety, comfort, and ability to thrive in this harsh environment. In this section, we will explore the factors to consider when selecting a desert location for your dwelling. 2.1.1 Climate and weather patterns. The first step in choosing the right desert location is to understand the climate and weather patterns of the area. Deserts can vary greatly in terms of temperature, precipitation, and wind patterns. Some deserts experience extreme heat during the day and freezing temperatures at night, while others have more moderate climates. It is important to research and consider the specific climate conditions of the desert you are interested in. 2.1.2 Water availability. Water is a critical resource in any desert environment. Before settling in a particular desert location, it is essential to assess the availability of water sources. Look for areas with access to groundwater, rivers, or lakes. Additionally, consider the proximity to water treatment facilities or the feasibility of implementing water collection and conservation systems. Adequate water supply is vital for your survival and the sustainability of your desert dwelling. 2.1.3 Vegetation and wildlife. The presence of vegetation and wildlife can indicate the health and viability of a desert location. Look for areas with diverse plant life, as it can provide shade, food, and habitat for wildlife. Healthy vegetation also helps prevent soil erosion and contributes to the overall ecosystem balance. Consider the types of wildlife that inhabit the area and their potential impact on your daily life. Some wildlife may pose risks or require specific precautions, while others can be beneficial for pest control or pollination. 2.1.4 Accessibility and infrastructure. Living in the middle of the desert often means being far away from urban centers and essential services. Consider the accessibility of the location and the distance to the nearest town or city. Assess the availability of infrastructure such as roads, electricity, and communication networks. While living off the grid can be appealing, it is important to strike a balance between seclusion and access to necessary resources and emergency services. 2.1.5 Land ownership and regulations. Before settling in a desert location, it is crucial to understand the land ownership and regulations governing the area. Research the legal aspects of land ownership, permits, and any restrictions or regulations that may apply. Some desert areas may be protected or have specific rules regarding land use, construction, or resource extraction. Ensure that you comply with all applicable laws and regulations to avoid legal issues and conflicts. 2.1.6 Natural hazards and safety considerations. Living in the desert exposes you to various natural hazards and safety considerations. Evaluate the risks associated with the chosen location, such as flash floods, sandstorms, extreme temperatures, or wildlife encounters. Take into account the availability of emergency services and the feasibility of implementing safety measures, such as building structures that can withstand strong winds or having a reliable communication system in place. 2.1.7 Cultural and social factors. Lastly, consider the cultural and social factors of the desert location you are interested in. Research the local communities and their way of life. Understand and respect the cultural heritage and traditions of the area. Engaging with the local community can provide support, knowledge, and a sense of belonging. Additionally, consider the social activities and recreational opportunities available in the area to ensure a well-rounded desert living experience. Choosing the right desert location requires careful consideration of various factors, including climate, water availability, vegetation, accessibility, land ownership, safety, and cultural aspects. By thoroughly researching and assessing these factors, you can make an informed decision that will contribute to your successful and fulfilling desert living experience. 2.2 Understanding land ownership and regulations. Living in the middle of the desert can be an exciting and rewarding experience. However, before you embark on your desert living journey, it is crucial to understand the land ownership and regulations that govern the area you wish to settle in. This knowledge will help you navigate legal requirements, ensure compliance, and avoid any potential conflicts or issues that may arise. 2.2.1 Researching land ownership. The first step in understanding land ownership in the desert is to conduct thorough research. Start by identifying the specific region or area where you intend to live. Determine whether the land is privately owned, government-owned, or falls under the jurisdiction of indigenous communities. This information will provide you with a clear understanding of who holds the legal rights to the land and who you may need to engage with during the process. To gather this information, you can consult local land records, government agencies, or hire a professional land surveyor. These resources will help you identify the boundaries and ownership status of the land you are interested in. It is essential to ensure that the land you choose is suitable for residential purposes and complies with local zoning regulations. 2.2.2 Zoning and building regulations. Once you have identified the ownership of the land, it is crucial to familiarize yourself with the zoning and building regulations specific to the area. Zoning regulations dictate how the land can be used and what types of structures can be built. These regulations are put in place to maintain the integrity of the area and protect the environment. Contact the local planning department or municipality to obtain the zoning regulations for the desert region you are interested in. These regulations will outline the permitted land uses, setbacks, building heights, and other requirements you need to adhere to when constructing your desert dwelling. It is essential to review these regulations carefully to ensure that your plans align with the local guidelines. In addition to zoning regulations, you must also consider building codes and permits. Building codes are a set of standards that ensure the safety and structural integrity of buildings. They cover various aspects, including electrical systems, plumbing, fire safety, and energy efficiency. Familiarize yourself with the building codes applicable to your desert region and ensure that your construction plans comply with these standards. Obtaining the necessary permits is another crucial aspect of building in the desert. Depending on the location and scope of your project, you may need to obtain permits for land use, construction, and environmental impact assessments. Failure to obtain the required permits can result in fines, legal issues, or even the demolition of your structure. It is advisable to consult with local authorities or hire a professional to guide you through the permit application process. 2.2.3 Indigenous land and cultural considerations. In some desert regions, indigenous communities may have ancestral rights and ownership over the land. It is essential to respect and acknowledge these rights when considering living in such areas. Engaging with the local indigenous communities and seeking their permission and guidance is not only a legal requirement but also a way to foster positive relationships and cultural understanding. Consult with the relevant indigenous authorities or community leaders to understand their land management practices, cultural protocols, and any specific regulations or restrictions that may apply. Building a respectful and collaborative relationship with the indigenous communities will not only ensure compliance with the law but also contribute to the preservation of their cultural heritage and the sustainable development of the desert region. 2.2.4 Environmental protection and conservation. Living in the desert comes with a responsibility to protect and conserve the fragile ecosystem. Many desert regions are home to unique and endangered plant and animal species that rely on the delicate balance of the environment. It is essential to be aware of any environmental regulations or protected areas that may exist in the desert region you choose to live in. Educate yourself about the local flora and fauna, and understand the potential impacts of your activities on the environment. Avoid disturbing sensitive habitats, practicing responsible waste management, and minimizing your ecological footprint. By adhering to environmental regulations and adopting sustainable practices, you can contribute to the long-term preservation of the desert ecosystem. 2.2.5 Seeking legal and professional advice. Navigating land ownership and regulations in the desert can be complex, especially if you are unfamiliar with the local laws and customs. It is advisable to seek legal and professional advice to ensure that you are fully informed and compliant with all the necessary requirements. Consulting with a lawyer specializing in land and property law will provide you with valuable insights and guidance throughout the process. They can help you understand the legal implications, review contracts, and ensure that your rights as a landowner are protected. Additionally, engaging with professionals such as land surveyors, architects, and builders who have experience in desert environments can help you navigate the specific challenges and requirements of building and living in the desert. Remember, understanding land ownership and regulations is a crucial step in preparing for desert living. By conducting thorough research, familiarizing yourself with zoning and building regulations, respecting indigenous land rights, and adopting environmentally responsible practices, you can ensure a smooth and legally compliant transition to your desert dwelling. 2.3 Building and designing desert dwellings. Living in the middle of the desert requires careful planning and consideration of the unique challenges posed by the arid environment. Building and designing desert dwellings that are both functional and sustainable is essential for thriving in this harsh landscape. In this section, we will explore the key factors to consider when constructing desert homes and provide practical tips for designing dwellings that can withstand the extreme conditions of the desert. 2.3.1 Understanding desert architecture. Desert architecture is a specialized field that focuses on designing buildings that are well suited to the unique challenges of arid environments. The principles of desert architecture aim to maximize energy efficiency, minimize water usage, and create comfortable living spaces despite the extreme temperatures. One of the key considerations in desert architecture is the orientation of the building. By aligning the structure with the prevailing winds and the path of the sun, it is possible to optimize natural ventilation and minimize heat gain. This can be achieved by placing windows and openings strategically to allow for cross-ventilation and to capture cool breezes. Another important aspect of desert architecture is the use of appropriate building materials. Traditional desert dwellings often utilize locally available materials such as adobe, rammed earth, or stone, which have excellent thermal mass properties. These materials can absorb heat during the day and release it slowly at night, helping to regulate the temperature inside the building. 2.3.2 Designing for energy efficiency. Energy efficiency is crucial in desert dwellings to reduce reliance on external energy sources and minimize the environmental impact. Here are some design considerations to enhance energy efficiency. Insulation. Proper insulation is essential to keep the interior of the dwelling cool during the scorching desert days and warm during the chilly desert nights. Insulating materials such as foam, cellulose, or fiberglass can be used in walls, roofs, and floors to prevent heat transfer. Passive solar design. Harnessing the power of the sun is a key strategy in desert architecture. By incorporating passive solar design principles, such as large south-facing windows to capture sunlight during the winter and shading devices to block direct sunlight during the summer, it is possible to reduce the need for artificial heating and cooling. Reflective roofing. Using reflective roofing materials, such as light-colored tiles or metal, can help to reduce heat absorption and keep the interior of the dwelling cooler. This can significantly decrease the energy required for cooling. 2.3.3 Water management and conservation. Water is a scarce resource in the desert, and efficient water management is crucial for sustainable living. When designing desert dwellings, it is important to consider water conservation strategies and implement systems for collecting, storing, and utilizing water efficiently. Rainwater harvesting. Capturing rainwater is an effective way to supplement water supplies in the desert. Designing roofs with gutters and downspouts that direct rainwater into storage tanks or cisterns can provide a valuable source of water for various household needs. Greywater recycling. Greywater, which is wastewater generated from activities such as bathing, laundry, and dishwashing, can be treated and reused for irrigation purposes. Designing a greywater recycling system that collects and treats greywater can help reduce water consumption and support sustainable gardening practices. Xeriscaping. Incorporating xeriscaping principles into the design of the surrounding landscape can minimize the need for irrigation. Xeriscaping involves using drought-tolerant plants, mulching, and efficient irrigation techniques to create a low-maintenance and water-efficient garden. 2.3.4 Ventilation and cooling strategies. Keeping the interior of desert dwellings cool is essential for comfort and energy efficiency. Here are some strategies to enhance ventilation and cooling. Natural ventilation. Designing the dwelling with strategically placed windows, vents, and openings can facilitate natural airflow and cross-ventilation. This can help to cool the interior by allowing hot air to escape and drawing in cooler air. Courtyards and wind towers. Traditional desert architecture often incorporates courtyards and wind towers to enhance natural ventilation. Courtyards provide shaded outdoor spaces that can help to cool the surrounding areas, while wind towers capture and direct cool breezes into the dwelling. Evaporative cooling. Evaporative cooling systems, such as swamp coolers, can be effective in arid environments. These systems use the natural process of evaporation to cool the air, making them an energy-efficient alternative to traditional air conditioning. 2.3.5 Sustainable materials and construction techniques. When building desert dwellings, it is important to consider the environmental impact of the materials and construction techniques used. Opting for sustainable materials, such as recycled or locally sourced materials, can help reduce the carbon footprint of the building. Additionally, employing construction techniques that minimize waste and maximize energy efficiency, such as prefabrication and modular construction, can further enhance sustainability. By incorporating these principles and strategies into the design and construction of desert dwellings, it is possible to create comfortable, energy-efficient, and sustainable homes that are well suited to the challenges of living in the middle of the desert. 2.4 Essential supplies and equipment for desert living. Living in the middle of the desert requires careful planning and preparation. The harsh and unforgiving environment of the desert demands that you have the right supplies and equipment to ensure your safety, comfort, and survival. In this section, we will discuss the essential items you need to have when living in the desert. 2.4.1 Water storage and filtration. Water is the most crucial resource in the desert, and it is essential to have a reliable supply of clean drinking water. Since water sources are scarce in arid landscapes, you must have adequate water storage containers. Consider using large, durable containers made of food-grade plastic or stainless steel. These containers should be tightly sealed to prevent evaporation and contamination. In addition to water storage, it is crucial to have a reliable water filtration system. Desert water sources may contain impurities and contaminants, so having a filtration system will ensure that you have access to clean and safe drinking water. There are various options available, including portable water filters, UV sterilizers, and chemical water treatment tablets. Choose a filtration system that suits your needs and is capable of removing bacteria, viruses, and other harmful substances. 2.4.2 Food and cooking supplies. When living in the desert, it is essential to have an adequate supply of non-perishable food items. Stock up on canned goods, dried fruits, nuts, grains, and other long-lasting food items that require minimal preparation. These foods will provide you with the necessary nutrients and energy to sustain yourself in the harsh desert environment. Along with food, you will need cooking supplies to prepare your meals. Portable camping stoves or solar cookers are excellent options for desert living. They are lightweight, compact, and easy to use. Additionally, make sure to have a set of cooking utensils, pots, and pans that are suitable for outdoor cooking. 2.4.3 Shelter and bedding. In the desert, shelter is crucial for protection against extreme temperatures, strong winds, and potential sandstorms. When choosing a shelter, consider a durable tent or a desert-specific shelter designed to withstand the harsh desert conditions. Look for a shelter that provides adequate ventilation and protection from the sun's rays. To ensure a comfortable night's sleep, invest in high-quality bedding suitable for desert living. Sleeping bags designed for extreme temperatures and lightweight camping mattresses are essential items to have. These will provide insulation and cushioning, ensuring a good night's rest even in the challenging desert environment. 2.4.4 Clothing and personal protection. Proper clothing is essential for desert living, as it helps protect your body from the intense heat and harmful UV rays. Opt for lightweight, loose-fitting clothing made from breathable fabrics such as cotton or linen. Long-sleeved shirts, wide-brimmed hats, and sunglasses are essential for protecting your skin and eyes from the sun. In addition to clothing, personal protection items are crucial for desert living. Sunscreen with a high SPF, lip balm with UV protection, and insect repellent are essential to protect your skin from sunburn and insect bites. It is also advisable to have a first aid kit stocked with basic medical supplies to handle minor injuries and illnesses. 2.4.5 Communication and navigation. Living in the middle of the desert requires reliable communication and navigation tools. A satellite phone or a two-way radio can be a lifeline in case of emergencies or when you need to communicate with the outside world. Additionally, a GPS device or a compass and map will help you navigate the vast desert landscape and prevent getting lost. 2.4.6 Tools and equipment. Having the right tools and equipment is essential for various tasks and emergencies in the desert. Some essential tools to have include a multi-tool, a sturdy knife, a shovel, a fire starter, and a flashlight with extra batteries. These tools will assist you in various situations, such as building shelter, starting a fire, or repairing equipment. It is also advisable to have a reliable source of power in the desert. Portable solar panels or a generator can provide electricity for charging electronic devices, powering lights, and running essential equipment. 2.4.7 Emergency supplies. Living in the desert comes with its own set of risks and challenges. It is crucial to be prepared for emergencies by having a well-stocked emergency supply kit. This kit should include items such as a fire extinguisher, a whistle, a signaling mirror, a flare gun, a first aid manual, and extra supplies of food and water. Additionally, consider having a backup power source, such as extra batteries or a portable generator, to ensure you have access to electricity during emergencies. By having these essential supplies and equipment, you will be better equipped to thrive in the middle of the desert. Remember to regularly check and replenish your supplies to ensure they are in good condition and ready for use. 3. Water management in the desert. 3.1 Conserving and collecting rainwater. Living in the middle of the desert presents unique challenges, especially when it comes to water scarcity. In arid environments, every drop of water is precious, and it is crucial to conserve and collect rainwater effectively. Rainwater harvesting is an ancient practice that can provide a sustainable source of water for various purposes, including drinking, cooking, and irrigation. In this section, we will explore different methods and techniques for conserving and collecting rainwater in the desert. 3.1.1 Understanding rainwater harvesting. Rainwater harvesting is the process of collecting and storing rainwater for future use. It is a sustainable and environmentally friendly practice that can help mitigate water scarcity in arid regions. By capturing rainwater, you can reduce your reliance on external water sources and ensure a more self-sufficient lifestyle. 3.1.2 Assessing rainwater potential. Before implementing rainwater harvesting systems, it is essential to assess the potential for rainwater collection in your specific desert location. Factors such as average rainfall, roof area, and local regulations will determine the feasibility and effectiveness of your rainwater harvesting efforts. Start by researching the average annual rainfall in your area. This information will give you an idea of how much water you can potentially collect. Keep in mind that rainfall patterns in the desert can be unpredictable, with long periods of drought followed by heavy downpours. Next, evaluate the available collection surfaces, primarily rooftops. The size and material of your roof will determine the amount of rainwater you can capture. Flat roofs are generally more suitable for rainwater harvesting, as they provide a larger surface area for collection. 3.1.3 Rainwater Collection Systems. There are various rainwater collection systems available, ranging from simple and inexpensive to more complex and costly. The choice of system will depend on your budget, available space, and water requirements. Here are some common rainwater collection systems used in desert environments. 3.1.3.1 Rain barrels. Rain barrels are a popular and straightforward method of rainwater collection. They are typically placed under downspouts to capture rainwater from the roof. Rain barrels come in different sizes and materials, such as plastic or metal. They often have a spigot at the bottom for easy access to the collected water. When using rain barrels, it is essential to keep them covered to prevent evaporation and contamination. Regularly check for any leaks or cracks and clean the barrels to maintain water quality. 3.1.3.2 Cisterns. Cisterns are larger storage tanks that can hold a significant amount of rainwater. They are usually placed underground or above ground, depending on available space and personal preference. Cisterns can be made of various materials, including concrete, plastic, or metal. To maximize rainwater collection, cisterns can be connected to multiple downspouts or gutters. It is crucial to install a filtration system to remove debris and sediment before the water enters the cistern. Additionally, cisterns should be properly sealed to prevent evaporation and maintain water quality. 3.1.3.3 Roof-mounted rainwater harvesting systems. Roof-mounted rainwater harvesting systems are more complex but offer higher water storage capacity. These systems involve installing a series of gutters, downspouts, and pipes to direct rainwater from the roof to a central storage tank. The collected water can then be filtered and treated for various uses. These systems often require professional installation and maintenance. It is important to consider the structural integrity of your roof and ensure that it can support the additional weight of the system. 3.1.4 Rainwater treatment and filtration. Rainwater collected from rooftops may contain contaminants such as dust, debris, and bird droppings. Therefore, it is crucial to implement proper treatment and filtration methods to ensure the water's safety for consumption and other uses. Before using rainwater for drinking or cooking, it is recommended to treat it with a disinfectant, such as chlorine or UV light. Filtration systems, including sediment filters and activated carbon filters, can remove impurities and improve water quality. For non-potable uses, such as irrigation or cleaning, basic filtration may be sufficient. However, it is still important to remove any large debris or sediment to prevent clogging of irrigation systems or damage to appliances. 3.1.5 Rainwater conservation tips. In addition to collecting rainwater, it is essential to adopt water conservation practices to make the most of the available resources. Here are some tips to help you conserve rainwater in the desert. Use water-efficient appliances and fixtures to minimize water wastage. Fix any leaks or drips promptly to avoid unnecessary water loss. Practice water-wise gardening techniques, such as mulching and drip irrigation. Collect and reuse graywater from showers, sinks, and laundry for non-potable purposes. Minimize outdoor water use during periods of drought or water scarcity. By combining rainwater harvesting with water conservation practices, you can significantly reduce your water footprint and thrive in the middle of the desert. Remember, rainwater harvesting is just one aspect of water management in arid environments. In the following sections, we will explore other methods, such as utilizing groundwater and desalination techniques, to ensure a sustainable water supply for desert living. 3.2 Digging wells and utilizing groundwater. Living in the middle of the desert presents unique challenges, especially when it comes to accessing water. In arid landscapes, water scarcity is a common issue, and relying solely on rainwater may not be sufficient for your needs. Therefore, it becomes essential to explore alternative water sources such as groundwater. Digging wells and utilizing groundwater can provide a reliable and sustainable water supply for your desert dwelling. In this section, we will discuss the process of digging wells and the techniques for utilizing groundwater effectively. 3.2.1 Understanding groundwater. Groundwater refers to the water that is stored beneath the Earth's surface in porous rock formations called aquifers. These aquifers act as natural reservoirs, holding vast amounts of water. In desert regions, groundwater is often the primary source of water for both human and animal consumption, as well as for irrigation purposes. Before digging a well, it is crucial to understand the characteristics of the groundwater in your area. Conducting a hydrogeological survey can provide valuable information about the depth, quality, and availability of groundwater. Consulting with local experts or hiring a professional hydrogeologist can help you assess the feasibility of accessing groundwater on your property. 3.2.2 Digging a well. Digging a well is a complex process that requires careful planning and consideration. Here are the key steps involved in digging a well. Step 1. Obtain necessary permits. Before starting any excavation work, it is essential to obtain the necessary permits and permissions from local authorities. They will guide you through the legal requirements and ensure that you comply with any regulations related to well construction. Step 2. Determine the well location. Choosing the right location for your well is crucial. Factors such as proximity to potential contamination sources, accessibility, and the depth of the water table should be taken into account. Consulting with a hydrogeologist or a well drilling professional can help you identify the optimal location for your well. Step 3. Select the well type. There are different types of wells, including dug wells, driven wells, and drilled wells. The choice of well type depends on various factors such as the depth of the water table, the geological conditions, and your budget. Consulting with a well drilling professional will help you determine the most suitable well type for your specific circumstances. Step 4. Digging the well. Once you have determined the location and type of well, the actual digging process can begin. Depending on the well type, you may need to use hand tools, machinery, or hire a professional drilling company. It is crucial to follow safety protocols and ensure that the well is constructed properly to prevent contamination and collapse. Step 5. Well casing and development. After the well has been dug, it needs to be cased to prevent the collapse of the walls and to protect the water from contamination. Well casing involves inserting a pipe into the well and sealing it with cement or grout. Once the casing is in place, the well needs to be developed by removing any debris or sediment that may have accumulated during the drilling process. Step 6. Well pump installation. To extract water from the well, a pump needs to be installed. The type of pump will depend on the depth of the water table and the volume of water required. Submersible pumps are commonly used in deep wells, while jet pumps are suitable for shallow wells. It is advisable to consult with a well drilling professional to determine the most appropriate pump for your well. 3.2.3 Utilizing groundwater. Once the well is dug and the pump is installed, you can start utilizing the groundwater for various purposes. Here are some techniques for effectively utilizing groundwater in your desert dwelling. Rainwater harvesting and groundwater recharge. In arid environments, every drop of water counts. Implementing rainwater harvesting techniques can help supplement your groundwater supply. Collecting rainwater from rooftops and directing it into storage tanks or recharge pits can recharge the aquifer and increase the availability of groundwater. Water conservation and efficient use. Conserving water is essential in desert living. Implementing water-saving practices such as installing low-flow fixtures, using efficient irrigation methods, and fixing leaks can significantly reduce water consumption. Additionally, practicing water-efficient habits like taking shorter showers and reusing greywater can further conserve this precious resource. Monitoring and maintenance. Regular monitoring and maintenance of your well and pumping system are crucial to ensure its longevity and efficiency. Periodically check the water quality, monitor the water level, and conduct any necessary repairs or maintenance. It is also advisable to have your well water tested for contaminants to ensure its safety for consumption. Community water management. In some desert communities, water scarcity is a shared challenge. Collaborating with your neighbors to manage water resources collectively can lead to more sustainable water practices. Sharing information, implementing water-saving initiatives, and exploring community-based water management strategies can help ensure the long-term availability of groundwater for everyone. Living in the middle of the desert requires careful planning and resource management. By understanding groundwater and implementing effective well digging techniques, you can secure a reliable water supply for your desert dwelling. Utilizing groundwater wisely and conserving water through efficient practices will not only meet your needs but also contribute to the sustainability of the desert ecosystem. 3.3 Desalination techniques for saltwater sources. Living in the middle of the desert presents unique challenges, especially when it comes to accessing freshwater sources. While deserts are known for their arid conditions and limited water availability, there are techniques available to convert saltwater into freshwater through a process called desalination. In this section, we will explore various desalination techniques that can be used to obtain freshwater from saltwater sources in the desert. 3.3.1 Distillation. Distillation is one of the oldest and most common methods of desalination. It involves heating saltwater to create steam, which is then condensed to produce freshwater. The process relies on the fact that salt does not evaporate with water. As the steam rises, it leaves behind the salt and impurities, resulting in freshwater condensation. There are different types of distillation techniques used for desalination. One such method is multi-stage flash distillation, where saltwater is heated in multiple stages, each at a lower pressure than the previous one. As the pressure decreases, the boiling point of water decreases, allowing it to evaporate. The steam is then condensed to produce freshwater. Another distillation technique is called multi-effect distillation, which involves using multiple evaporation chambers. The heat from the condensation process in one chamber is used to evaporate water in the next chamber, thus increasing the overall efficiency of the process. 3.3.2 Reverse osmosis. Reverse osmosis is another widely used desalination technique. It involves forcing saltwater through a semi-permeable membrane under high pressure. The membrane allows water molecules to pass through while blocking salt and other impurities. The result is freshwater on one side of the membrane and concentrated saltwater on the other. Reverse osmosis systems typically consist of multiple stages to ensure maximum efficiency. The process requires a significant amount of energy to generate the high pressure needed to push the water through the membrane. However, advancements in technology have made reverse osmosis more energy efficient over the years. 3.3.3 Electrodialysis. Electrodialysis is a desalination technique that uses an electric field to separate salt ions from water molecules. The process involves passing saltwater through a series of ion exchange membranes. These membranes have selective permeability, allowing either positive or negative ions to pass through while blocking the opposite charge. As the saltwater passes through the membranes, the positive and negative ions are attracted to electrodes of the opposite charge. This separation process results in freshwater and concentrated saltwater streams. Electrodialysis is often used in combination with other desalination techniques to enhance the overall efficiency of the process. 3.3.4 Solar desalination. Solar desalination is a sustainable and environmentally friendly method of obtaining freshwater from saltwater sources. It utilizes solar energy to heat saltwater and create steam, which is then condensed to produce freshwater. Solar desalination systems can be passive or active. Passive solar desalination systems use natural processes such as evaporation and condensation to separate freshwater from saltwater. These systems are typically low cost and simple to construct, making them suitable for small-scale applications. Active solar desalination systems, on the other hand, use solar collectors to heat saltwater and generate steam. The steam is then condensed to produce freshwater. These systems are more complex and require additional components such as pumps and heat exchangers. However, they can be more efficient and capable of producing larger quantities of freshwater. 3.3.5 Hybrid desalination systems. Hybrid desalination systems combine two or more desalination techniques to maximize efficiency and reduce energy consumption. For example, a common hybrid system is the combination of reverse osmosis and thermal desalination. In this system, reverse osmosis is used to pre-treat the saltwater, removing a significant portion of the salt and impurities. The pre-treated water is then subjected to thermal desalination, such as multi-effect distillation or multi-stage flash distillation, to further remove the remaining salt and produce freshwater. By combining different desalination techniques, hybrid systems can take advantage of the strengths of each method while minimizing their limitations. These systems offer the potential for higher freshwater production rates and improved energy efficiency. Conclusion. Desalination techniques provide a viable solution for obtaining freshwater in desert environments where saltwater sources are abundant. Whether through distillation, reverse osmosis, electrodialysis, solar desalination, or hybrid systems, it is possible to convert saltwater into freshwater suitable for various uses, including drinking, irrigation, and other domestic needs. However, it is important to consider the energy requirements, costs, and environmental impacts associated with each desalination method. Additionally, proper maintenance and monitoring of desalination systems are crucial to ensure their long-term effectiveness and sustainability in desert living. 3.4 Efficient irrigation methods for desert gardens. In arid environments, water is a precious resource, and efficient irrigation methods are essential for maintaining healthy and thriving gardens. With limited rainfall and high evaporation rates, it is crucial to optimize water usage and minimize wastage. In this section, we will explore various efficient irrigation techniques specifically designed for desert gardens. 3.4.1 Drip irrigation. Drip irrigation is one of the most efficient methods for watering plants in desert gardens. This technique involves delivering water directly to the plant's root zone, minimizing evaporation and ensuring that water is used efficiently. Drip irrigation systems consist of a network of tubes or pipes with small emitters that release water slowly and evenly. By providing water directly to the roots, drip irrigation reduces water loss due to evaporation and runoff. To set up a drip irrigation system, start by installing a main water supply line connected to a reliable water source. From the main line, distribute smaller tubes or pipes to each plant, placing emitters near the base of the plants. Drip irrigation systems can be automated using timers or controlled manually, allowing you to adjust the watering schedule based on the specific needs of your plants. 3.4.2 Micro sprinklers. Micro sprinklers are another effective irrigation method for desert gardens. These systems use low-pressure sprinkler heads that release water in a fine mist or spray, covering a larger area compared to drip irrigation. Micro sprinklers are particularly useful for watering larger plants or areas with a dense planting arrangement. When installing micro sprinklers, it is important to consider the spacing and placement of the sprinkler heads. Ensure that the water spray pattern covers the desired area without overlapping excessively. Adjust the flow rate and duration of watering to prevent water wastage and ensure that the plants receive adequate moisture. 3.4.3 Mulching. Mulching is a technique that helps conserve moisture in the soil and reduce water evaporation. By covering the soil surface with a layer of organic or inorganic material, such as wood chips, straw, or gravel, mulching helps retain moisture, suppress weed growth, and regulate soil temperature. In desert gardens, mulching plays a crucial role in water conservation. The mulch layer acts as a barrier, preventing water from evaporating quickly and reducing the need for frequent watering. Additionally, mulch helps improve soil structure and fertility over time as it decomposes, promoting healthier plant growth. When applying mulch, ensure that it is spread evenly around the base of the plants, leaving a small gap around the stem to prevent rot. Maintain a layer of mulch around 2 to 4 inches thick, replenishing it as needed to maintain its effectiveness. 3.4.4 Rainwater harvesting. Rainwater harvesting is an excellent way to supplement irrigation in desert gardens. Although rainfall may be scarce in arid regions, when it does occur, it is essential to capture and store as much water as possible. Rainwater harvesting systems collect and store rainwater for later use, reducing reliance on other water sources. To implement rainwater harvesting, start by installing gutters or channels on your roof to direct rainwater into storage containers, such as barrels or tanks. Ensure that the containers are covered to prevent evaporation and contamination. The collected rainwater can then be used for irrigation during dry periods, reducing the need for additional water sources. 3.4.5 Timing and frequency. In desert gardens, it is crucial to water plants at the right time and frequency to maximize water absorption and minimize evaporation. Watering during the early morning or late evening is ideal, as temperatures are cooler, and there is less wind, reducing water loss through evaporation. The frequency of watering will depend on various factors, including plant type, soil type, and weather conditions. It is important to monitor the moisture levels in the soil and adjust the watering schedule accordingly. Overwatering can lead to water wastage and root rot, while underwatering can stress the plants and hinder their growth. Regularly check the soil moisture by inserting your finger into the soil to determine if watering is necessary. By implementing these efficient irrigation methods, you can ensure that your desert garden receives the necessary moisture while conserving water. Remember to choose plants that are well suited to arid environments and group them according to their water needs. With proper irrigation techniques and plant selection, you can create a beautiful and sustainable oasis in the middle of the desert. 3.5 Water recycling and reuse strategies. Living in the middle of the desert presents unique challenges when it comes to water management. With limited water resources, it is crucial to adopt strategies that promote water recycling and reuse. In this section, we will explore various techniques and practices that can help you maximize the use of water in your desert dwelling. 3.5.1 Greywater recycling. Greywater refers to the wastewater generated from sources such as sinks, showers, and laundry. Instead of letting this water go to waste, you can implement greywater recycling systems to reuse it for non-potable purposes. By treating and filtering greywater, you can safely use it for irrigation, toilet flushing, and other similar applications. To set up a greywater recycling system, you will need to install a separate plumbing system that collects and diverts greywater to a treatment system. This system can include filters, settling tanks, and disinfection methods to remove impurities and pathogens. Once treated, the recycled greywater can be used to irrigate your garden or landscape, reducing the need for freshwater. 3.5.2 Rainwater harvesting. Rainwater harvesting is an effective way to collect and store rainwater for later use. In desert environments where rainfall is scarce, every drop of rain is valuable. By capturing rainwater, you can supplement your water supply and reduce reliance on other sources. To harvest rainwater, you will need to install a collection system that directs rainwater from rooftops or other surfaces into storage tanks or cisterns. These tanks can be above ground or underground, depending on your space and preferences. It is essential to ensure that the collection surfaces are clean and free from contaminants to maintain the quality of the harvested water. Once collected, rainwater can be used for various purposes, including drinking, after proper treatment, cooking, cleaning, and irrigation. Implementing a rainwater harvesting system not only conserves water but also reduces the strain on local water sources. 3.5.3 Condensation collection. In desert environments, the temperature often drops significantly at night, leading to condensation. You can harness this natural process by collecting the condensation and using it as a water source. This technique is particularly useful in areas with high humidity or during cooler seasons. To collect condensation, you can set up a system that captures the moisture from the air and directs it into a collection container. This can be achieved using simple techniques such as placing a plastic sheet or tarp on the ground or using specialized devices that facilitate condensation collection. The collected water can be used for various purposes, including drinking, cooking, and hygiene. 3.5.4 Water treatment and filtration. In desert environments, water sources may be limited and of poor quality. To make the most of available water resources, it is essential to implement water treatment and filtration systems. These systems remove impurities, contaminants, and pathogens, ensuring that the water is safe for use. There are various water treatment methods available, including physical filtration, chemical disinfection, and ultraviolet UV sterilization. Depending on the quality of the water source, you may need to employ multiple treatment techniques to achieve the desired level of purity. It is crucial to regularly maintain and monitor these systems to ensure their effectiveness. 3.5.5 Water reuse in the household. To further conserve water in your desert dwelling, it is important to adopt water-saving practices within your household. Simple measures such as fixing leaks, using low-flow fixtures, and taking shorter showers can significantly reduce water consumption. Additionally, consider reusing water whenever possible. For example, leftover drinking water can be used to water plants, and water used for washing fruits and vegetables can be reused for cleaning. Implementing a dual plumbing system can also facilitate water reuse within the household. This system separates potable water from non-potable water, allowing you to use non-potable water for activities such as toilet flushing and irrigation. 3.5.6 Community water recycling. In some desert communities, collective efforts can be made to establish water recycling systems on a larger scale. This can involve the implementation of centralized wastewater treatment plants that recycle water for various purposes, including irrigation and industrial use. By working together, communities can maximize water resources and reduce the overall strain on the local water supply. Water recycling and reuse strategies are essential for sustainable living in the desert. By adopting these practices, you can minimize water waste, conserve precious resources, and contribute to the long-term viability of your desert dwelling. Remember to always consider local regulations and guidelines when implementing water recycling systems and seek professional advice if needed. 3.6 Dealing with drought and water scarcity. Living in the middle of the desert comes with its own set of challenges, and one of the most significant challenges is dealing with drought and water scarcity. In arid landscapes, water is a precious resource, and it is essential to develop strategies to conserve and manage water effectively. In this section, we will explore various techniques and practices that can help you cope with drought and water scarcity in the desert. 3.6.1 Understanding the importance of water conservation. Water conservation is crucial when living in the middle of the desert. It not only helps you sustain your own water needs but also contributes to the overall health of the desert ecosystem. By conserving water, you can minimize the impact on local water sources and ensure their long-term sustainability. 3.6.2 Implementing water-saving techniques. There are several water-saving techniques that you can adopt to minimize water usage in your desert dwelling. 3.6.2.1 Efficient irrigation systems. One of the most effective ways to conserve water is by using efficient irrigation systems. Drip irrigation, for example, delivers water directly to the roots of plants, minimizing evaporation and water waste. Additionally, using mulch around plants can help retain moisture in the soil, reducing the need for frequent watering. 3.6.2.2 Rainwater harvesting. Rainwater harvesting is an excellent technique to collect and store rainwater for later use. Installing rain barrels or cisterns can help you capture rainwater from rooftops, which can then be used for various purposes such as watering plants, cleaning, and even drinking after proper filtration and treatment. 3.6.2.3 Greywater recycling. Greywater recycling involves reusing water from sources such as sinks, showers, and washing machines for irrigation purposes. By diverting greywater to your garden, you can reduce the amount of fresh water required for watering plants. 3.6.2.4 Xeriscaping. Xeriscaping is a landscaping technique that focuses on using drought-tolerant plants and minimizing water usage. By selecting native plants that are adapted to arid conditions, you can create a beautiful and water-efficient garden that requires minimal irrigation. 3.6.3 Conserving water indoors. Water conservation is not limited to outdoor practices, it is equally important to conserve water indoors. Here are some tips to help you save water inside your desert dwelling. 3.6.3.1 Fixing leaks. Regularly check for leaks in faucets, toilets, and pipes. Even a small leak can waste a significant amount of water over time. Fixing leaks promptly can help you conserve water and prevent unnecessary water loss. 3.6.3.2 Installing water-efficient fixtures. Consider installing water-efficient fixtures such as low-flow showerheads, faucets, and toilets. These fixtures are designed to use less water without compromising functionality, helping you save water without sacrificing comfort. 3.6.3.3 Practicing water-saving habits. Simple habits like turning off the tap while brushing your teeth, taking shorter showers, and only running the dishwasher and washing machine with full loads can significantly reduce water consumption. 3.6.4 Exploring alternative water sources. In addition to conservation practices, exploring alternative water sources can help you cope with water scarcity in the desert. 3.6.4.1 Utilizing groundwater. Digging wells and utilizing groundwater can provide a reliable source of water in the desert. However, it is essential to understand the local regulations and ensure sustainable use of groundwater to avoid depletion. 3.6.4.2 Desalination techniques. If you are located near coastal areas, desalination can be a viable option to obtain freshwater from saltwater sources. Desalination techniques such as reverse osmosis or distillation can remove salt and other impurities, making the water suitable for various uses. 3.6.4.3 Water delivery services. In some desert areas, water delivery services may be available. These services transport water to your location, ensuring a constant supply of water. However, it is important to consider the environmental impact and cost associated with this option. 3.6.5 Community water management. In desert communities, it is often beneficial to work together to manage water resources effectively. Collaborative efforts can include sharing water-saving techniques, implementing community-wide conservation programs, and establishing regulations to ensure equitable water distribution. 3.6.6 Adapting to water scarcity. Living in the middle of the desert requires adapting to water scarcity. It is essential to prioritize your water needs and find innovative ways to reduce water usage. By adopting a mindful and sustainable approach to water management, you can thrive in arid landscapes while minimizing your impact on the environment. Remember, water is a limited resource, and every drop counts. By implementing water-saving techniques, exploring alternative water sources, and working together as a community, you can successfully deal with drought and water scarcity in the middle of the desert. 4. Food production in arid environments. 4.1 Choosing drought-tolerant crops. When it comes to living in the middle of the desert, one of the biggest challenges is finding ways to sustain yourself with limited water resources. However, with careful planning and the right knowledge, it is possible to grow your own food in arid environments. Choosing drought-tolerant crops is a crucial step in ensuring a successful and sustainable food production system. In this section, we will explore the different factors to consider when selecting crops that can thrive in desert conditions. 4.1.1 Understanding the importance of drought-tolerant crops. Drought-tolerant crops are plants that have adapted to survive and thrive in water-scarce environments. These crops have developed mechanisms to efficiently use water, minimize water loss, and withstand high temperatures. By choosing drought-tolerant crops, you can significantly reduce your water consumption while still enjoying a variety of fresh and nutritious produce. 4.1.2 Factors to consider when choosing drought-tolerant crops. When selecting crops for desert living, it is essential to consider several factors to ensure their success. Here are some key considerations. 4.1.2.1 Water requirements. One of the primary factors to consider is the water requirements of the crops. Look for plants that have low water needs and can survive with minimal irrigation. Native desert plants are often excellent choices as they have evolved to thrive in arid conditions. Examples of drought-tolerant crops include cacti, succulents, and certain varieties of beans, grains, and vegetables. 4.1.2.2 Heat and sun tolerance. Desert environments are known for their scorching temperatures and intense sunlight. Therefore, it is crucial to choose crops that can tolerate high heat and sun exposure. Look for plants that have thick leaves or waxy coatings, as these adaptations help reduce water loss through transpiration. Some examples of heat and sun-tolerant crops include tomatoes, peppers, melons, and herbs like rosemary and thyme. 4.1.2.3 Soil adaptability. Desert soils often have unique characteristics, such as high alkalinity or low organic matter content. It is important to choose crops that can adapt to these soil conditions. Look for plants that are known to thrive in sandy or well-draining soils. Additionally, consider incorporating organic matter and soil amendments to improve the soil's fertility and water-holding capacity. 4.1.2.4 Short growing season. In desert regions, the growing season is often shorter due to extreme temperatures or limited water availability. Therefore, it is crucial to select crops that have a relatively short maturity period. Look for varieties that can produce a harvest within a shorter time frame, allowing you to maximize your food production during the limited growing season. 4.1.2.5 Nutritional value and diversity. While it is important to prioritize drought tolerance, don't forget to consider the nutritional value and diversity of the crops you choose. Aim for a well-rounded diet by selecting a variety of fruits, vegetables, grains, and legumes that can provide essential nutrients. Incorporating a diverse range of crops also helps to enhance the overall resilience of your food production system. 4.1.3 Examples of drought-tolerant crops. Here are some examples of drought-tolerant crops that can thrive in desert environments. 4.1.3.1 Cacti and succulents. Cacti and succulents are iconic desert plants known for their ability to store water in their fleshy stems and leaves. They require minimal watering and can survive in extreme heat and sunlight. Some edible varieties include prickly pears, agave, and aloe vera. 4.1.3.2 Beans and legumes. Certain varieties of beans and legumes are well suited for desert gardening. Examples include black-eyed peas, lentils, and chickpeas. These crops have deep root systems that help them access water from deeper soil layers. 4.1.3.3 Grains. Quinoa, amaranth, and millet are grains that are known for their drought tolerance. They can be excellent additions to your desert garden, providing a source of carbohydrates and protein. 4.1.3.4 Leafy greens and herbs. Leafy greens like spinach, Swiss chard, and kale can be grown successfully in desert environments with proper irrigation and shade. Herbs like rosemary, thyme, and oregano are also well suited for arid conditions. 4.1.4 Cultivation techniques for drought-tolerant crops. To maximize the success of your drought-tolerant crops, consider implementing the following cultivation techniques. 4.1.4.1 Mulching. Mulching helps conserve soil moisture by reducing evaporation and suppressing weed growth. Apply a layer of organic mulch around your plants to retain moisture and regulate soil temperature. 4.1.4.2 Efficient irrigation. Implement efficient irrigation techniques such as drip irrigation or soaker hoses to minimize water waste. Water your crops during the cooler parts of the day to reduce evaporation. 4.1.4.3 Companion planting. Companion planting involves growing different crops together to maximize space, deter pests, and improve overall plant health. Choose companion plants that have similar water and sunlight requirements to create a mutually beneficial growing environment. 4.1.4.4 Crop rotation. Rotate your crops each season to prevent the buildup of pests and diseases. This practice also helps maintain soil fertility and reduces the risk of nutrient depletion. By carefully selecting drought-tolerant crops and implementing appropriate cultivation techniques, you can create a thriving and sustainable food production system in the middle of the desert. Remember to monitor your plants regularly, provide adequate shade and protection when needed, and adapt your gardening practices to the specific conditions of your desert environment. 4.2 Implementing hydroponics and aquaponics systems. Living in the middle of the desert presents unique challenges when it comes to food production. The arid environment and scarcity of water make traditional farming methods difficult. However, with the implementation of hydroponics and aquaponics systems, it is possible to grow a variety of crops and raise fish in a sustainable and efficient manner. In this section, we will explore the benefits of these systems and provide practical tips for implementing them in a desert dwelling. 4.2.1 Understanding hydroponics. Hydroponics is a soilless method of growing plants that relies on a nutrient-rich water solution. This technique allows plants to grow in a controlled environment, providing them with the necessary nutrients and water directly to their roots. In a desert setting, where water is scarce, hydroponics offers a sustainable solution for cultivating crops. Benefits of hydroponics in the desert. Water efficiency. Hydroponics uses up to 90% less water compared to traditional soil-based farming. The water is recirculated within the system, minimizing wastage and maximizing efficiency. Year-round cultivation. With hydroponics, you can grow crops throughout the year, regardless of the extreme temperatures or limited rainfall in the desert. This ensures a constant supply of fresh produce. Space optimization. Hydroponic systems can be designed vertically, allowing you to maximize the use of limited space in a desert dwelling. This is particularly beneficial if you have a small garden or limited land available. Reduced pest and disease risks. Since hydroponics eliminates the need for soil, it significantly reduces the risk of pests and diseases that are commonly associated with traditional farming methods. This makes it easier to maintain healthy and thriving crops. Implementing hydroponics in the desert. To implement hydroponics in a desert environment, consider the following steps. Choose the right system. There are various types of hydroponic systems available, including nutrient film technique, NFT, deep water culture, DWC, and drip irrigation systems. Research and select a system that suits your space, budget, and crop requirements. Provide adequate lighting. In the desert, sunlight can be intense, but it may not always be sufficient for optimal plant growth. Supplemental lighting, such as LED grow lights, can ensure that your plants receive the necessary amount of light for photosynthesis. Select suitable crops. Not all crops are suitable for hydroponic cultivation. Choose crops that thrive in arid conditions and have a high tolerance for heat and low humidity. Some examples include lettuce, herbs, tomatoes, peppers, and cucumbers. Monitor and adjust nutrient levels. Regularly test the nutrient levels in your hydroponic system to ensure that your plants are receiving the right balance of nutrients. Adjust the nutrient solution as needed to promote healthy growth. Maintain proper pH levels. The pH level of the nutrient solution is crucial for plant health. Most plants thrive in a slightly acidic to neutral pH range. Regularly monitor and adjust the pH levels to optimize plant growth. Prevent algae growth. Algae can be a common issue in hydroponic systems, especially in the desert where sunlight is abundant. To prevent algae growth, cover the nutrient solution reservoir to block out light and maintain cleanliness in the system. Regularly clean and maintain the system. Proper maintenance is essential for the long-term success of your hydroponic system. Regularly clean the system, remove any debris, and check for clogs or leaks. This will help prevent nutrient imbalances and ensure the health of your plants. 4.2.2 Exploring aquaponics. Aquaponics is a sustainable farming method that combines hydroponics with aquaculture, the cultivation of fish. In an aquaponics system, the waste produced by the fish provides nutrients for the plants, while the plants filter and purify the water for the fish. This symbiotic relationship creates a closed-loop system that requires minimal inputs and produces both fish and vegetables. Benefits of aquaponics in the desert. Water conservation. Aquaponics uses significantly less water compared to traditional farming methods. The water is recirculated between the fish tank and the plant beds, reducing water consumption and minimizing waste. Nutrient-rich produce. The waste produced by the fish serves as a natural fertilizer for the plants, resulting in nutrient-rich produce. This eliminates the need for synthetic fertilizers and promotes organic farming practices. Diverse food production. Aquaponics allows you to grow a variety of crops and raise fish simultaneously. This provides a sustainable source of both protein and fresh produce, ensuring a well-rounded diet in a desert environment. Efficient use of space. Similar to hydroponics, aquaponics can be designed vertically, making it ideal for small spaces. By utilizing vertical growing systems, you can maximize the use of limited land and grow a larger quantity of crops. Implementing aquaponics in the desert. To implement aquaponics in a desert environment, follow these steps. Choose the right fish. Select fish species that are well suited to the desert climate and can tolerate fluctuating temperatures. Tilapia, catfish, and trout are commonly used in aquaponics systems. Research the specific requirements of each fish species and ensure they are compatible with the desert environment. Design the system. Determine the size and layout of your aquaponics system based on the available space and the number of fish and plants you intend to cultivate. Consider factors such as water filtration, aeration, and the ratio of fish to plants. Establish the fish tank. Set up a fish tank that provides adequate space and filtration for the fish. Monitor water quality parameters such as temperature, pH, ammonia, and nitrate levels to ensure a healthy environment for the fish. Integrate the plant beds. Connect the plant beds to the fish tank using a water pump or gravity flow system. The plants will receive nutrient-rich water from the fish tank, and their roots will filter and purify the water before it returns to the fish tank. Select suitable plants. Choose plants that thrive in the desert climate and have a high tolerance for hydroponic cultivation. Leafy greens, herbs, and certain fruiting plants like tomatoes and peppers are well suited for aquaponics systems. Monitor and maintain the system. Regularly monitor the water quality, pH levels, and nutrient levels in the system. Adjust the fish feeding and plant nutrient requirements accordingly. Perform routine maintenance tasks such as cleaning filters, removing debris, and checking for any signs of disease or stress in the fish or plants. By implementing hydroponics and aquaponics systems in your desert dwelling, you can overcome the challenges of food production in arid environments. These sustainable and efficient methods will not only provide you with a constant supply of fresh produce but also contribute to water conservation and self-sufficiency. With careful planning and maintenance, you can thrive in the middle of the desert and enjoy the benefits of homegrown food. 4.3 Utilizing shade and windbreaks for crop protection. In the harsh and arid environment of the desert, growing crops can be a challenging task. The scorching sun and strong winds can quickly damage or even destroy delicate plants. However, with proper planning and the implementation of shade and windbreaks, you can protect your crops and create a more favorable growing environment. 4.3.1 Understanding the importance of shade. Shade plays a crucial role in protecting crops from the intense heat of the desert. By providing a shaded area, you can reduce the temperature and create a more suitable microclimate for your plants. Here are some effective methods for utilizing shade in your desert garden. 4.3.1.1 Natural shade. One of the simplest ways to provide shade is by utilizing natural structures such as trees or tall shrubs. These plants can create a canopy that filters the sunlight and casts a shadow over your crops. When selecting trees for shade, opt for those that are well adapted to the desert environment, such as mesquite or palo verde trees. 4.3.1.2 Artificial shade. If natural shade is limited or not feasible in your desert location, you can create artificial shade structures. These can include shade cloth, shade sails, or even simple structures made from wood or metal. Place these structures strategically to provide shade during the hottest parts of the day, typically from mid-morning to late afternoon. 4.3.1.3 Row covering. Another effective method for providing shade is by using row covers. These are lightweight fabrics that can be draped over rows of crops to create a shaded area. Row covers not only protect plants from excessive heat but also help to retain moisture in the soil, reducing water evaporation. 4.3.2 Implementing windbreaks for crop protection. In addition to shade, windbreaks are essential for protecting crops from the strong desert winds. These winds can cause desiccation, uproot plants, and hinder their growth. By implementing windbreaks, you can create a more sheltered environment for your crops. Here are some effective methods for utilizing windbreaks in your desert garden. 4.3.2.1 Natural windbreaks. Natural windbreaks are created using trees, shrubs, or other vegetation that can act as a barrier against the wind. Planting windbreaks on the windward side of your garden can help to redirect the wind and reduce its impact on your crops. Choose windbreak plants that are well adapted to the desert environment and can withstand strong winds, such as desert willow or juniper. 4.3.2.2 Artificial windbreaks. If natural windbreaks are not feasible in your desert location, you can create artificial windbreaks using man-made structures. These can include walls, fences, or even stacked bales of hay. Place these structures strategically to block or redirect the wind away from your crops. 4.3.2.3 Intercropping and companion planting. Intercropping and companion planting techniques can also help to create natural windbreaks. By planting taller crops or sturdy plants around more delicate ones, you can provide them with protection from the wind. For example, planting corn or sunflowers around your vegetable garden can act as a natural windbreak. 4.3.3 Maximizing the benefits of shade and windbreaks. To maximize the benefits of shade and windbreaks in your desert garden, consider the following tips. 4.3.3.1 Proper placement. When implementing shade and windbreaks, it is crucial to consider the orientation of your garden and the prevailing wind direction. Place shade structures and windbreaks on the windward side of your crops to provide maximum protection. 4.3.3.2 Adjustability. In the desert, the sun's position and wind direction can change throughout the day and year. To adapt to these changes, make sure your shade structures and windbreaks are adjustable. This will allow you to modify their position or angle to provide optimal protection at different times. 4.3.3.3 Maintenance. Regular maintenance of shade structures and windbreaks is essential to ensure their effectiveness. Trim and prune trees and shrubs regularly to maintain their shape and density. Repair any damaged or worn out shade cloth or artificial windbreaks promptly. 4.3.3.4 Water management. Shade structures and windbreaks can affect the water requirements of your crops. They can reduce evaporation and create a more humid microclimate. Adjust your watering schedule accordingly to prevent overwatering or underwatering. By utilizing shade and windbreaks in your desert garden, you can create a more favorable environment for your crops. These techniques will help protect your plants from the harsh desert conditions, allowing them to thrive and provide you with a bountiful harvest. 4.4 Managing pests and diseases in desert gardens. When it comes to gardening in the desert, one of the challenges you may face is managing pests and diseases. While the arid environment may seem inhospitable to many organisms, there are still pests and diseases that can affect your plants. However, with proper planning and proactive measures, you can effectively manage these issues and ensure the health and productivity of your desert garden. 4.4.1 Identifying common pests in desert gardens. Before you can effectively manage pests in your desert garden, it is important to be able to identify them. Here are some common pests you may encounter in arid environments. Aphids. These small, soft-bodied insects feed on the sap of plants and can cause stunted growth and distorted leaves. Spider mites. These tiny arachnids can cause yellowing and stippling of leaves, as well as the formation of fine webbing. Whiteflies. These small, winged insects can cause yellowing of leaves and the spread of viral diseases. Caterpillars. The larvae of butterflies and moths, caterpillars can chew on leaves and cause significant damage to plants. Snails and slugs. These mollusks can feed on the leaves and stems of plants, leaving behind a slimy trail. Rodents. Mice, rats, and other rodents can damage plants by chewing on stems and roots. 4.4.2 Preventing pest infestations. Prevention is key when it comes to managing pests in your desert garden. By implementing the following practices, you can reduce the likelihood of pest infestations. 4.4.2.1 Maintain healthy plants. Healthy plants are more resistant to pests and diseases. Ensure that your plants receive adequate water, nutrients, and sunlight. Regularly inspect your plants for any signs of stress or disease, and promptly address any issues that arise. 4.4.2.2 Practice crop rotation. Rotate your crops each season to prevent the buildup of pests and diseases in the soil. By planting different crops in different areas of your garden, you can disrupt the life cycles of pests and reduce the risk of infestations. 4.4.2.3 Use companion planting. Companion planting involves growing certain plants together to deter pests or attract beneficial insects. For example, planting marigolds can help repel aphids, while attracting ladybugs that feed on them. Research companion planting strategies that are effective for your specific desert environment. 4.4.2.4 Implement physical barriers. Use physical barriers such as netting, row covers, or fences to protect your plants from pests. This can be particularly effective for keeping out larger pests like rodents. Ensure that the barriers are properly installed and regularly maintained. 4.4.2.5 Practice good garden hygiene. Maintain a clean and tidy garden by removing any fallen leaves, weeds, or debris that can harbor pests. Regularly prune your plants to improve air circulation and reduce the risk of fungal diseases. 4.4.3 Natural pest control methods. In addition to prevention, there are several natural pest control methods that you can employ in your desert garden. These methods are environmentally friendly and do not rely on the use of harmful chemicals. Here are some effective techniques. 4.4.3.1 Handpicking. For larger pests like caterpillars or snails, handpicking can be an effective method of control. Simply remove the pests from your plants and dispose of them properly. 4.4.3.2 Beneficial insects. Encourage beneficial insects such as ladybugs, lacewings, and praying mantises to your garden. These insects feed on pests and can help keep their populations in check. You can attract beneficial insects by planting flowers that provide nectar and pollen, as well as by providing suitable habitats such as insect hotels. 4.4.3.3 Homemade pest sprays. You can make your own natural pest sprays using ingredients like neem oil, garlic, or hot pepper. These sprays can help deter pests and reduce their populations. However, it is important to follow the instructions carefully and avoid spraying during hot or windy conditions. 4.4.3.4 Biological controls. Consider using biological controls such as nematodes or Bacillus thuringiensis (BT) to target specific pests. These organisms can be applied to the soil or plants and can help control pests without harming beneficial insects or the environment. 4.4.4 Managing diseases in desert gardens. In addition to pests, diseases can also pose a threat to your desert garden. Here are some tips for managing diseases effectively. 4.4.4.1 Plant disease-resistant varieties. When selecting plants for your desert garden, choose disease-resistant varieties whenever possible. These plants have been bred to be more resistant to common diseases and can help reduce the risk of infection. 4.4.4.2 Proper watering techniques. Avoid overwatering your plants, as excess moisture can create a favorable environment for fungal diseases. Water your plants at the base, avoiding wetting the leaves whenever possible. Ensure that your plants have adequate drainage to prevent waterlogged soil. 4.4.4.3 Crop rotation. As mentioned earlier, practicing crop rotation can help prevent the buildup of diseases in the soil. Avoid planting the same crop in the same location year after year. 4.4.4.4 Sanitation. Practice good garden hygiene by removing any infected plant material promptly. This includes removing and disposing of infected leaves, stems, or fruits. Do not compost infected plant material, as it can spread diseases. 4.4.4.5 Fungicides. In severe cases, when other methods have failed, you may consider using fungicides to control fungal diseases. However, it is important to use them as a last resort and follow the instructions carefully. Choose organic or low-toxicity options whenever possible. By implementing these pest and disease management strategies, you can maintain a healthy and productive desert garden. Remember to regularly monitor your plants for any signs of pests or diseases and take action promptly to prevent further damage. With proper care and attention, you can enjoy a thriving garden in the middle of the desert. 5. Energy solutions for desert living. 5.1 Solar power and photovoltaic systems. Living in the middle of the desert presents unique challenges, especially when it comes to accessing reliable sources of energy. However, with the abundance of sunlight in arid regions, harnessing solar power through photovoltaic systems can be an excellent solution. In this section, we will explore the benefits of solar power and provide guidance on how to implement photovoltaic systems for your desert dwelling. 5.1.1 Understanding solar power. Solar power is the conversion of sunlight into electricity using photovoltaic PV cells. These cells are made of semiconductor materials, such as silicon, that absorb photons from the sun and generate an electric current. The electricity produced can be used to power various appliances and systems in your desert home. One of the primary advantages of solar power is its sustainability. Unlike fossil fuels, which contribute to environmental degradation and climate change, solar energy is clean and renewable. By harnessing the power of the sun, you can reduce your carbon footprint and contribute to a more sustainable future. 5.1.2 Benefits of solar power in the desert. Living in the middle of the desert provides a unique advantage for solar power generation. The abundance of sunlight in arid regions makes it an ideal location for harnessing solar energy. Here are some key benefits of using solar power in the desert. 1. Abundant sunlight. Desert regions receive a high amount of direct sunlight throughout the year. This means that solar panels can generate a significant amount of electricity, even during the hottest months. 2. Energy independence. By installing a solar power system, you can become less reliant on the traditional power grid. This independence is particularly valuable in remote desert areas where access to electricity may be limited. 3. Cost savings. While the initial investment in solar panels and equipment may seem high, the long-term cost savings can be substantial. Once installed, solar power systems require minimal maintenance and can significantly reduce or eliminate your monthly electricity bills. 4. Environmental benefits. Solar power is a clean and renewable energy source. By using solar energy, you can reduce your carbon footprint and contribute to the preservation of the desert ecosystem. 5. Reliability. Solar power systems are known for their reliability. As long as the sun is shining, your solar panels will continue to generate electricity, providing a consistent and uninterrupted power supply. 5.1.3 Implementing photovoltaic systems. To harness solar power effectively in the desert, you need to install a photovoltaic system. Here are the key steps to implement a solar power system for your desert dwelling. 1. Assess your energy needs. Start by evaluating your energy requirements. Consider the appliances and systems you need to power, such as lighting, cooling, heating, and water pumps. This assessment will help you determine the size and capacity of the solar power system you need. 2. Determine the solar panel placement. Identify the optimal location for installing solar panels. In the desert, it is crucial to place the panels where they can receive maximum sunlight exposure throughout the day. Avoid shading from nearby structures or vegetation that may hinder the efficiency of the panels. 3. Choose the right solar panels. Select high-quality solar panels that are suitable for desert conditions. Look for panels with a high efficiency rating and durability to withstand extreme temperatures, sandstorms, and dust accumulation. Consult with solar panel suppliers or experts to ensure you choose the most suitable panels for your needs. 4. Install the solar panels. Once you have chosen the solar panels, hire a professional installer to ensure proper and safe installation. The installer will mount the panels securely on your roof or on a ground-mounted structure, ensuring they are angled correctly to maximize sunlight absorption. 5. Connect the system to an inverter. The electricity generated by the solar panels is in the form of direct current DC. To use this electricity in your home, it needs to be converted into alternating current AC using an inverter. The inverter connects the solar power system to your home's electrical system, allowing you to use the generated electricity. 6. Battery storage optional. Consider incorporating battery storage into your solar power system. Batteries allow you to store excess electricity generated during the day for use during the night or on cloudy days when sunlight is limited. This ensures a continuous power supply even when the sun is not shining. 7. Monitor and maintain the system. Regularly monitor the performance of your solar power system to ensure it is functioning optimally. Clean the solar panels periodically to remove dust and debris that may reduce their efficiency. Additionally, schedule routine maintenance checks to identify and address any issues promptly. 5.1.4 Maximizing solar power efficiency. To maximize the efficiency of your solar power system in the desert, consider the following tips. 1. Optimal panel orientation. Ensure that your solar panels are angled correctly to receive maximum sunlight exposure. In the northern hemisphere, panels should face south to capture the most sunlight throughout the day. 2. Regular cleaning. Dust accumulation on solar panels can reduce their efficiency. Clean the panels regularly using water and a soft brush to remove dust, sand, and debris. 3. Shade management. Minimize shading on your solar panels by trimming nearby vegetation or adjusting the placement of structures that cast shadows. Even partial shading can significantly impact the performance of your solar power system. 4. Efficient energy use. Conserve energy by using energy-efficient appliances and systems in your desert home. This will reduce your overall energy consumption and allow your solar power system to meet your needs more effectively. 5. Monitor energy consumption. Track your energy consumption patterns to identify areas where you can further optimize energy usage. This awareness will help you make informed decisions about energy conservation and efficiency. By implementing a solar power system and following these guidelines, you can harness the abundant sunlight in the desert to power your home sustainably and efficiently. Solar power not only provides energy independence but also contributes to the preservation of the fragile desert ecosystem. Embrace the power of the sun and enjoy the benefits of clean and renewable energy in your desert dwelling. 5.2 Wind energy and turbine installation. Living in the middle of the desert comes with its own set of challenges, including limited access to traditional sources of energy. However, the desert is known for its strong and consistent winds, making it an ideal location for harnessing wind energy. In this section, we will explore the benefits of wind energy and the installation of wind turbines in desert environments. 5.2.1 Understanding wind energy. Wind energy is a renewable and clean source of power that can be harnessed to generate electricity. It works by converting the kinetic energy of the wind into mechanical energy, which is then transformed into electrical energy through the use of wind turbines. Wind energy is abundant in desert regions due to the constant and strong winds that blow across the arid landscapes. Harnessing wind energy offers several advantages for those living in the middle of the desert. Renewable and sustainable. Wind energy is a renewable resource, meaning it will never run out as long as the wind continues to blow. Unlike fossil fuels, wind energy does not produce harmful emissions or contribute to climate change. Cost-effective. Once a wind turbine is installed, the cost of generating electricity from wind energy is relatively low. This can help reduce energy costs for desert dwellers, especially in remote areas where access to traditional power grids may be limited. Independence from the grid. By utilizing wind energy, desert residents can become less reliant on the traditional power grid. This independence provides a sense of self-sufficiency and resilience, particularly in areas prone to power outages or where grid infrastructure is unreliable. Environmental benefits. Wind energy is a clean source of power that does not produce air or water pollution. By choosing wind energy over fossil fuels, desert dwellers can contribute to the preservation of the fragile desert ecosystem and reduce their carbon footprint. 5.2.2 Wind turbine installation. To harness wind energy effectively, it is essential to install wind turbines strategically. Here are the key steps involved in wind turbine installation in desert environments. 5.2.2.1 Assessing wind resources. Before installing wind turbines, it is crucial to assess the wind resources in the specific desert location. This involves measuring wind speed, direction, and consistency over an extended period. Wind resource assessment can be done using anemometers, which are devices that measure wind speed, and wind vanes, which determine wind direction. 5.2.2.2 Selecting the right wind turbine. Choosing the appropriate wind turbine is essential for maximizing energy production in desert environments. Factors to consider include the average wind speed, the height of the turbine tower, and the power output required. It is advisable to consult with wind energy experts or manufacturers to determine the most suitable turbine for the specific desert location. 5.2.2.3 Obtaining permits and permissions. Before installing wind turbines, it is necessary to obtain the required permits and permissions from local authorities. This may involve submitting applications, environmental impact assessments, and complying with any regulations or restrictions related to wind energy installations. 5.2.2.4 Site preparation. Preparing the installation site is crucial for the successful operation of wind turbines. This involves clearing the area of any obstructions that could interfere with wind flow, such as trees or buildings. The site should also be leveled and compacted to ensure a stable foundation for the turbine tower. 5.2.2.5 Installing the turbine. The installation process typically involves assembling the turbine components, including the tower, rotor, and blades. Specialized equipment and experienced technicians are required to safely erect the turbine. Once installed, the turbine must be connected to the electrical grid or an off-grid energy storage system to transmit the generated electricity. 5.2.2.6 Maintenance and monitoring. Regular maintenance and monitoring are essential to ensure the optimal performance and longevity of wind turbines. This includes inspecting the turbine components, lubricating moving parts, and addressing any issues or malfunctions promptly. It is advisable to establish a maintenance schedule and work with qualified technicians or wind energy service providers. 5.2.3 Maximizing wind energy efficiency. To maximize the efficiency and effectiveness of wind energy systems in desert environments, consider the following tips. Proper turbine placement. Position the wind turbines in areas with unobstructed wind flow, away from tall structures or natural features that may cause turbulence or wind shadow. Regular maintenance. Conduct routine maintenance checks to ensure the turbines are operating optimally. This includes cleaning the blades, inspecting electrical connections, and monitoring performance. Monitoring and data analysis. Utilize monitoring systems to collect data on wind speed, energy production, and turbine performance. Analyzing this data can help identify opportunities for improvement and optimize energy generation. Battery storage. Consider integrating battery storage systems to store excess energy generated by the wind turbines. This allows for a more consistent and reliable power supply, especially during periods of low wind activity. Community collaboration. Explore the possibility of community-based wind energy projects, where multiple households or businesses share the costs and benefits of wind turbine installations. This can foster a sense of community and promote sustainable energy practices. Harnessing wind energy through the installation of wind turbines offers a viable and sustainable solution for desert dwellers seeking to reduce their reliance on traditional energy sources. By understanding the benefits of wind energy and following the proper installation and maintenance procedures, desert residents can enjoy a clean and renewable source of power while minimizing their impact on the environment. 5.3 Geothermal heating and cooling systems. In the harsh and extreme conditions of the desert, maintaining a comfortable living environment can be a challenge. The scorching heat during the day and the freezing temperatures at night can make it difficult to regulate the temperature inside your dwelling. However, there is a sustainable and efficient solution that can help you achieve a comfortable indoor climate: geothermal heating and cooling systems. 5.3.1 Understanding geothermal energy. Geothermal energy is a renewable energy source that harnesses the heat stored within the Earth's crust. It is a clean and sustainable alternative to traditional heating and cooling methods. Geothermal systems utilize the constant temperature of the ground to provide heating in the winter and cooling in the summer. 5.3.2 How geothermal systems work. Geothermal heating and cooling systems work by transferring heat between the ground and your living space. These systems consist of three main components: the ground loop, the heat pump, and the distribution system. 5.3.2.1 The ground loop. The ground loop is a series of pipes buried underground, either horizontally or vertically, depending on the available space. These pipes are filled with a heat transfer fluid, usually a mixture of water and antifreeze. The fluid circulates through the pipes, absorbing heat from the ground in the winter and dissipating heat into the ground in the summer. 5.3.2.2 The heat pump. The heat pump is the heart of the geothermal system. It is responsible for transferring the heat between the ground loop and your living space. The heat pump uses a compressor and a refrigerant to extract heat from the ground loop and distribute it throughout your home during the winter. In the summer, the process is reversed, and the heat pump extracts heat from your home and transfers it back into the ground loop, effectively cooling your living space. 5.3.2.3 The distribution system. The distribution system of a geothermal system is similar to that of traditional heating and cooling systems. It consists of ductwork or radiant flooring that distributes the heated or cooled air throughout your home. The distribution system ensures that the temperature is evenly regulated in every room, providing a comfortable living environment. 5.3.3 Benefits of geothermal heating and cooling systems. Geothermal systems offer several advantages for desert dwellers, making them an excellent choice for maintaining a comfortable indoor climate. Here are some of the benefits. 5.3.3.1 Energy efficiency. Geothermal systems are highly energy efficient compared to traditional heating and cooling methods. They can provide up to 4 units of heating or cooling for every unit of electricity used, resulting in significant energy savings. By utilizing the constant temperature of the ground, geothermal systems require less energy to heat or cool your home, reducing your carbon footprint and lowering your energy bills. 5.3.3.2 Cost savings. Although the initial installation cost of a geothermal system may be higher than traditional heating and cooling systems, the long-term cost savings can outweigh the initial investment. Geothermal systems have lower operating costs due to their energy efficiency, resulting in reduced utility bills over time. Additionally, geothermal systems require minimal maintenance, further reducing the overall cost of ownership. 5.3.3.3 Environmental friendliness. Geothermal systems are environmentally friendly and produce zero greenhouse gas emissions during operation. By utilizing renewable energy from the Earth's crust, geothermal systems help reduce reliance on fossil fuels and contribute to a cleaner and healthier environment. Choosing geothermal heating and cooling systems aligns with sustainable living practices and demonstrates a commitment to reducing your ecological impact. 5.3.3.4 Consistent comfort. One of the significant advantages of geothermal systems is their ability to provide consistent comfort throughout the year. Unlike traditional heating and cooling systems that rely on external air temperatures, geothermal systems utilize the stable temperature of the ground. This stability ensures that your home remains comfortable regardless of the extreme temperatures outside, allowing you to enjoy a consistent and pleasant living environment. 5.3.3.5 Durability and longevity. Geothermal systems are known for their durability and longevity. The ground loop pipes can last for several decades, and a heat pump typically has a lifespan of 20 to 25 years. With proper maintenance and regular inspections, geothermal systems can provide reliable heating and cooling for many years, making them a wise investment for long-term desert living. 5.3.4 Considerations for installing geothermal systems in the desert. While geothermal heating and cooling systems offer numerous benefits, there are a few considerations to keep in mind when installing them in desert environments. 5.3.4.1 Ground composition. The composition of the ground in the desert can vary significantly, ranging from sandy soil to rocky terrain. It is essential to assess the ground composition before installing a geothermal system. Sandy soil can provide excellent heat transfer, while rocky terrain may require specialized drilling techniques. Consulting with a geothermal system professional will ensure that the system is properly designed and installed to maximize its efficiency. 5.3.4.2 Water availability. Water is a valuable resource in arid environments, and it is crucial to consider its availability when installing a geothermal system. The installation process requires water for drilling and filling the ground loop pipes. It is important to assess the water source and ensure that it aligns with sustainable water management practices. Additionally, implementing water-saving measures in other areas of your desert dwelling can help offset the water usage of the geothermal system. 5.3.4.3 System sizing. Proper system sizing is essential for the optimal performance of a geothermal heating and cooling system. Factors such as the size of your dwelling, insulation levels, and local climate conditions need to be considered when determining the appropriate system size. Undersized systems may struggle to meet the heating and cooling demands, while oversized systems can lead to inefficiencies and increased costs. Consulting with a geothermal system professional will ensure that the system is correctly sized for your specific needs. Conclusion. Geothermal heating and cooling systems provide an efficient and sustainable solution for maintaining a comfortable living environment in the middle of the desert. By harnessing the Earth's natural heat, these systems offer energy efficiency, cost savings, and environmental friendliness. With proper installation and maintenance, geothermal systems can provide consistent comfort and durability for many years. Consider the unique considerations of desert environments when installing a geothermal system, such as ground composition, water availability, and system sizing. Embracing geothermal technology in your desert dwelling will not only enhance your comfort but also contribute to a more sustainable and eco-friendly lifestyle. 5.4 Energy efficiency and conservation techniques. Living in the middle of the desert presents unique challenges when it comes to energy consumption and conservation. With limited resources and extreme temperatures, it is crucial to adopt energy-efficient practices to minimize environmental impact and reduce reliance on external energy sources. In this section, we will explore various techniques and strategies for energy efficiency and conservation in desert living. 5.4.1 Insulation and passive cooling. One of the most effective ways to conserve energy in desert dwellings is through proper insulation and passive cooling techniques. Insulation helps to keep the interior of your home cool during the scorching desert days and warm during the chilly desert nights. By reducing heat transfer, insulation minimizes the need for excessive air conditioning or heating. Consider using materials with high insulation properties, such as foam insulation, reflective roof coatings, and double-glazed windows. These materials help to create a thermal barrier, preventing heat from entering or escaping your home. Additionally, sealing any gaps or cracks in windows, doors, and walls will further enhance insulation and energy efficiency. Passive cooling techniques can also significantly reduce energy consumption. Design your home with features such as shaded windows, overhangs, and awnings to block direct sunlight and reduce heat gain. Utilize natural ventilation by strategically placing windows and vents to allow for cross breezes. This will promote airflow and help cool your home without relying solely on air conditioning. 5.4.2 Energy-efficient appliances and lighting. Choosing energy-efficient appliances and lighting is another essential aspect of energy conservation in desert living. Opt for appliances with high Energy Star ratings, as they are designed to consume less electricity while maintaining optimal performance. Look for energy-efficient refrigerators, air conditioners, and water heaters that are specifically designed for arid environments. When it comes to lighting, replace traditional incandescent bulbs with energy-efficient alternatives such as LED or CFL bulbs. These bulbs consume significantly less energy and have a longer lifespan, reducing both energy consumption and the need for frequent replacements. Additionally, consider installing motion sensors or timers for outdoor lighting to minimize unnecessary energy usage. 5.4.3 Solar power and renewable energy. Harnessing the abundant sunlight in the desert is a sustainable and cost-effective way to meet your energy needs. Solar power systems, such as photovoltaic PV panels, can be installed on your property to generate electricity. These panels convert sunlight into usable energy, which can power your home and reduce reliance on the grid. Before installing a solar power system, assess your energy requirements and consult with professionals to determine the appropriate size and capacity of the system. Consider factors such as the orientation and tilt of the panels, shading from nearby structures or vegetation, and the availability of sunlight throughout the year. In addition to solar power, explore other renewable energy options that are suitable for desert environments. Wind energy can be harnessed through the installation of wind turbines, taking advantage of the strong desert winds. Geothermal heating and cooling systems utilize the stable temperature of the ground to regulate indoor climate, reducing the need for traditional heating and cooling methods. 5.4.4 Smart Energy Management and Monitoring. Implementing smart energy management and monitoring systems can help you track and optimize your energy consumption. Smart thermostats, for example, allow you to program and control your heating and cooling settings remotely. These devices can learn your preferences and adjust temperature settings accordingly, ensuring optimal comfort while minimizing energy waste. Energy monitoring systems provide real-time data on your energy usage, allowing you to identify areas of high consumption and make informed decisions to reduce energy waste. By understanding your energy patterns, you can adjust your habits and make conscious choices to conserve energy. 5.4.5 Water heating and conservation. Water heating can account for a significant portion of energy consumption in desert dwellings. To conserve energy, consider installing solar water heaters that utilize the sun's energy to heat water. These systems can be integrated with your existing plumbing and provide hot water while reducing reliance on electricity or gas. In addition to efficient water heating, practicing water conservation is crucial in desert living. Install low-flow showerheads and faucets to reduce water usage without compromising comfort. Collect and reuse graywater from sinks, showers, and laundry for irrigation purposes, reducing the need for additional water sources. 5.4.6 Behavioral changes in habits. Lastly, adopting energy-efficient habits and making conscious choices can have a significant impact on energy conservation in desert living. Simple actions such as turning off lights when not in use, unplugging electronics when not in use, and using natural light during the day can all contribute to reducing energy consumption. Additionally, adjusting your lifestyle to take advantage of cooler periods in the desert can help conserve energy. Plan outdoor activities or chores during early mornings or evenings when temperatures are lower, reducing the need for air conditioning during peak heat hours. By combining these energy efficiency and conservation techniques, you can minimize your environmental footprint, reduce energy costs, and create a sustainable and comfortable living environment in the middle of the desert. 6. Navigating the desert landscape. 6.1 Orientation and navigation in the desert. Living in the middle of the desert can be a unique and challenging experience. The vast and arid landscapes can be disorienting, making it crucial to have a good understanding of orientation and navigation in order to thrive in this environment. Whether you are a desert dweller or an adventurer exploring the desert, knowing how to navigate and orient yourself is essential for your safety and well-being. In this section, we will explore some key strategies and techniques for orientation and navigation in the desert. 6.1.1 Understanding the desert environment. Before delving into navigation techniques, it is important to have a basic understanding of the desert environment. Deserts are characterized by their extreme temperatures, sparse vegetation, and lack of water sources. The landscape can be vast and featureless, making it challenging to navigate without proper knowledge and tools. 6.1.2 Using the sun and stars for direction. One of the most reliable methods of orientation in the desert is by using the sun and stars. The sun rises in the east and sets in the west, providing a general sense of direction during the day. By observing the position of the sun, you can determine east and west, which can be helpful in orienting yourself. At night, the stars can be used as navigational aids. The North Star, also known as Polaris, is a reliable reference point for finding north in the northern hemisphere. By locating the North Star, you can determine the other cardinal directions. 6.1.3 Using maps, compasses, and GPS. While natural navigation methods are valuable, it is also important to have the right tools for accurate navigation. Carrying a map, compass, and GPS device can greatly enhance your ability to navigate in the desert. Maps provide a visual representation of the landscape and can help you identify landmarks and plan your route. Topographic maps, in particular, are useful as they show elevation changes and terrain features. Familiarize yourself with the symbols and legends on the map to understand the information it provides. A compass is an essential tool for determining direction. It consists of a magnetic needle that aligns with the Earth's magnetic field, pointing towards magnetic north. By using a compass in conjunction with a map, you can accurately navigate through the desert. GPS Global Positioning System devices use satellite signals to determine your exact location. They provide real-time coordinates, elevation, and direction, making them highly reliable for navigation. However, it is important to have a backup plan in case the GPS device malfunctions or loses signal. 6.1.4 Identifying landmarks and natural signposts. In the vastness of the desert, identifying landmarks and natural signposts can be crucial for navigation. Look for distinctive features such as mountains, rock formations, or unique vegetation patterns that can serve as reference points. These landmarks can help you maintain your orientation and track your progress. Additionally, pay attention to natural signposts such as animal tracks, wind patterns, and water sources. Animal tracks can indicate the presence of wildlife and potential water sources. Wind patterns can help you determine the prevailing direction, which can be useful for navigation. 6.1.5 Using dead reckoning and land navigation techniques. Dead reckoning is a technique used for estimating your current position based on a previously known position and the direction and distance traveled. In the desert, where landmarks may be scarce, Dead reckoning can be a valuable method for maintaining your course. To use dead reckoning, start by identifying a known point on your map or in the landscape. From there, determine your direction of travel and estimate the distance covered. By keeping track of your direction and distance, you can estimate your current position relative to the known point. Land navigation techniques such as pacing and terrain association can also aid in desert navigation. Pacing involves counting your steps to estimate distance traveled. By knowing your average pace length, you can calculate the distance covered. Terrain association involves matching the features of the landscape with those on the map to confirm your location. 6.1.6 Safety precautions and emergency preparedness. While navigation techniques are important, it is equally crucial to prioritize safety and be prepared for emergencies in the desert. Before venturing into the desert, inform someone about your plans and expected return time. Carry essential supplies such as water, food, a first aid kit, and emergency communication devices. In case you get lost or disoriented, stay calm and try to retrace your steps to a known point. If you are unable to find your way back, it is important to have a plan for signaling for help. This can include using reflective materials, creating visible markers, or activating emergency beacons if available. Remember to dress appropriately for the desert environment, wearing loose-fitting, light-colored clothing to protect yourself from the sun and heat. Carry a hat, sunglasses, and sunscreen to shield yourself from the intense desert sun. By understanding the desert environment, using natural and technological navigation tools, and taking necessary safety precautions, you can navigate the desert landscape with confidence and ensure a safe and enjoyable experience. 6.2 Using maps, compasses, and GPS. When living in the middle of the desert, navigation becomes a crucial skill. The vast and often featureless landscape can be disorienting, making it essential to rely on tools such as maps, compasses, and GPS devices to find your way. In this section, we will explore the importance of these tools and how to effectively use them in desert environments. 6.2.1 Understanding maps. Maps are invaluable resources for navigating the desert. They provide a visual representation of the terrain, landmarks, and important features that can guide you to your destination. When selecting a map, ensure that it is up-to-date and specifically designed for the desert region you are in. Topographic maps. Topographic maps are particularly useful in desert environments. They depict the elevation and contours of the land, allowing you to identify hills, valleys, and other significant landforms. By understanding the topography, you can plan your route more effectively and anticipate any potential obstacles or challenges. Satellite imagery. Satellite imagery can also be beneficial when navigating the desert. It provides a detailed view of the landscape, including vegetation, water sources, and man-made structures. By studying satellite images before your journey, you can identify potential landmarks or reference points to guide you along the way. 6.2.2 Using a compass. A compass is an essential tool for desert navigation, especially when landmarks are scarce. It helps you determine your direction and maintain a sense of orientation. Here are some key tips for using a compass effectively. Understanding cardinal directions. Familiarize yourself with the cardinal directions: north, south, east, and west. This knowledge will serve as a foundation for using a compass. In the desert, where landmarks may be limited, knowing which direction you are heading is crucial. Taking bearings. To navigate accurately with a compass, you need to take bearings. A bearing is the angle between your current direction and a specific point or landmark. By taking bearings to known landmarks, you can maintain a consistent heading and track your progress. Adjusting for magnetic declination. Magnetic declination refers to the difference between true north and magnetic north. It varies depending on your location and can affect the accuracy of your compass readings. Before using a compass, check the local magnetic declination and make the necessary adjustments to ensure accurate navigation. 6.2.3 Utilizing GPS devices. Global Positioning System (GPS) devices have revolutionized navigation in the modern world. These handheld devices use satellite signals to determine your precise location, making them incredibly reliable tools for desert navigation. Here are some tips for using GPS devices effectively. Familiarize yourself with the device. Before venturing into the desert, take the time to familiarize yourself with your GPS device. Understand its features, functions, and how to interpret the information it provides. This knowledge will enable you to navigate confidently and efficiently. Preload maps and waypoints. Many GPS devices allow you to preload maps and waypoints. Take advantage of this feature by loading detailed maps of the desert region you will be exploring. Additionally, mark important waypoints such as water sources, landmarks, or your campsite to help guide you during your journey. Carry spare batteries and keep the device protected. GPS devices rely on battery power, so it is essential to carry spare batteries or a portable charger to ensure your device remains operational. Additionally, protect your GPS device from extreme temperatures, sand, and water by storing it in a protective case or bag. 6.2.4 Navigating by landmarks and natural signposts. In the desert, where landmarks may be scarce, it is crucial to develop the ability to identify and navigate by natural signposts. These can include rock formations, distinctive vegetation, or unique geological features. Here are some tips for navigating by landmarks and natural signposts. Study the landscape. Before embarking on your journey, study the landscape and familiarize yourself with any notable features or landmarks that may be present. By understanding the natural characteristics of the desert, you can identify potential signposts along your route. Create mental maps. As you explore the desert, create mental maps of your surroundings. Take note of distinctive features and their relationship to your current location. This mental mapping will help you navigate more effectively and provide a sense of direction even when landmarks are not visible. Use sun and stars as guides. The sun and stars can serve as reliable guides in the desert. During the day, the position of the sun can indicate the general direction of east and west. At night, familiarize yourself with prominent constellations or use the North Star, Polaris, to determine your northward direction. 6.2.5 Survival Skills and Emergency Preparedness. While maps, compasses, and GPS devices are essential tools for navigation, it is equally important to develop survival skills and be prepared for emergencies in the desert. Here are some key considerations. Carry essential supplies. Always carry essential supplies such as water, food, a first aid kit, and emergency signaling devices. These items can be life-saving in case you become lost or encounter unexpected challenges. Learn basic survival techniques. Familiarize yourself with basic survival techniques such as finding water sources, building shelter, starting a fire, and signaling for help. These skills can significantly increase your chances of survival in emergency situations. Inform others of your plans. Before venturing into the desert, inform someone trustworthy of your plans. Provide them with details of your intended route, expected duration, and emergency contact information. This way, if you do not return as planned, they can initiate a search and rescue operation. Stay calm and conserve energy. If you find yourself lost or in an emergency situation, it is crucial to stay calm and conserve energy. Panic can cloud judgment and lead to poor decision-making. Focus on rationing your supplies, finding shelter, and signaling for help. Remember, navigation in the desert requires a combination of tools, skills, and preparedness. By understanding how to use maps, compasses, and GPS devices effectively, as well as developing survival skills, you can navigate the desert landscape with confidence and ensure your safety in challenging environments. 6.3 Identifying landmarks and natural signposts. Living in the middle of the desert can be a unique and challenging experience. The vast and seemingly endless landscape can make it difficult to navigate and find your way around. However, by learning to identify landmarks and natural signposts, you can enhance your ability to navigate and explore the desert with confidence. In this section, we will discuss various techniques and strategies to help you identify and utilize these important features of the desert environment. 6.3.1 Understanding the importance of landmarks. Landmarks play a crucial role in desert navigation. They serve as reference points that can help you determine your location and guide you towards your destination. Landmarks can be both natural and man-made, and they can vary in size and visibility. Natural landmarks include mountains, rock formations, distinctive trees, and bodies of water, while man-made landmarks can include buildings, roads, and other structures. When identifying landmarks, it is important to choose those that are easily recognizable and unlikely to change over time. For example, a prominent mountain peak or a unique rock formation can serve as reliable landmarks, as they are less likely to be altered by natural processes or human activities. By familiarizing yourself with the prominent landmarks in your area, you can develop a mental map of the desert and navigate more effectively. 6.3.2 Observing natural signposts. In addition to landmarks, natural signposts can provide valuable information about your surroundings and help you navigate the desert. Natural signposts are features or phenomena that occur in the desert environment and can serve as indicators of direction or proximity to certain areas. By observing and interpreting these signposts, you can gain insights into the landscape and make informed decisions about your route. One common natural signpost in the desert is the movement of sand dunes. Sand dunes are constantly shifting and changing shape due to wind patterns. By observing the direction in which the sand dunes are moving, you can determine the prevailing wind direction and use it as a reference point for navigation. Additionally, the presence of vegetation or animal tracks can indicate the proximity of water sources or areas with higher biodiversity. 6.3.3 Using the sun and stars as guides. The sun and stars can also serve as reliable guides in the desert. The position of the sun can provide valuable information about direction and time of day. In the northern hemisphere, the sun rises in the east and sets in the west. By observing the position of the sun at different times of the day, you can determine the general direction of east and west, which can help you maintain your orientation. At night, the stars can be used to navigate in the absence of other landmarks. The North Star, also known as Polaris, is a particularly useful reference point for navigation in the northern hemisphere. It remains relatively stationary in the night sky and can help you determine the direction of north. By familiarizing yourself with the constellations and their positions, you can navigate with greater confidence during nighttime. 6.3.4 Creating and using personal landmarks. In addition to natural and man-made landmarks, you can also create your own personal landmarks to aid in navigation. These can be small, easily recognizable features that you intentionally mark or modify to serve as reference points. For example, you can stack rocks to create a cairn or arrange sticks in a specific pattern to mark a trail or a point of interest. When creating personal landmarks, it is important to consider their visibility and durability. Choose materials that are resistant to wind and other natural forces, and ensure that your landmarks are not easily mistaken for natural features. By strategically placing personal landmarks along your route, you can create a trail that is easier to follow and navigate, especially in areas with limited visibility. 6.3.5 Using technology for navigation. While traditional navigation techniques are valuable, modern technology can also be a useful tool for desert navigation. Global Positioning System (GPS) devices and smartphone applications can provide accurate location information and help you navigate with precision. However, it is important to remember that technology can be unreliable in remote desert areas with limited or no signal coverage. Therefore, it is always advisable to have alternative navigation methods and be prepared for unexpected situations. When using technology for navigation, make sure to carry spare batteries or a portable charger to ensure that your devices remain functional. Familiarize yourself with the features and limitations of your GPS device or navigation application before venturing into the desert. Additionally, consider carrying a physical map and compass as backup tools in case your electronic devices fail. Conclusion. Identifying landmarks and natural signposts is essential for successful navigation in the desert. By understanding the importance of landmarks, observing natural signposts, using the sun and stars as guides, creating personal landmarks, and utilizing technology when necessary, you can enhance your ability to navigate and explore the desert landscape. Remember to always be prepared, carry essential navigation tools, and prioritize safety when venturing into remote desert areas. 6.4 Survival Skills and Emergency Preparedness. Living in the middle of the desert can be a challenging endeavor, but with the right survival skills and emergency preparedness, you can thrive in this harsh environment. In this section, we will explore essential skills and strategies to help you navigate the desert landscape and handle emergency situations effectively. 6.4.1 Navigation and Orientation. One of the most critical skills for desert living is navigation and orientation. The vast and often featureless desert landscape can easily disorient even the most experienced individuals. Here are some tips to help you stay on track. Learn to read the land. Familiarize yourself with the natural landmarks and formations in your area. Look for distinctive rock formations, mountain ranges, or unique vegetation patterns that can serve as reference points. Use maps, compasses, and GPS. Carry detailed maps of the area and learn how to use a compass or GPS device to determine your direction accurately. These tools can be invaluable in helping you find your way back to your dwelling or locate nearby water sources. Pay attention to the sun and stars. The sun can be an excellent navigational tool during the day. Observe the direction of the sun's movement to determine east and west. At night, familiarize yourself with the constellations and use them as a guide. 6.4.2 Emergency Preparedness. Living in the desert requires careful preparation for potential emergencies. Here are some essential tips to help you stay safe. Create an emergency plan. Develop a comprehensive emergency plan that includes evacuation routes, communication methods, and designated meeting points. Share this plan with your family or fellow desert dwellers, so everyone is on the same page. Pack a survival kit. Always have a well-stocked survival kit readily available. Include items such as a first aid kit, extra water, non-perishable food, a flashlight, a multi-tool, a whistle, a fire starter, and a signaling mirror. These items can be crucial in emergency situations. Stay hydrated. Dehydration is a significant risk in the desert. Ensure you have an ample supply of water at all times. If you're venturing away from your dwelling, carry enough water to sustain you for the duration of your trip. Protect yourself from extreme temperatures. Desert temperatures can be extreme, with scorching heat during the day and freezing cold at night. Dress appropriately, wear a wide-brimmed hat, and use sunscreen to protect yourself from the sun's harmful rays. At night, layer your clothing to stay warm. Know how to signal for help. In case of an emergency, it's crucial to know how to signal for help. Use a whistle, a signaling mirror, or create visible markers in the sand to attract attention. Additionally, learn the International Distress Signal (SOS) and use it if necessary. 6.4.3 Shelter and Fire Building. Having a reliable shelter and the ability to start a fire are essential survival skills in the desert. Here are some tips to help you in these areas. Build a shelter. Constructing a shelter can protect you from the sun, wind, and extreme temperatures. Utilize natural resources such as rocks, branches, and vegetation to create a sturdy and well-insulated shelter. Consider building a shade structure near your dwelling for additional protection. Learn fire building techniques. Fire can provide warmth, light, and a means to cook food. Learn different fire building techniques suitable for the desert environment, such as using dry vegetation, rocks, or a fire starter. Always ensure you have a safe area clear of flammable materials before starting a fire. 6.4.4 First Aid and Medical Preparedness. In the event of an injury or medical emergency, having basic first aid knowledge and medical supplies can be life-saving. Here are some important considerations. Learn first aid skills. Take a first aid course to learn essential skills such as wound care, CPR, and treating heat-related illnesses. Knowing how to handle common desert injuries like snake bites, heat stroke, or dehydration is crucial. Stock up on medical supplies. Keep a well-stocked first aid kit that includes bandages, antiseptic ointment, pain relievers, insect repellent, and any necessary prescription medications. Regularly check and replenish your supplies to ensure they are up to date. Know your limitations. Understand your physical limitations and avoid pushing yourself beyond your capabilities. Pace yourself, take breaks, and listen to your body. Overexertion can lead to heat exhaustion or other health issues. Living in the middle of the desert requires a unique set of skills and preparedness. By mastering navigation techniques, being prepared for emergencies, building shelters, and having basic medical knowledge, you can confidently face the challenges of desert living and ensure your safety and well-being. 7. Coping with extreme temperatures. 7.1 Understanding heat stress and heat stroke. Living in the middle of the desert can be a challenging endeavor, especially when it comes to coping with extreme temperatures. The desert is known for its scorching heat, and it is crucial to understand the risks associated with heat stress and heat stroke. In this section, we will explore the causes, symptoms, prevention, and treatment of these conditions to ensure your safety and well-being in the desert. 7.1.1 Causes of heat stress and heat stroke. Heat stress and heat stroke occur when the body's natural cooling mechanisms are overwhelmed by excessive heat. The desert environment poses several factors that contribute to these conditions. High temperatures. The desert is characterized by extremely high temperatures, often exceeding 100 degrees Fahrenheit, 38 degrees Celsius. Prolonged exposure to such heat can strain the body's ability to regulate its temperature. Intense sunlight. The desert receives intense sunlight due to its lack of cloud cover and high altitude. This direct exposure to the sun's rays can increase the risk of heat-related illnesses. Low humidity. Desert regions typically have low humidity levels, which can accelerate dehydration and hinder the body's ability to cool down through sweating. Limited shade. Finding shade in the desert can be challenging, as vegetation and structures providing shade are scarce. This lack of shade can expose individuals to direct sunlight for extended periods. 7.1.2 Symptoms of heat stress and heat stroke. Recognizing the symptoms of heat stress and heat stroke is crucial for early intervention and prevention of severe complications. The following signs indicate that an individual may be experiencing heat-related illness. Heat stress. Excessive sweating, fatigue and weakness, dizziness or lightheadedness, headache. Nausea or vomiting, muscle cramps, heat stroke. High body temperature, above 104 degrees Fahrenheit or 40 degrees Celsius, rapid heartbeat. Rapid and shallow breathing, confusion or disorientation, loss of consciousness, seizures. 7.1.3 Prevention of heat stress and heat stroke. Preventing heat stress and heat stroke is essential for maintaining your health and well-being in the desert. Here are some preventive measures to consider. Stay hydrated. Drink plenty of water throughout the day, even if you do not feel thirsty. Avoid alcohol and caffeinated beverages, as they can contribute to dehydration. Dress appropriately. Wear loose-fitting, lightweight, and light-colored clothing to reflect sunlight and allow air circulation. Protect your head and face with a wide-brimmed hat and use sunglasses to shield your eyes from the sun. Seek shade. Whenever possible, seek shade during the hottest parts of the day. Use umbrellas, canopies, or create natural shade using desert vegetation. Time outdoor activities. Plan outdoor activities during the cooler hours of the day, such as early morning or late afternoon. Avoid strenuous activities during peak heat hours. Use sunscreen. Apply a broad-spectrum sunscreen with a high SPF rating to protect your skin from harmful UV rays. Reapply as directed, especially after sweating or swimming. Acclimate gradually. If you are new to the desert or returning after an extended absence, allow your body time to acclimate to the extreme temperatures. Start with shorter outdoor activities and gradually increase your exposure. 7.1.4 Treatment of heat stress and heat stroke. If you or someone around you exhibits symptoms of heat stress or heat stroke, it is crucial to take immediate action. Follow these steps while seeking medical assistance. Move to a cool area. Get out of the sun and into a shaded or air-conditioned space as quickly as possible. Hydrate. Drink cool water or a sports drink to replenish fluids and electrolytes. Avoid beverages with caffeine or alcohol. Cool the body. Apply cool water to the skin or use cold compresses on the neck, armpits, and groin areas. Use fans or air conditioning to facilitate cooling. Rest and monitor. Encourage the affected individual to rest and lie down. Monitor their condition closely for any changes or worsening symptoms. Seek medical help. If the symptoms persist, worsen, or if the person loses consciousness, call emergency services or seek medical attention immediately. Understanding the risks and taking proactive measures to prevent heat stress and heat stroke is vital for anyone living in the middle of the desert. By staying hydrated, dressing appropriately, seeking shade, and recognizing the symptoms, you can enjoy a safer and more comfortable life in arid environments. 7.2 Proper clothing and sun protection. Living in the middle of the desert comes with its own set of challenges, and one of the most important aspects to consider is how to protect yourself from the harsh sun and extreme temperatures. In this section, we will discuss the importance of proper clothing and sun protection techniques to ensure your safety and well-being in the desert. 7.2.1 Choosing the right clothing. When it comes to clothing in the desert, the key is to strike a balance between staying cool and protecting yourself from the sun's harmful rays. Here are some tips to help you choose the right clothing for desert living. Lightweight and loose fitting. Opt for lightweight and loose fitting clothing made from breathable fabrics such as cotton or linen. These materials allow air to circulate and help to keep you cool. Long sleeves and pants. Despite the heat, it is advisable to wear long sleeves and pants to protect your skin from the sun. Look for clothing with a tight weave that provides better protection against harmful UV rays. Light colors. Light-colored clothing reflects sunlight and helps to keep you cooler than dark colors, which absorb heat. Choose light-colored clothing to minimize heat absorption. Wide-brimmed hat. A wide-brimmed hat provides shade for your face, neck, and ears, protecting them from direct sunlight. Look for a hat with a breathable fabric and a wide brim that offers maximum coverage. Sunglasses. Invest in a good pair of sunglasses that provide 100% UV protection. This will not only protect your eyes from the sun's glare but also reduce the risk of eye damage caused by prolonged exposure to UV rays. Neck gaiter or scarf. A neck gaiter or scarf can be a versatile accessory in the desert. It can be used to protect your neck and face from the sun, as well as to shield your mouth and nose from dust and sand during sandstorms. Closed-toe shoes. Opt for closed-toe shoes that provide protection for your feet. Choose breathable shoes with good arch support to ensure comfort during long walks or hikes in the desert. 7.2.2 Sun Protection Techniques. In addition to wearing the right clothing, it is crucial to adopt sun protection techniques to minimize the risk of sunburn, heat stroke, and other heat-related illnesses. Here are some effective techniques to protect yourself from the sun in the desert. Apply sunscreen. Apply a broad-spectrum sunscreen with a high SPF, sun protection factor, of 30 or above to all exposed areas of your skin. Reapply sunscreen every 2 hours, or more frequently if you are sweating or swimming. Seek shade. Whenever possible, seek shade during the hottest parts of the day, usually between 10 a.m. and 4 p.m. Shade provides relief from direct sunlight and helps to lower your body temperature. Use umbrellas or sunshades. Carry a portable umbrella or set up a sunshade to create your own shade when shade is not readily available. This can be particularly useful during outdoor activities or when resting in open areas. Stay hydrated. Proper hydration is essential in the desert. Drink plenty of water throughout the day, even if you do not feel thirsty. Avoid or limit the consumption of alcohol and caffeinated beverages, as they can contribute to dehydration. Plan outdoor activities wisely. If you need to engage in outdoor activities, plan them during the cooler parts of the day, such as early morning or late afternoon. This will help you avoid the peak heat and reduce the risk of heat-related illnesses. Use cooling accessories. Consider using cooling accessories such as cooling towels or misting fans to help lower your body temperature. These accessories work by evaporating water and providing a cooling effect on your skin. Monitor your body. Pay attention to your body's signals and take breaks when needed. If you start feeling lightheaded, dizzy, or experience symptoms of heat exhaustion or heat stroke, immediately find shade, rest, and rehydrate. Remember, the desert sun can be relentless, and the risk of sunburn and heat-related illnesses is high. By following these clothing and sun protection techniques, you can minimize the risks and enjoy a safer and more comfortable experience living in the middle of the desert. 7.3 Creating shade and cooling strategies. Living in the middle of the desert can be challenging due to the extreme heat and lack of natural shade. However, with proper planning and the implementation of effective shade and cooling strategies, you can create a comfortable living environment even in the harshest desert conditions. This section will provide you with practical tips and techniques to help you stay cool and protected from the scorching desert sun. 7.3.1 Understanding the importance of shade. Shade plays a crucial role in reducing the impact of the sun's heat and protecting you from direct sunlight. By creating shade, you can significantly lower the temperature in and around your dwelling. Here are some effective ways to create shade in the desert. 7.3.1.1 Natural shade. Utilize existing natural shade provided by trees, rock formations, or other structures. Position your dwelling in a way that takes advantage of these natural shade sources. Planting trees strategically around your property can provide long-term shade and help cool the surrounding area. 7.3.1.2 Artificial shade structures. Constructing artificial shade structures is another effective way to create shade in the desert. Install pergolas, awnings, or shade sails over outdoor areas to block direct sunlight. These structures can be made from materials that allow airflow while providing shade. 7.3.1.3 Shade cloth. Shade cloth is a lightweight and breathable fabric that can be used to create shade in specific areas. It is commonly used in gardens, outdoor seating areas, and carports. Attach shade cloth to a frame or structure to provide shade where needed. 7.3.2 Cooling strategies. Creating shade is just the first step in staying cool in the desert. Implementing effective cooling strategies will help maintain a comfortable temperature inside your dwelling. Here are some strategies to consider. 7.3.2.1 Natural ventilation. Design your dwelling to take advantage of natural ventilation. Position windows and doors strategically to allow for cross-ventilation, promoting the flow of cool air. Install vents or louvers to facilitate the movement of air and prevent heat buildup. 7.3.2.2 Insulation. Proper insulation is essential for maintaining a cool interior. Insulate your walls, roof, and floors to minimize heat transfer. Use insulation materials with high thermal resistance to keep the heat out and the cool air in. 7.3.2.3 Evaporative cooling. Evaporative cooling is a cost-effective and energy-efficient way to cool the air in arid environments. Install evaporative coolers, also known as swamp coolers, which work by evaporating water to cool the air. These systems are most effective in dry climates with low humidity. 7.3.2.4 Reflective surfaces. Use reflective materials on the exterior of your dwelling to reduce heat absorption. Light-colored or reflective roofing materials, such as white or silver, can reflect a significant amount of solar radiation, keeping the interior cooler. 7.3.2.5 Thermal mass. Incorporate thermal mass into your dwelling's design. Materials with high thermal mass, such as adobe or concrete, can absorb heat during the day and release it slowly at night, helping to regulate indoor temperatures. 7.3.2.6 Ceiling fans. Install ceiling fans in your dwelling to improve air circulation and create a cooling breeze. Ceiling fans can help lower the perceived temperature by several degrees, making the space more comfortable. 7.3.3 Additional tips for staying cool. In addition to creating shade and implementing cooling strategies, here are some additional tips to help you stay cool in the desert. Stay hydrated by drinking plenty of water throughout the day. Dehydration can worsen the effects of heat and increase the risk of heat-related illnesses. Avoid outdoor activities during the hottest parts of the day. Plan your activities for early morning or late afternoon when temperatures are cooler. Wear loose-fitting, lightweight, and light-colored clothing that allows air circulation and reflects sunlight. Use sunscreen with a high SPF to protect your skin from the intense desert sun. Take regular breaks in shaded areas or air-conditioned spaces to cool down and rest. Use portable fans or misting systems to create a cooling effect in outdoor areas. Consider using window films or shades to block out direct sunlight and reduce heat transfer through windows. Use insulated window coverings or blinds to keep the heat out during the day and retain cool air at night. By implementing these shade and cooling strategies and following these additional tips, you can create a comfortable living environment in the middle of the desert. Remember to prioritize your health and safety by staying hydrated and avoiding prolonged exposure to extreme heat. 7.4 Heating and insulation in desert homes. Living in the middle of the desert comes with its own set of challenges, and one of the most important aspects to consider is how to effectively heat and insulate your desert home. The extreme temperatures in desert environments can make it difficult to maintain a comfortable living space, but with the right strategies, you can create a cozy and energy-efficient oasis in the midst of the arid landscape. 7.4.1 Understanding desert climate and heating needs. Before delving into heating and insulation techniques, it is crucial to understand the unique climate of the desert and how it affects your heating requirements. Deserts are known for their extreme temperature fluctuations, with scorching hot days and chilly nights. The key is to find a balance between keeping your home warm during the cold desert nights and preventing excessive heat gain during the day. 7.4.2 Passive solar design. Passive solar design is an effective and sustainable way to heat your desert home. By harnessing the power of the sun, you can minimize the need for artificial heating and reduce your energy consumption. The principles of passive solar design involve maximizing solar gain during the day and minimizing heat loss at night. To achieve this, consider the following strategies. 7.4.2.1 Orientation and window placement. Orient your home to take advantage of the sun's path. South-facing windows allow for maximum solar gain during the winter months, while properly insulated windows and shading devices can prevent excessive heat gain during the summer. Additionally, strategically placing windows to allow for cross-ventilation can help cool your home during hot desert nights. 7.4.2.2 Thermal mass. Incorporate thermal mass materials, such as concrete or adobe, into your home's construction. These materials absorb heat during the day and release it slowly at night, helping to regulate indoor temperatures. Consider using materials with high thermal mass for floors, walls, and even furniture. 7.4.2.3 Insulation. Proper insulation is essential for maintaining a comfortable indoor temperature in desert homes. Insulate your walls, roof, and floors to prevent heat transfer and minimize energy loss. Choose insulation materials with high R values, such as foam or cellulose, to effectively trap heat inside during the colder nights and keep the heat out during the scorching days. 7.4.3 Active heating systems. While passive solar design can significantly reduce your heating needs, there may still be times when additional heating is required. In such cases, active heating systems can provide the necessary warmth. However, it is important to choose energy-efficient options to minimize your environmental impact and reduce energy costs. 7.4.3.1 Solar heating systems. Solar heating systems, such as solar water heaters or solar air heaters, utilize the sun's energy to provide heat. These systems can be integrated into your home's design and can supplement your passive solar heating strategies. Solar water heaters can provide hot water for domestic use and radiant floor heating, while solar air heaters can warm the air before it enters your home. 7.4.3.2 Geothermal heating systems. Geothermal heating systems utilize the stable temperature of the ground to provide heating. By circulating a fluid through underground pipes, heat is extracted from the ground and transferred to your home. Geothermal systems are highly efficient and can be used for both heating and cooling, making them a sustainable option for desert living. 7.4.3.3 Efficient heating appliances. When choosing heating appliances, opt for energy-efficient options that utilize clean fuels. Electric heat pumps, for example, can provide both heating and cooling and are more energy efficient than traditional electric heaters. Wood-burning stoves or pellet stoves can also be used, but ensure that the wood is sustainably sourced to minimize environmental impact. 7.4.4 Insulation techniques. In addition to proper insulation, there are several techniques you can employ to further enhance the insulation of your desert home. These techniques help to minimize heat transfer and maintain a comfortable indoor temperature. 7.4.4.1 Weather stripping and caulking. Seal any gaps or cracks around windows, doors, and other openings with weather stripping and caulking. This prevents drafts and heat loss, ensuring that your home remains well insulated. 7.4.4.2 Window treatments. Install insulating window treatments, such as thermal curtains or blinds, to reduce heat gain during the day and heat loss at night. These treatments provide an additional layer of insulation and can significantly improve the energy efficiency of your home. 7.4.4.3 Insulated doors. Replace old or poorly insulated doors with energy-efficient ones. Look for doors with a high R value and proper weather stripping to prevent heat transfer and maintain a comfortable indoor temperature. 7.4.4.4 Roof insulation. Ensure that your roof is properly insulated to prevent heat gain during the day and heat loss at night. Consider using reflective roofing materials or installing a cool roof to minimize solar heat absorption. By implementing these heating and insulation strategies, you can create a comfortable and energy-efficient living space in the middle of the desert. Remember to consider the unique climate and temperature fluctuations of your desert environment when designing and heating your home. With careful planning and sustainable choices, you can thrive in the arid landscape while minimizing your impact on the environment. 8. Finding and conserving resources. 8.1 Locating and utilizing natural resources. Living in the middle of the desert presents unique challenges and opportunities. One of the key aspects of thriving in such an environment is the ability to locate and utilize natural resources effectively. In this section, we will explore various strategies and techniques for finding and making the most of the resources available in the desert. 8.1.1 Water sources. Water is undoubtedly the most critical resource in any environment, and the desert is no exception. While water may be scarce in arid landscapes, there are still ways to locate and access this precious resource. One of the primary sources of water in the desert is underground aquifers. By digging wells, you can tap into these underground water sources. It is essential to consult with local authorities and experts to ensure that you are following regulations and guidelines for well digging. Another method of obtaining water in the desert is through rainwater harvesting. Although rainfall may be infrequent, when it does occur, it can provide a significant amount of water. Designing your dwelling to collect rainwater efficiently, such as using rain barrels or installing a rainwater harvesting system, can help you make the most of this resource. 8.1.2 Solar energy. The desert is known for its abundant sunlight, making it an ideal location for harnessing solar energy. Solar power systems, such as photovoltaic panels, can be used to generate electricity for various purposes, including lighting, heating, and powering appliances. By installing solar panels on your dwelling, you can take advantage of the sun's energy and reduce your reliance on traditional power sources. 8.1.3 Wind energy. In addition to solar energy, the desert often experiences strong winds, making it suitable for harnessing wind energy. Wind turbines can be installed to generate electricity from the wind's kinetic energy. By utilizing wind power, you can further reduce your dependence on conventional energy sources and contribute to a more sustainable lifestyle. 8.1.4 Natural building materials. When constructing your desert dwelling, it is beneficial to utilize natural building materials that are readily available in the surrounding environment. For example, adobe, a mixture of clay, sand, and straw, is a traditional building material used in desert regions. Adobe structures provide excellent insulation, keeping the interior cool during the day and warm at night. Additionally, using locally sourced materials reduces the environmental impact associated with transportation. 8.1.5 Desert vegetation. Despite the harsh conditions, the desert is home to a variety of plant species that have adapted to survive in arid environments. Some of these plants can be utilized for various purposes. For example, certain cacti store water in their stems, making them a potential source of hydration in emergencies. Additionally, desert plants like mesquite and jojoba have edible seeds that can be used for food or oil production. It is essential to research and understand the local flora to identify which plants can be safely utilized. 8.1.6 Wildlife. The desert is also home to a diverse range of wildlife, some of which can provide valuable resources. For example, certain desert animals, such as rabbits and lizards, can be hunted for food. However, it is crucial to respect local regulations and ensure that hunting is done sustainably and ethically. Additionally, some desert animals, like the honeybee, play a vital role in pollination, which is essential for plant reproduction. Understanding and conserving desert wildlife is crucial for maintaining the delicate balance of the ecosystem. 8.1.7 Minerals and Natural Resources. The desert is often rich in minerals and other natural resources. Mining and extracting these resources can provide economic opportunities for desert communities. However, it is essential to approach resource extraction responsibly, considering the potential environmental impacts and ensuring compliance with regulations. Sustainable mining practices can help minimize the negative effects on the environment while still benefiting from the available resources. 8.1.8 Traditional Knowledge and Indigenous Practices. Indigenous communities that have inhabited desert regions for generations possess valuable knowledge and practices for locating and utilizing natural resources. Their traditional wisdom can offer insights into sustainable living and resource management in arid environments. Engaging with and learning from these communities can provide a deeper understanding of the desert ecosystem and help foster a more harmonious relationship with the environment. Living in the middle of the desert requires resourcefulness and an understanding of the unique challenges and opportunities presented by the arid landscape. By locating and utilizing natural resources effectively, you can not only meet your basic needs but also contribute to the sustainability and resilience of your desert dwelling. 8.2 Managing Waste and Recycling in the Desert. Living in the middle of the desert presents unique challenges when it comes to waste management and recycling. With limited resources and a fragile ecosystem, it is crucial to adopt sustainable practices to minimize the impact on the environment. In this section, we will explore various strategies for managing waste and implementing recycling systems in the desert. 8.2.1 Reduce, reuse, and recycle. The principles of reduce, reuse, and recycle are especially important in desert environments where resources are scarce. By reducing the amount of waste we generate, reusing items whenever possible, and recycling materials, we can significantly minimize our ecological footprint. Waste reduction. The first step in waste management is to reduce the amount of waste we produce. This can be achieved by making conscious choices in our daily lives. For example, opting for products with minimal packaging, using reusable containers instead of disposable ones, and avoiding single-use items like plastic bags and water bottles. By being mindful of our consumption habits, we can significantly reduce the amount of waste that ends up in landfills. Reusing items. Another effective strategy is to find creative ways to reuse items instead of discarding them. In the desert, where resources are limited, repurposing and reusing materials can be essential. For instance, glass jars can be used for storage, old clothing can be turned into rags or quilts, and plastic bottles can be transformed into planters. By giving items a second life, we not only reduce waste but also save money and conserve resources. Recycling. Recycling is a crucial component of waste management in any environment, including the desert. While recycling facilities may be limited in remote desert areas, it is still possible to implement recycling systems on a smaller scale. Start by identifying recyclable materials such as paper, plastic, glass, and metal. Separate these items from regular waste and store them in designated containers. When feasible, transport the recyclables to the nearest recycling facility or explore alternative options such as mail-in recycling programs. 8.2.2 Composting. Composting is an excellent way to manage organic waste in the desert and create nutrient-rich soil for gardening. While the arid conditions may pose challenges for traditional composting methods, there are techniques that can be adapted to suit the desert environment. Desert composting techniques. In desert composting, it is essential to balance the carbon-to-nitrogen ratio and maintain proper moisture levels. Start by collecting organic waste such as fruit and vegetable scraps, coffee grounds, and yard trimmings. Chop or shred the materials into smaller pieces to accelerate the decomposition process. To maintain moisture, add water periodically and cover the compost pile with a breathable material to prevent excessive evaporation. Vermicomposting. Vermicomposting, or composting with worms, is another viable option in the desert. Red worms, such as Icenia fetida, are particularly well suited for this purpose. Create a worm bin using a container with drainage holes and bedding material such as shredded newspaper or coconut coir. Add the organic waste to the bin and introduce the worms. Ensure the bedding remains moist but not waterlogged. The worms will consume the waste, producing nutrient-rich castings that can be used as fertilizer. 8.2.3 Waste disposal. Proper waste disposal is crucial to prevent pollution and protect the delicate desert ecosystem. In areas without access to municipal waste management services, it is essential to adopt responsible practices for disposing of non-recyclable and non-compostable waste. Landfill considerations. If a landfill is the only available option for waste disposal, it is crucial to follow best practices to minimize environmental impact. Choose a suitable location away from water sources and ensure the landfill is properly lined to prevent leaching of harmful substances into the soil. Compact the waste to reduce its volume and cover it with a layer of soil regularly to control odors and discourage scavengers. Incineration. In some cases, incineration may be a viable option for waste disposal in the desert. Incinerators can be used to burn non-recyclable and non-compostable waste, reducing its volume and minimizing the risk of pollution. However, it is essential to use appropriate incineration techniques to ensure complete combustion and minimize air pollution. Consult local regulations and seek professional guidance when considering this option. 8.2.4 Hazardous waste management. Proper management of hazardous waste is of utmost importance in the desert, where the fragile ecosystem can be easily disrupted. Hazardous waste includes materials such as batteries, chemicals, and electronic waste, which can pose significant risks to human health and the environment if not handled correctly. Hazardous waste collection. Establish a designated area for collecting hazardous waste and ensure it is securely stored to prevent leaks or spills. Research local regulations and guidelines for the proper disposal of hazardous materials. Contact local authorities or waste management facilities to inquire about collection events or drop-off locations for hazardous waste. E-waste recycling. Electronic waste, or e-waste, is a growing concern in today's society. Many electronic devices contain hazardous materials that can contaminate the environment if not disposed of properly. Look for e-waste recycling programs or facilities that accept old electronics. These programs ensure that valuable materials are recovered and hazardous substances are disposed of safely. 8.2.5 Community involvement and education. Managing waste and implementing recycling systems in the desert requires collective effort and community involvement. Educating residents about the importance of waste management and providing resources for proper disposal can significantly improve the overall sustainability of the area. Community recycling programs. Encourage the establishment of community recycling programs where residents can bring their recyclables to a central location. Collaborate with local authorities, businesses, and organizations to set up collection points and educate the community about the benefits of recycling. Educational initiatives. Organize workshops, seminars, and awareness campaigns to educate residents about waste management practices and the importance of recycling. Provide information on the environmental impact of waste and practical tips for reducing, reusing, and recycling. Engage schools, community centers, and local organizations to reach a wider audience and foster a culture of sustainability. By implementing these waste management and recycling strategies, you can contribute to the preservation of the desert environment while ensuring a sustainable and responsible way of living in the middle of the desert. 8.3 Sustainable hunting and gathering practices. Living in the middle of the desert presents unique challenges when it comes to finding food. The scarcity of water and vegetation makes traditional farming difficult, if not impossible. However, humans have been surviving in arid environments for thousands of years by adopting sustainable hunting and gathering practices. In this section, we will explore some strategies and techniques that can help you procure food in the desert while minimizing your impact on the fragile ecosystem. 8.3.1 Understanding desert flora and fauna. Before embarking on any hunting or gathering activities in the desert, it is crucial to familiarize yourself with the local flora and fauna. Desert ecosystems are home to a diverse range of plant and animal species, each with its own unique adaptations to survive in harsh conditions. By understanding the behavior, habitat, and life cycles of these species, you can make informed decisions about sustainable hunting and gathering practices. 8.3.2 Sustainable hunting techniques. Hunting in the desert requires a deep respect for the environment and a commitment to sustainable practices. Here are some techniques to consider. 8.3.2.1 Selective hunting. Selective hunting involves targeting specific species and avoiding overhunting. It is essential to focus on species that are abundant and have a healthy population. By avoiding the hunting of endangered or threatened species, you can help preserve the delicate balance of the desert ecosystem. 8.3.2.2 Respect for seasonal restrictions. Many desert regions have specific hunting seasons and regulations in place to protect breeding and nesting periods. It is crucial to adhere to these restrictions to ensure the long-term survival of the species you are hunting. 8.3.2.3 Ethical hunting practices. When hunting in the desert, it is important to prioritize ethical practices. This includes using appropriate hunting methods that minimize suffering and ensure a quick and humane kill. Additionally, it is essential to use all parts of the animal and avoid wastage. 8.3.3 Sustainable gathering techniques. Gathering edible plants in the desert requires a keen eye and knowledge of the local flora. Here are some sustainable gathering techniques to consider. 8.3.3.1 Responsible harvesting. When gathering plants, it is crucial to practice responsible harvesting. Only take what you need and avoid damaging the plant or its surrounding environment. By leaving enough plants to reproduce and sustain the population, you can ensure the long-term availability of these valuable resources. 8.3.3.2 Native plant identification. Familiarize yourself with the native plants in the desert and learn to identify edible species. Many desert plants have adapted to survive in arid conditions and offer valuable sources of nutrition. However, it is important to note that not all desert plants are edible, and some may even be toxic. Therefore, it is essential to have a comprehensive understanding of the local flora before gathering plants for consumption. 8.3.3.3 Sustainable foraging techniques. When gathering plants, use sustainable foraging techniques such as pruning instead of uprooting. This allows the plant to regenerate and ensures its long-term survival. Additionally, avoid damaging the surrounding vegetation or disturbing the habitat of other species. 8.3.4 Respecting indigenous knowledge. Indigenous communities have inhabited desert regions for generations and possess a wealth of knowledge about sustainable hunting and gathering practices. It is important to respect and learn from their wisdom, as they have developed sustainable strategies that have allowed them to thrive in these challenging environments. Engaging with local communities and seeking their guidance can provide valuable insights into sustainable food procurement in the desert. 8.3.5 Supplementing hunting and gathering. While sustainable hunting and gathering practices can provide a valuable source of food in the desert, it is important to supplement these activities with other food sources. This can include cultivating drought-tolerant crops, raising livestock adapted to arid conditions, or exploring alternative food production methods such as aquaponics or hydroponics. By diversifying your food sources, you can ensure a more stable and sustainable food supply. 8.3.6 Conclusion. Living in the middle of the desert requires a deep understanding of the local ecosystem and a commitment to sustainable practices. By adopting responsible hunting and gathering techniques, respecting seasonal restrictions, and supplementing your food sources, you can minimize your impact on the fragile desert environment while ensuring your own sustenance. Remember to always prioritize the long-term health and balance of the desert ecosystem, and seek guidance from local communities who have successfully thrived in these challenging environments for centuries. 8.4 Preserving and conserving desert biodiversity. Living in the middle of the desert comes with its own set of challenges and responsibilities. One of the most important aspects of desert living is preserving and conserving the unique biodiversity that exists in these arid landscapes. Desert ecosystems are fragile and delicate, and they are home to a wide variety of plant and animal species that have adapted to survive in extreme conditions. In this section, we will explore the importance of preserving desert biodiversity and discuss some practical ways to conserve it. 8.4.1 Understanding desert biodiversity. Desert ecosystems are often misunderstood and underestimated in terms of their biodiversity. While they may appear barren and lifeless at first glance, deserts are actually teeming with a surprising array of plant and animal species. These organisms have evolved unique adaptations to survive in the harsh desert conditions, making them highly specialized and resilient. Desert plants, such as cacti and succulents, have developed mechanisms to store water and reduce water loss through specialized leaves and stems. They also have deep root systems that allow them to tap into underground water sources. These plants provide food and shelter for a variety of desert animals, including insects, reptiles, birds, and mammals. Desert animals have also evolved remarkable adaptations to cope with the extreme temperatures and limited water availability. Some animals, like the kangaroo rat, have the ability to survive without drinking water by obtaining moisture from their food and producing concentrated urine. Others, like the fennec fox, have large ears that help dissipate heat and regulate body temperature. 8.4.2 The importance of desert biodiversity. Preserving desert biodiversity is crucial for several reasons. Firstly, desert ecosystems play a vital role in maintaining the overall balance of the planet's biodiversity. They provide habitat for numerous plant and animal species, many of which are endemic and found nowhere else in the world. The loss of these species would result in a significant reduction in global biodiversity. Secondly, desert plants and animals have unique adaptations and genetic traits that can be valuable for scientific research and potential medical discoveries. Many desert plants have medicinal properties and are used in traditional medicine by indigenous communities. By conserving desert biodiversity, we ensure that these valuable resources are not lost. Furthermore, desert ecosystems provide important ecosystem services. They help regulate the climate by absorbing carbon dioxide and releasing oxygen, contributing to the global carbon cycle. Desert plants also help prevent soil erosion and desertification by stabilizing the soil with their extensive root systems. 8.4.3 Conservation strategies for desert biodiversity. Preserving and conserving desert biodiversity requires a combination of individual actions, community efforts, and government policies. Here are some practical strategies that can be implemented to protect desert ecosystems. 8.4.3.1 Protecting habitat. One of the most effective ways to conserve desert biodiversity is by protecting and preserving the natural habitat of desert plants and animals. This can be achieved through the establishment of protected areas, such as national parks and wildlife reserves. These areas should be managed and monitored to ensure the conservation of key species and their habitats. 8.4.3.2 Promoting sustainable land use. Encouraging sustainable land use practices is essential for preserving desert biodiversity. This includes promoting responsible tourism, limiting the expansion of urban areas into natural habitats, and implementing sustainable agricultural practices that minimize the impact on desert ecosystems. 8.4.3.3 Controlling invasive species. Invasive species pose a significant threat to desert biodiversity. They can outcompete native species for resources and disrupt the delicate balance of desert ecosystems. Implementing measures to control and eradicate invasive species is crucial for preserving the integrity of desert habitats. 8.4.3.4 Supporting local communities. Engaging and supporting local communities is vital for the conservation of desert biodiversity. Indigenous communities often have traditional knowledge and practices that have helped them coexist with desert ecosystems for centuries. By involving local communities in conservation efforts, their expertise can be utilized to develop sustainable management strategies. 8.4.3.5 Educating and raising awareness. Raising awareness about the importance of desert biodiversity is essential for its conservation. Education programs and campaigns can help people understand the value of desert ecosystems and the need to protect them. By fostering a sense of stewardship and responsibility, individuals can contribute to the preservation of desert biodiversity in their daily lives. Conclusion. Preserving and conserving desert biodiversity is crucial for the long-term sustainability of these unique ecosystems. By understanding the importance of desert biodiversity, implementing conservation strategies, and raising awareness, we can ensure that future generations will continue to marvel at the beauty and resilience of desert plants and animals. Let us embrace our role as custodians of the desert and work together to protect and conserve its precious biodiversity. 9. Living with desert wildlife. 9.1 Understanding desert animal behavior. Desert environments are home to a wide variety of unique and fascinating animal species. In order to thrive in arid landscapes, it is essential to have a good understanding of desert animal behavior. This knowledge will not only help you coexist peacefully with the wildlife around you but also ensure your safety and the preservation of these fragile ecosystems. 9.1.1 Nocturnal adaptations. One of the most prominent characteristics of desert animals is their ability to adapt to the extreme temperatures and limited resources of their environment. Many desert animals have evolved to be nocturnal, meaning they are most active during the cooler nighttime hours. This behavior allows them to avoid the scorching heat of the day and conserve energy. Nocturnal animals have developed various adaptations to thrive in the darkness. They often have enhanced night vision, with larger eyes or reflective structures behind their retinas that maximize the available light. Some species, like the kangaroo rat, have specialized kidneys that enable them to extract water from their food, reducing their reliance on external water sources. 9.1.2 Water sources and migration patterns. Water is a scarce resource in the desert, and animals have developed unique strategies to find and conserve it. Understanding the behavior of desert animals in relation to water sources is crucial for your own survival and for the well-being of the wildlife. Many desert animals, such as camels and kangaroo rats, are capable of storing water in their bodies for extended periods. They have specialized physiological adaptations that allow them to survive without drinking water for long periods of time. Other animals, like the desert tortoise, rely on finding water sources such as natural springs or the occasional rainfall. Migration is another important behavior observed in desert animals. Some species, like the wildebeest, undertake long-distance migrations in search of water and food. By understanding the migration patterns of these animals, you can anticipate their movements and plan your own activities accordingly. 9.1.3 Social structures and communication. Desert animals exhibit a wide range of social structures and communication methods. Some species, like the meerkats, live in highly organized social groups, while others, like the solitary desert fox, prefer a more independent lifestyle. Communication among desert animals is often essential for survival. Many species use vocalizations, body language, and scent marking to communicate with each other. By observing and understanding these communication methods, you can gain insights into the behavior and intentions of the animals around you. 9.1.4 Predatory behavior and defense mechanisms. Predation is a fundamental aspect of desert ecosystems, and understanding the predatory behavior of animals is crucial for your own safety. Predators in the desert, such as coyotes and birds of prey, have developed specialized hunting techniques to catch their prey. Prey animals, on the other hand, have evolved various defense mechanisms to avoid becoming a meal. Some desert animals, like the fennec fox, have adapted to their environment by being extremely agile and elusive. Others, like the horned lizard, have developed physical adaptations such as spines or camouflage to deter predators. 9.1.5 Human-wildlife interactions. Living in the middle of the desert means sharing your space with a diverse range of wildlife. It is important to approach these interactions with respect and caution. While some desert animals may be harmless, others can pose a threat if they feel threatened or cornered. To minimize conflicts and ensure your safety, it is crucial to follow a few guidelines when encountering desert wildlife. Firstly, maintain a safe distance and avoid approaching or feeding wild animals. Secondly, secure your food and garbage to prevent attracting unwanted visitors. Lastly, if you encounter a potentially dangerous animal, remain calm and slowly back away without turning your back on it. 9.1.6 Conservation and preservation. Desert ecosystems are fragile and vulnerable to human activities. It is essential to be mindful of the impact you have on the environment and take steps to conserve and preserve these unique habitats. Respecting wildlife habitats and avoiding disturbance is crucial for the well-being of desert animals. Avoid driving off-road or disturbing nesting sites and burrows. Additionally, be mindful of your water usage and avoid polluting water sources. By understanding and appreciating desert animal behavior, you can coexist harmoniously with the wildlife around you and contribute to the preservation of these remarkable ecosystems. Remember, the desert is a delicate balance of life, and it is our responsibility to protect and conserve it for future generations. 9.2 Preventing and managing wildlife encounters. Living in the middle of the desert can provide a unique opportunity to experience the beauty and tranquility of nature. However, it also means sharing your living space with a variety of wildlife that have adapted to survive in arid environments. While encountering wildlife can be exciting, it is important to take precautions to prevent conflicts and ensure the safety of both humans and animals. In this section, we will discuss some strategies for preventing and managing wildlife encounters in the desert. 9.2.1 Understanding desert wildlife behavior. Before delving into prevention and management techniques, it is crucial to have a basic understanding of desert wildlife behavior. Desert ecosystems are home to a diverse range of animals, including reptiles, birds, mammals, and insects. These animals have evolved unique adaptations to survive in harsh desert conditions, such as the ability to conserve water and withstand extreme temperatures. It is important to recognize that wildlife in the desert is not inherently dangerous or aggressive towards humans. However, they may exhibit defensive behaviors if they feel threatened or cornered. Understanding the behavior and habits of different species can help you anticipate their actions and avoid potential conflicts. 9.2.2 Creating a wildlife-friendly environment. One of the best ways to prevent wildlife encounters is to create a wildlife-friendly environment around your desert dwelling. By providing suitable habitats and resources for wildlife, you can reduce the likelihood of animals venturing into your living space in search of food or water. Maintain a clean and tidy living area. Keep your living area clean and free of food scraps or waste that may attract wildlife. Properly dispose of garbage and secure containers to prevent animals from scavenging. Secure food and water sources. If you have a garden or outdoor water sources, take measures to secure them. Use fencing or netting to protect crops from being eaten by wildlife, and consider installing wildlife-friendly water sources away from your living area to prevent animals from approaching your home. Avoid feeding wildlife. While it may be tempting to feed wildlife, it is best to avoid doing so. Feeding wildlife can disrupt their natural foraging behaviors and create dependency on human-provided food, leading to potential conflicts. Use wildlife-friendly landscaping. Choose native plants that provide food and shelter for wildlife. Create natural barriers, such as hedges or rock formations, to discourage animals from entering your living space. 9.2.3 Wildlife deterrence and repellents. In some cases, despite your best efforts, wildlife may still venture near your desert dwelling. In such situations, it is important to have strategies in place to deter animals and prevent them from causing damage or posing a threat. Fencing. Install sturdy fencing around your property to keep larger animals out. Ensure that the fencing is buried deep enough to prevent animals from burrowing underneath. Motion-activated lights and alarms. Install motion-activated lights and alarms around your property to startle and deter wildlife. These devices can be particularly effective at night when animals are more active. Scare tactics. Use scare tactics such as visual deterrence, e.g., scarecrows or reflective tape, and noise-making devices, e.g., wind chimes or ultrasonic devices, to discourage wildlife from approaching your living area. Natural repellents. Some natural substances, such as vinegar, cayenne pepper, or predator urine, can act as repellents for certain animals. Apply these substances strategically around your property to deter wildlife. 9.2.4 Proper waste management. Proper waste management is essential for preventing wildlife encounters and maintaining a healthy desert ecosystem. Improperly stored waste can attract animals and increase the risk of conflicts. Secure garbage containers. Use sturdy, animal-proof containers to store garbage. Ensure that the containers are tightly sealed to prevent wildlife from accessing the contents. Composting. If you compost organic waste, use enclosed compost bins to prevent animals from being attracted to the smell and potentially causing a disturbance. Dispose of waste properly. If you have any hazardous materials or chemicals, dispose of them responsibly according to local regulations. Improper disposal can harm wildlife and contaminate the environment. 9.2.5 Educating yourself and others. Lastly, educating yourself and others about desert wildlife and the importance of coexistence is crucial for preventing and managing wildlife encounters. By understanding the needs and behaviors of wildlife, you can make informed decisions and take appropriate actions. Learn about local wildlife. Research and learn about the different species of wildlife that inhabit your area. Understand their habits, preferred habitats, and potential risks they may pose. Share knowledge with others. Educate your family, friends, and neighbors about the importance of respecting and coexisting with desert wildlife. Encourage them to adopt wildlife-friendly practices and report any wildlife-related concerns. Support conservation efforts. Get involved in local conservation organizations or initiatives that aim to protect and preserve desert wildlife. By supporting these efforts, you contribute to the long-term sustainability of the ecosystem. Living in the middle of the desert can be a rewarding experience, but it requires a responsible approach to coexisting with wildlife. By implementing the strategies discussed in this section, you can minimize the chances of wildlife encounters and create a harmonious living environment for both humans and animals. Remember, respecting and appreciating the natural world around you is key to thriving in arid landscapes. 9.3 Creating wildlife-friendly habitats. Living in the middle of the desert can be a unique and rewarding experience. One aspect of desert living that many people find fascinating is the opportunity to coexist with a diverse range of wildlife. Desert ecosystems are home to a variety of animals, from small insects to large mammals, and creating wildlife-friendly habitats can help promote biodiversity and enhance your desert living experience. In this section, we will explore some strategies for creating habitats that are welcoming to desert wildlife. 9.3.1 Understanding desert wildlife. Before we delve into creating wildlife-friendly habitats, it is important to have a basic understanding of the wildlife that inhabits desert environments. Desert ecosystems are characterized by extreme temperatures, limited water availability, and sparse vegetation. Despite these challenges, many animals have adapted to thrive in these harsh conditions. Desert wildlife includes a wide range of species, such as reptiles including snakes and lizards, birds such as raptors and migratory species, mammals including rodents, carnivores, and ungulates, and insects such as beetles and ants. Each species has unique adaptations that allow them to survive in the desert, such as specialized water-conserving mechanisms, heat tolerance, and efficient foraging strategies. 9.3.2 Providing water sources. Water is a precious resource in the desert, and providing access to water can greatly benefit wildlife. Consider incorporating water features into your desert habitat, such as small ponds, bird baths, or shallow dishes filled with water. These water sources can attract a variety of animals, including birds, insects, and small mammals, providing them with a much-needed hydration spot. It is important to regularly clean and refill these water sources to prevent the spread of diseases and ensure a continuous supply of fresh water. Additionally, placing rocks or branches near the water sources can provide perching spots for birds and other animals. 9.3.3 Planting native vegetation. Native plants play a crucial role in supporting desert wildlife. They provide food, shelter, and nesting sites for a variety of animals. When creating a wildlife-friendly habitat, consider planting a diverse range of native plants that are adapted to the desert environment. Choose plants that are drought-tolerant and can thrive in the arid conditions of the desert. Native grasses, shrubs, and cacti are excellent choices as they provide food and shelter for a wide range of wildlife. Additionally, flowering plants can attract pollinators such as bees and butterflies. Maintaining a variety of plant heights and structures can create a more diverse habitat. Some animals prefer tall trees or shrubs for nesting and perching, while others prefer low-growing plants for cover. By incorporating a mix of plant types, you can cater to the needs of different wildlife species. 9.3.4 Providing shelter and nesting sites. In addition to water and food sources, providing shelter and nesting sites is essential for creating wildlife-friendly habitats. Desert animals often rely on natural features such as rock crevices, tree hollows, and burrows for shelter and nesting. Consider incorporating artificial structures that mimic these natural features. For example, you can install birdhouses, bat boxes, or nesting platforms to provide additional nesting opportunities for birds and bats. Creating rock piles or installing small rock walls can provide shelter for reptiles and small mammals. It is important to ensure that these structures are placed in suitable locations and are designed to withstand the extreme temperatures and weather conditions of the desert. Regular maintenance and monitoring of these structures are also necessary to ensure their effectiveness and safety. 9.3.5 Minimizing human-wildlife conflict. Living in close proximity to wildlife can sometimes lead to conflicts. It is important to take steps to minimize these conflicts and ensure the safety of both humans and wildlife. Avoid feeding wildlife as it can disrupt their natural foraging behaviors and lead to dependency on human-provided food. Feeding wildlife can also attract unwanted pests and predators to your property. Secure garbage and food storage areas to prevent wildlife from accessing them. This will help reduce the likelihood of wildlife scavenging for food near your living space. If you encounter wildlife on your property, observe them from a safe distance and avoid approaching or disturbing them. Respect their space and allow them to go about their natural behaviors undisturbed. 9.3.6 Promoting biodiversity. Creating a wildlife-friendly habitat in the desert is not just about attracting a few specific species. It is about promoting overall biodiversity and creating a balanced ecosystem. By providing a variety of food sources, water sources, and shelter options, you can attract a diverse range of wildlife species. This diversity is important for maintaining a healthy ecosystem and ensuring the long-term survival of desert wildlife. Additionally, consider participating in citizen science projects or collaborating with local conservation organizations to contribute to the monitoring and conservation efforts of desert wildlife. By sharing your observations and data, you can help scientists and researchers better understand and protect desert ecosystems. Living in the middle of the desert offers a unique opportunity to connect with and appreciate the beauty of desert wildlife. By creating wildlife-friendly habitats, you can enhance your desert living experience and contribute to the conservation of these remarkable ecosystems. 9.4 Conserving endangered desert species. Living in the middle of the desert can be a unique and rewarding experience. However, it is important to remember that desert ecosystems are fragile and home to many endangered species. As a responsible desert dweller, it is crucial to take steps to conserve and protect these vulnerable creatures. In this section, we will explore some strategies for conserving endangered desert species and promoting their survival. 9.4.1 Understanding endangered species. Before we delve into conservation strategies, it is essential to have a clear understanding of what endangered species are. Endangered species are those that face a high risk of extinction in the near future. They are often threatened by factors such as habitat loss, climate change, poaching, and pollution. By conserving these species, we can help maintain the delicate balance of desert ecosystems and preserve biodiversity. 9.4.2 Supporting conservation organizations. One of the most effective ways to contribute to the conservation of endangered desert species is by supporting reputable conservation organizations. These organizations work tirelessly to protect and restore habitats, conduct research, and implement conservation programs. By donating to these organizations or volunteering your time, you can directly contribute to the preservation of endangered species and their habitats. 9.4.3 Promoting habitat conservation. Habitat loss is one of the primary threats to endangered desert species. As a desert dweller, you can play a crucial role in promoting habitat conservation. Here are some steps you can take. Preserve natural habitats. If you own land in the desert, consider setting aside a portion of it as a protected area. This will provide a safe haven for endangered species and help maintain their populations. Avoid habitat destruction. When building or expanding your desert dwelling, take care to minimize the impact on the surrounding habitat. Avoid clearing vegetation unnecessarily and be mindful of the potential disturbance to wildlife. Plant native species. Native plants provide essential food and shelter for desert wildlife. By planting native species in your garden or surrounding areas, you can create valuable habitat for endangered species. 9.4.4 Minimizing human-wildlife conflict. Living in close proximity to endangered desert species can sometimes lead to conflicts. It is important to minimize these conflicts to ensure the safety of both humans and wildlife. Here are some strategies to consider. Secure food and waste. Properly store food and waste to avoid attracting wildlife to your dwelling. This will help prevent conflicts and reduce the risk of habituation or dependency on human resources. Use wildlife-friendly fencing. If you need to install fencing around your property, choose designs that allow wildlife to pass through or around without getting trapped or injured. Educate yourself and others. Learn about the behavior and needs of endangered desert species. Share this knowledge with your neighbors and visitors to promote responsible behavior and minimize negative interactions. 9.4.5 Reporting wildlife sightings and illegal activities. As a desert dweller, you are in a unique position to observe and report wildlife sightings and any illegal activities that may threaten endangered species. By promptly reporting such incidents to the appropriate authorities or conservation organizations, you can help protect these vulnerable creatures and contribute to their conservation efforts. 9.4.6 Participating in citizen science projects. Citizen science projects provide opportunities for individuals to contribute to scientific research and conservation efforts. By participating in these projects, you can help monitor endangered desert species, collect valuable data, and contribute to their conservation. Look for local or online citizen science initiatives focused on desert wildlife and get involved. 9.4.7 Promoting sustainable practices. Living sustainably in the desert can have a positive impact on endangered species. Here are some sustainable practices to consider. Reduce water consumption. Conserving water not only benefits you but also helps preserve vital water sources for desert wildlife. Implement water-saving techniques such as rainwater harvesting, efficient irrigation methods, and water recycling. Minimize energy consumption. By reducing your energy consumption, you can help mitigate climate change and its impact on desert ecosystems. Use energy-efficient appliances, harness renewable energy sources like solar power, and practice energy conservation in your daily life. Practice responsible waste management. Properly dispose of waste and recycle whenever possible. Avoid littering and be mindful of the potential harm that waste can cause to wildlife. 9.4.8 Educating others. Lastly, one of the most powerful ways to conserve endangered desert species is by educating others. Share your knowledge and experiences with friends, family, and the wider community. By raising awareness about the importance of desert conservation and the plight of endangered species, you can inspire others to take action and make a positive difference. Living in the middle of the desert comes with a responsibility to protect and conserve the unique and fragile ecosystems that surround you. By implementing these conservation strategies and promoting the survival of endangered desert species, you can contribute to the long-term sustainability and biodiversity of these remarkable landscapes. 10. Health and wellness in arid environments. 10.1 Hydration and nutrition in the desert. Living in the middle of the desert presents unique challenges, particularly when it comes to maintaining proper hydration and nutrition. The arid environment and extreme temperatures can quickly lead to dehydration and nutrient deficiencies if not managed carefully. In this section, we will explore strategies for staying hydrated and nourished in the desert. 10.1.1 Importance of hydration. Hydration is crucial for survival in the desert. The dry air and high temperatures can cause excessive sweating, leading to rapid fluid loss from the body. Dehydration can result in dizziness, fatigue, confusion, and even life-threatening conditions such as heat stroke. Therefore, it is essential to prioritize hydration and ensure an adequate intake of fluids. 10.1.2 Water sources. Finding reliable water sources in the desert can be challenging, but it is vital for survival. Here are some potential sources of water. Natural springs. Look for natural springs or oases in the desert landscape. These are areas where water naturally emerges from the ground and can provide a reliable source of fresh water. Wells. Digging wells can be a viable option for accessing groundwater. However, it requires proper knowledge and equipment. Consult with experts or local authorities to ensure the safety and legality of well digging in your area. Rainwater harvesting. Take advantage of the occasional rainfall in the desert by collecting rainwater. Set up rain barrels or other containers to capture and store rainwater for later use. Condensation. In some desert regions, condensation can occur during the cooler nights. You can collect this moisture by using dew traps or by placing a clean cloth or plastic sheet on the ground to collect the condensation. 10.1.3 Water conservation. Conserving water is crucial in the desert, where water scarcity is a constant concern. Here are some water conservation strategies. Limit water usage. Be mindful of your water consumption and avoid wastage. Use water sparingly while bathing, washing dishes, and doing laundry. Greywater recycling. Implement a greywater recycling system to reuse water from activities such as washing dishes or showering. This water can be used for irrigation or other non-potable purposes. Drip irrigation. When cultivating a garden or growing crops, consider using drip irrigation systems. These systems deliver water directly to the plant roots, minimizing evaporation and water loss. Mulching. Apply a layer of organic mulch around plants to reduce evaporation and retain moisture in the soil. 10.1.4 Nutritional considerations. Maintaining proper nutrition is essential for overall health and well-being, especially in the desert where resources may be limited. Here are some considerations for desert nutrition. Diverse diet. Aim for a diverse diet that includes a variety of fruits, vegetables, grains, and proteins. This will help ensure you receive a wide range of essential nutrients. Drought-tolerant crops. Focus on growing drought-tolerant crops that can thrive in arid conditions. Examples include cacti, succulents, and certain types of grains like quinoa and amaranth. Food preservation. Learn techniques for preserving food, such as drying, canning, and pickling. These methods can help extend the shelf life of perishable items and reduce food waste. Nutrient-dense foods. Prioritize nutrient-dense foods that provide a high concentration of vitamins and minerals. Examples include nuts, seeds, legumes, and dried fruits. 10.1.5 Electrolyte balance. In the desert, excessive sweating can lead to electrolyte imbalances. Electrolytes are minerals that help maintain proper fluid balance in the body. To prevent electrolyte deficiencies, consider the following. Replenish electrolytes. Consume foods and beverages that are rich in electrolytes, such as coconut water, sports drinks, and electrolyte-enhanced water. Salt intake. In moderation, adding a small amount of salt to your meals can help replenish sodium levels lost through sweating. Natural sources. Seek out natural sources of electrolytes, such as fruits like bananas and oranges, which contain potassium, and leafy greens, which are rich in magnesium. 10.1.6 Hydration tips. Here are some additional tips to stay hydrated in the desert. Drink regularly. Make a conscious effort to drink water regularly throughout the day, even if you do not feel thirsty. Thirst is not always an accurate indicator of hydration status. Carry water. Always carry an adequate supply of water with you, especially when venturing out into the desert. Invest in a durable and portable water container. Avoid alcohol and caffeine. Limit your consumption of alcohol and caffeine, as they can contribute to dehydration. Monitor urine color. Pay attention to the color of your urine. Clear or light yellow urine indicates proper hydration, while dark yellow urine may be a sign of dehydration. Remember, staying hydrated and properly nourished is essential for your health and well-being in the desert. Prioritize water conservation, maintain a diverse and nutrient-rich diet, and take necessary precautions to prevent dehydration and nutrient deficiencies. 10.2 Preventing and treating desert-related illnesses. Living in the middle of the desert can be an incredible experience, but it also comes with its own set of challenges, including the risk of desert-related illnesses. The extreme heat, dry climate, and limited access to resources can have a significant impact on your health and well-being. However, by taking certain precautions and being aware of potential risks, you can prevent and treat desert-related illnesses effectively. In this section, we will explore some essential strategies to keep yourself healthy and thriving in the arid desert environment. 10.2.1 Hydration, the key to desert health. One of the most critical aspects of living in the desert is staying hydrated. The arid climate and high temperatures can lead to rapid dehydration, which can have severe consequences on your health. To prevent dehydration, it is essential to drink plenty of water throughout the day, even if you don't feel thirsty. Aim to consume at least 2 to 3 liters of water daily, and carry a water bottle with you at all times. In addition to water, you can also replenish electrolytes by consuming sports drinks or electrolyte-enhanced water. These beverages help restore the minerals lost through sweating and can be particularly beneficial during intense physical activities or prolonged exposure to the sun. 10.2.2 Protecting your skin from the sun. The desert sun can be intense, and prolonged exposure can lead to sunburn, heat rash, and even skin cancer. To protect your skin from the harmful effects of the sun, it is crucial to take appropriate measures. Apply a broad-spectrum sunscreen with a high SPF sun protection factor of 30 or above before going outside, and reapply it every 2 hours or more frequently if you are sweating or swimming. Wearing protective clothing, such as long-sleeved shirts, wide-brimmed hats, and sunglasses, can also shield your skin and eyes from the sun's harmful rays. Seek shade whenever possible, especially during the peak hours of sunlight between 10 a.m. and 4 p.m. 10.2.3 Managing heat-related illnesses. Living in the desert means dealing with extreme heat, which can lead to heat-related illnesses such as heat exhaustion and heat stroke. These conditions can be life-threatening if not treated promptly. To prevent heat-related illnesses, it is crucial to take the following precautions. Avoid strenuous activities during the hottest parts of the day. Wear lightweight, loose-fitting, and light-colored clothing to allow for better air circulation and reflect the sun's rays. Take frequent breaks in shaded areas or air-conditioned spaces to cool down. Use cooling techniques such as wet towels or misting fans to lower your body temperature. Stay well hydrated by drinking water and electrolyte-rich beverages regularly. If you or someone around you experiences symptoms of heat exhaustion, such as heavy sweating, dizziness, nausea, or muscle cramps, move to a cooler place, rest, and drink plenty of fluids. If the symptoms worsen or progress to heat stroke, characterized by a high body temperature, confusion, rapid heartbeat, or loss of consciousness, seek immediate medical attention. 10.2.4 Preventing and treating desert respiratory issues. The dry and dusty conditions of the desert can contribute to respiratory problems, especially for individuals with pre-existing conditions such as asthma or allergies. To prevent and manage respiratory issues in the desert, consider the following. Keep your living space clean and dust-free by regularly dusting and vacuuming. Use air purifiers or humidifiers to improve air quality and maintain moisture levels. Wear a mask or scarf over your nose and mouth when venturing out into dusty areas. Avoid outdoor activities during sandstorms or when the air quality is poor. Consult with a healthcare professional to develop an appropriate treatment plan if you have pre-existing respiratory conditions. 10.2.5 Addressing desert-related skin conditions. Living in the desert can also lead to specific skin conditions due to the dry climate and exposure to harsh elements. To prevent and treat desert-related skin issues, consider the following tips. Moisturize your skin regularly using a high-quality moisturizer to combat dryness and prevent cracking. Use lip balm with SPF to protect your lips from becoming dry and chapped. Take shorter showers with lukewarm water to avoid stripping your skin of its natural oils. Avoid using harsh soaps or cleansers that can further dry out your skin. Apply aloe vera or soothing creams to relieve sunburn or skin irritations. If you experience persistent or severe skin issues, consult with a dermatologist for proper diagnosis and treatment. Living in the middle of the desert can be a unique and rewarding experience, but it requires careful attention to your health and well-being. By staying hydrated, protecting yourself from the sun, managing heat-related illnesses, addressing respiratory issues, and taking care of your skin, you can prevent and treat desert-related illnesses effectively. Remember to consult with healthcare professionals for personalized advice and to ensure your health and safety in this challenging environment. 10.3 Maintaining mental and emotional well-being. Living in the middle of the desert can be a unique and challenging experience. The isolation, extreme weather conditions, and limited resources can take a toll on your mental and emotional well-being. However, with the right mindset and strategies, you can thrive and maintain a positive state of mind in this arid environment. In this section, we will explore some effective ways to maintain your mental and emotional well-being while living in the middle of the desert. 10.3.1 Embrace the beauty of the desert. One of the first steps to maintaining your mental and emotional well-being in the desert is to embrace the beauty of your surroundings. Despite the harsh conditions, deserts have a unique and awe-inspiring beauty that can be both calming and rejuvenating. Take the time to appreciate the vastness of the landscape, the stunning sunsets, and the tranquility that comes with living in such a remote area. By focusing on the positive aspects of your environment, you can cultivate a sense of gratitude and contentment. 10.3.2 Connect with nature. Spending time in nature has been proven to have numerous mental health benefits. In the desert, connecting with nature can be particularly powerful. Take regular walks or hikes in the desert, and immerse yourself in the sights, sounds, and smells of the natural world around you. Engaging with the desert ecosystem can help you feel more grounded, reduce stress, and improve your overall well-being. Whether it's observing the unique flora and fauna or simply sitting in silence and appreciating the stillness, nature can be a powerful source of solace and inspiration. 10.3.3 Practice mindfulness and meditation. Living in the desert can provide a unique opportunity to practice mindfulness and meditation. The vastness and stillness of the desert can create a conducive environment for introspection and self-reflection. Set aside dedicated time each day to practice mindfulness or meditation. Find a quiet spot, close your eyes, and focus on your breath or the sounds of nature around you. This practice can help you cultivate a sense of inner calm, reduce anxiety, and improve your overall mental well-being. 10.3.4 Stay connected with loved ones. Living in a remote desert location can sometimes lead to feelings of isolation. It is important to stay connected with your loved ones to maintain a strong support system. Make use of technology to regularly communicate with family and friends through phone calls, video chats, or social media. Sharing your experiences, thoughts, and emotions with loved ones can provide a sense of belonging and support, even from a distance. 10.3.5 Engage in creative activities. Engaging in creative activities can be a great way to maintain your mental and emotional well-being in the desert. The solitude and unique environment can inspire creativity and self-expression. Consider taking up activities such as painting, writing, photography, or playing a musical instrument. These creative outlets can serve as a form of therapy, allowing you to express your emotions and channel your energy into something positive. 10.3.6 Establish a routine and set goals. Living in the middle of the desert can sometimes feel aimless, especially if you are far away from the hustle and bustle of city life. To maintain a sense of purpose and direction, establish a daily routine and set goals for yourself. This can help you stay motivated and focused on personal growth and achievement. Whether it's learning a new skill, working on a personal project, or pursuing a hobby, having a routine and goals can provide structure and a sense of accomplishment. 10.3.7 Seek support from local community. While living in the desert may seem isolated, there is often a close-knit community of people who have chosen to live in similar environments. Seek out and connect with the local community to build relationships and find support. Attend community events, join clubs or organizations, and participate in local activities. Engaging with others who understand the challenges and joys of desert living can provide a sense of belonging and camaraderie. 10.3.8 Take care of your physical health. Maintaining your mental and emotional well-being is closely linked to your physical health. In the desert, it is crucial to take care of your body by staying hydrated, eating a balanced diet, and getting regular exercise. Drink plenty of water, eat nutritious meals, and engage in physical activities that you enjoy, such as hiking, yoga, or swimming if there are suitable facilities nearby. Taking care of your physical health will not only improve your overall well-being but also contribute to a positive mindset. 10.3.9 Practice self-care. Living in the middle of the desert can be demanding, both physically and mentally. It is important to prioritize self-care to prevent burnout and maintain a healthy state of mind. Set aside time each day for activities that bring you joy and relaxation, such as reading, taking a bath, practicing self-reflection, or engaging in hobbies. Prioritizing self-care will help you recharge, reduce stress, and maintain a positive outlook on life. 10.3.10 Seek professional help if needed. If you find yourself struggling with your mental and emotional well-being in the desert, do not hesitate to seek professional help. Living in a remote location does not mean you have to face challenges alone. Reach out to mental health professionals who specialize in remote counseling or teletherapy. They can provide guidance, support, and strategies to help you navigate the unique challenges of living in the middle of the desert. Remember, maintaining your mental and emotional well-being is essential for a fulfilling life in the desert. By embracing the beauty of your surroundings, connecting with nature, practicing mindfulness, staying connected with loved ones, engaging in creative activities, establishing a routine, seeking support from the local community, taking care of your physical health, practicing self-care, and seeking professional help if needed, you can thrive and find happiness in this arid environment. 10.4 Fitness and exercise in the desert. Living in the middle of the desert presents unique challenges when it comes to maintaining a healthy and active lifestyle. The extreme temperatures, arid conditions, and limited resources may seem like obstacles, but with the right approach, you can still prioritize fitness and exercise in your daily routine. Staying physically active not only improves your overall well-being but also helps you adapt to the demands of desert living. In this section, we will explore various fitness and exercise strategies that are suitable for the desert environment. 10.4.1 Importance of fitness in the desert. Living in the desert requires physical stamina and endurance due to the harsh conditions. Engaging in regular exercise not only helps you build strength and flexibility but also prepares your body for the challenges of desert living. Fitness activities improve cardiovascular health, boost your immune system, and enhance your mental well-being. Additionally, staying active can help you maintain a healthy weight, reduce the risk of chronic diseases, and improve your overall quality of life. 10.4.2 Choosing the right activities. When it comes to fitness and exercise in the desert, it is essential to choose activities that are suitable for the environment and your personal preferences. Here are some options to consider. 10.4.2.1 Walking and hiking. Walking and hiking are excellent low-impact activities that allow you to explore the desert landscape while getting a good workout. Choose trails that are suitable for your fitness level and always carry plenty of water and sun protection. Start with shorter distances and gradually increase the intensity and duration of your hikes as your fitness improves. 10.4.2.2 Cycling. Cycling is another great way to stay active in the desert. Whether you prefer road cycling or mountain biking, the desert offers a variety of terrains to suit your preferences. Ensure you have a well-maintained bike, wear appropriate safety gear, and carry enough water and supplies for longer rides. 10.4.2.3 Yoga and Pilates. Yoga and Pilates are excellent options for improving flexibility, strength, and balance. These activities can be practiced indoors or outdoors, making them suitable for the desert environment. Look for shaded areas or practice during cooler times of the day to avoid excessive heat exposure. 10.4.2.4 Swimming. If you have access to a swimming pool or a natural water source, swimming is a fantastic full-body workout that provides relief from the desert heat. It is a low-impact activity that is gentle on the joints and offers a refreshing way to stay fit. 10.4.2.5 Strength training. Maintaining muscle strength is crucial for overall fitness and functional movement. Incorporate strength training exercises into your routine using bodyweight exercises, resistance bands, or free weights. Focus on exercises that target major muscle groups and adapt them to your fitness level. 10.4.3 Safety Considerations. When exercising in the desert, it is essential to prioritize safety to avoid heat-related illnesses and other potential hazards. Here are some safety considerations to keep in mind. 10.4.3.1 Hydration. Staying hydrated is crucial in the desert, especially during physical activity. Drink plenty of water before, during, and after your workouts. Carry a sufficient supply of water and consider using a hydration pack or water bottles with built-in filters for longer activities. 10.4.3.2 Sun Protection. Protecting yourself from the sun's harmful rays is vital in the desert. Wear lightweight, breathable clothing that covers your skin, including a wide-brimmed hat and sunglasses. Apply sunscreen with a high SPF and reapply it regularly, especially if you are sweating or spending extended periods outdoors. 10.4.3.3 Time of day. Plan your workouts during the cooler parts of the day, such as early morning or late evening, to avoid the peak heat. Be mindful of the signs of heat exhaustion or heat stroke, such as dizziness, nausea, rapid heartbeat, or confusion. If you experience any of these symptoms, seek shade, rest, and hydrate immediately. 10.4.3.4 Wildlife Awareness. Be aware of the wildlife that may inhabit the desert and take precautions to avoid encounters. Familiarize yourself with the local wildlife and their behaviors. Keep a safe distance, avoid feeding or approaching animals, and store food securely to prevent attracting wildlife to your living area. 10.4.4 Indoor Exercise Options. During extreme weather conditions or when outdoor activities are not feasible, it is essential to have indoor exercise options. Consider setting up a designated exercise area in your desert dwelling. Here are some indoor exercise options. 10.4.4.1 Home Gym. Create a home gym with basic exercise equipment such as dumbbells, resistance bands, a yoga mat, and an exercise ball. This allows you to engage in a variety of strength training exercises and flexibility routines without leaving your home. 10.4.4.2 Fitness Videos and Apps. Utilize fitness videos or mobile apps that offer a wide range of workouts, including cardio, strength training, yoga, and Pilates. These resources provide guidance and motivation for indoor exercise sessions. 10.4.4.3 Stair Climbing. If your desert dwelling has stairs, take advantage of them for a cardiovascular workout. Climbing stairs is an effective way to elevate your heart rate and strengthen your lower body muscles. 10.4.5 Incorporating exercise into daily life. In addition to dedicated workout sessions, finding ways to incorporate exercise into your daily life can help you stay active in the desert. Here are some ideas. Take regular breaks from sedentary activities and engage in short bursts of physical activity, such as stretching or walking. Use manual tools for gardening or maintenance tasks to increase physical exertion. Take the stairs instead of the elevator whenever possible. Park your vehicle farther away from your destination to incorporate more walking into your routine. Engage in active hobbies such as photography, birdwatching, or nature exploration that require physical movement. Remember to listen to your body and adjust your exercise routine according to your fitness level and the specific conditions of the desert environment. Stay consistent, stay safe, and enjoy the benefits of staying fit and active in the desert. 11. Community and social life in desert areas. 11.1 Building and engaging with desert communities. Living in the middle of the desert can be a unique and rewarding experience. While the desert may seem like a harsh and isolated environment, it is possible to build and engage with desert communities that can provide support, companionship, and a sense of belonging. In this section, we will explore some strategies for building and engaging with desert communities. 11.1.1 Establishing connections. When living in the middle of the desert, it is important to establish connections with the people around you. Desert communities can be small and tight-knit, and building relationships with your neighbors can provide a sense of security and support. Here are some ways to establish connections. Introduce yourself. Take the initiative to introduce yourself to your neighbors. Attend community events, gatherings, or meetings to meet new people and get to know them better. Building a friendly rapport with your neighbors can create a sense of community and make you feel more connected. Join local organizations. Get involved in local organizations or clubs that align with your interests. This could be a gardening club, a hiking group, or a community service organization. By participating in these activities, you can meet like-minded individuals who share similar passions and build connections. Volunteer. Offer your time and skills to local community projects or initiatives. This could involve helping with community cleanup efforts, organizing events, or assisting with local charities. Volunteering not only allows you to contribute to the community but also provides an opportunity to meet new people and form connections. 11.1.2 Collaborative projects. Collaborative projects are a great way to engage with desert communities and work together towards a common goal. These projects can foster a sense of unity and cooperation among community members. Here are some collaborative project ideas. Community gardens. Establishing a community garden can bring people together and promote sustainable food production. By working together to grow fruits, vegetables, and herbs, community members can share the harvest and develop a stronger bond. Water conservation initiatives. In arid environments, water conservation is crucial. Collaborate with your community to implement water-saving techniques such as rainwater harvesting, greywater recycling, and efficient irrigation systems. By working together, you can make a significant impact on water conservation efforts. Community events. Organize and participate in community events such as festivals, fairs, or workshops. These events can provide opportunities for community members to come together, showcase their talents, and celebrate the unique culture and heritage of the desert region. 11.1.3 Communication and support. Effective communication is essential for building and engaging with desert communities. It allows community members to stay connected, share information, and provide support when needed. Here are some communication strategies. Community meetings. Organize regular community meetings to discuss important matters, share updates, and address any concerns or issues. These meetings can serve as a platform for community members to voice their opinions, make decisions collectively, and strengthen community bonds. Online platforms. Utilize online platforms such as social media groups or community forums to facilitate communication and information sharing. These platforms can be used to organize events, share resources, and provide support to one another. Emergency preparedness. In desert environments, it is crucial to be prepared for emergencies such as sandstorms, flash floods, or extreme heatwaves. Establish a community emergency response plan and ensure that all community members are aware of the necessary precautions and procedures. 11.1.4 Cultural exchange and education. Desert communities often have a rich cultural heritage and traditions that can be celebrated and shared. Engaging in cultural exchange and education can foster a deeper understanding and appreciation for the desert environment and its people. Here are some ways to promote cultural exchange. Storytelling and workshops. Organize storytelling sessions or workshops where community members can share their personal stories, traditional practices, or skills. This can help preserve cultural heritage and create a sense of pride and identity within the community. Cultural celebrations. Celebrate cultural festivals and events together as a community. This can involve organizing traditional music and dance performances, showcasing local arts and crafts, or preparing and sharing traditional cuisine. Educational programs. Collaborate with local schools or educational institutions to develop educational programs that focus on the unique aspects of desert living. This can include workshops on desert ecology, sustainable practices, or traditional knowledge. Building and engaging with desert communities can enhance your desert living experience. By establishing connections, collaborating on projects, fostering communication, and promoting cultural exchange, you can create a vibrant and supportive community that thrives in the middle of the desert. 11.2 Cultural heritage and traditions in arid regions. Living in the middle of the desert not only requires practical knowledge and skills but also an understanding and appreciation of the cultural heritage and traditions that have shaped the lives of people in arid regions for centuries. The desert is not just a harsh and unforgiving environment, it is also a place rich in history, stories, and unique cultural practices. In this section, we will explore the cultural heritage and traditions that are deeply rooted in arid regions, providing you with a deeper understanding of the communities that have thrived in these challenging landscapes. 11.2.1 The importance of cultural heritage. Cultural heritage refers to the customs, traditions, beliefs, and practices that are passed down from generation to generation within a community. In arid regions, cultural heritage plays a vital role in shaping the identity and resilience of the people who call these areas home. It is through their cultural heritage that desert communities have developed unique ways of living, adapting, and thriving in the face of adversity. 11.2.2 Traditional knowledge and practices. One of the most valuable aspects of cultural heritage in arid regions is the traditional knowledge and practices that have been honed over centuries. Desert communities have developed a deep understanding of their environment, learning how to navigate the harsh conditions and make the most of limited resources. This traditional knowledge encompasses a wide range of skills, including water management, food production, shelter construction, and navigation techniques. 11.2.3 Oral traditions and storytelling. In the absence of written records, oral traditions and storytelling have played a crucial role in preserving and passing on cultural heritage in arid regions. Through stories, myths, and legends, desert communities have shared their history, values, and wisdom with younger generations. These stories often contain important lessons about survival, respect for nature, and the interconnectedness of all living beings. 11.2.4 Traditional arts and crafts. Artistic expression is another significant aspect of cultural heritage in arid regions. Desert communities have developed unique art forms and crafts that reflect their connection to the land and their way of life. From intricate pottery and basket weaving to vibrant textiles and jewelry, these traditional arts not only serve as a means of creative expression but also as a way to preserve cultural identity and pass on traditional skills. 11.2.5 Festivals and celebrations. Festivals and celebrations are an integral part of cultural heritage in arid regions. These events bring communities together, providing an opportunity to celebrate their traditions, express gratitude for the resources they have, and strengthen social bonds. Desert festivals often involve music, dance, traditional costumes, and culinary delights that showcase the unique cultural heritage of the region. 11.2.6 Respect for nature and sacred sites. Cultural heritage in arid regions is deeply intertwined with a profound respect for nature and the recognition of sacred sites. Desert communities have a deep spiritual connection to the land, viewing it as a provider of life and sustenance. Sacred sites, such as oases, mountains, and rock formations, hold great significance and are often protected and revered. This respect for nature is not only a cultural practice but also a sustainable approach to living in harmony with the environment. 11.2.7 Preserving cultural heritage. Preserving cultural heritage in arid regions is essential for maintaining the identity and well-being of desert communities. It is crucial to recognize and respect the cultural practices, traditions, and knowledge that have sustained these communities for generations. Efforts should be made to document and record oral traditions, support traditional arts and crafts, and promote cultural exchange and understanding. 11.2.8 Cultural exchange and learning. Living in the middle of the desert provides a unique opportunity to engage with and learn from the cultural heritage of the local communities. By participating in cultural exchange programs, attending festivals, and interacting with the residents, you can gain a deeper appreciation for the traditions and values that have shaped their way of life. This cultural exchange not only enriches your own experience but also contributes to the preservation and promotion of cultural heritage in arid regions. 11.2.9 Embracing diversity. It is important to note that cultural heritage in arid regions is diverse and varies from one community to another. Each group has its own unique customs, traditions, and practices that contribute to the rich tapestry of desert culture. Embracing this diversity and respecting the differences among communities is crucial for fostering understanding, tolerance, and appreciation for the cultural heritage of arid regions. In conclusion, cultural heritage and traditions are an integral part of living in the middle of the desert. They provide a sense of identity, resilience, and connection to the land. By understanding and embracing the cultural heritage of arid regions, you can not only enrich your own experience but also contribute to the preservation and promotion of these valuable traditions for future generations. 11.3 Recreation and leisure activities in the desert. Living in the middle of the desert can be a unique and rewarding experience. While the desert may seem like a harsh and desolate environment, it offers a wide range of recreational and leisure activities that can help you make the most of your desert dwelling. Engaging in these activities not only allows you to enjoy the natural beauty of the desert but also helps you connect with the local community and create a fulfilling social life. In this section, we will explore some of the recreational and leisure activities that you can enjoy while living in the middle of the desert. 11.3.1 Exploring desert trails and hiking. One of the most popular activities in the desert is exploring the vast network of trails and hiking routes. The desert landscape offers a unique and breathtaking scenery that can be best experienced on foot. Whether you are a beginner or an experienced hiker, there are trails available for all skill levels. From short and easy walks to challenging multi-day hikes, the desert has something to offer for everyone. As you hike through the desert, you will have the opportunity to witness the diverse flora and fauna that have adapted to survive in this arid environment. Make sure to carry plenty of water, wear appropriate clothing, and inform someone about your hiking plans for safety purposes. 11.3.2 Camping and stargazing. Camping in the desert is an incredible experience that allows you to immerse yourself in the tranquility and beauty of the surroundings. With clear skies and minimal light pollution, the desert offers an ideal setting for stargazing. Set up your tent or camp under the open sky and witness the breathtaking display of stars that illuminate the night. As you sit around the campfire, you can enjoy the peacefulness of the desert and listen to the sounds of nature. Remember to follow all safety guidelines and obtain any necessary permits before camping in designated areas. 11.3.3 Desert photography. The desert provides a stunning backdrop for photography enthusiasts. The unique lighting conditions, vast landscapes, and interesting rock formations offer endless opportunities for capturing breathtaking images. Whether you are interested in landscape photography, wildlife photography, or even astrophotography, the desert provides a diverse range of subjects to explore. Experiment with different angles, lighting, and compositions to capture the essence and beauty of the desert. Don't forget to respect the environment and wildlife while taking photographs. 11.3.4 Off-roading and dune bashing. For those seeking an adrenaline rush, off-roading and dune bashing are popular activities in the desert. With the right vehicle and proper safety precautions, you can explore the sandy terrain and conquer the towering sand dunes. Off-roading allows you to access remote areas of the desert that are otherwise inaccessible, providing a unique and thrilling adventure. However, it is essential to follow all local regulations, respect the environment, and ensure the safety of yourself and others while engaging in off-roading activities. 11.3.5 Desert wildlife observation. The desert is home to a wide variety of unique and fascinating wildlife. Observing and learning about the desert's flora and fauna can be a rewarding and educational experience. Grab a pair of binoculars and embark on a wildlife observation adventure. From birds soaring through the sky to elusive desert mammals, there is always something new to discover. Remember to maintain a safe distance from wildlife and avoid disturbing their natural habitats. 11.3.6 Desert festivals and cultural events. Desert communities often organize festivals and cultural events that celebrate the rich heritage and traditions of the region. These events provide an opportunity to connect with the local community, learn about their customs, and experience the vibrant culture of the desert. From music and dance performances to traditional arts and crafts exhibitions, these festivals offer a unique insight into the desert's cultural fabric. Participating in these events can help you forge meaningful connections and create lasting memories. 11.3.7 Desert Sports and Recreation. The desert offers a wide range of sports and recreational activities that cater to different interests and fitness levels. From sandboarding and dune buggy racing to rock climbing and mountain biking, there are plenty of options to keep you active and engaged. Engaging in these activities not only provides physical exercise but also allows you to appreciate the natural beauty of the desert from a different perspective. Make sure to follow all safety guidelines and receive proper training before attempting any extreme sports. 11.3.8 Desert Art and Crafts. The desert has long been a source of inspiration for artists and craftsmen. Engaging in art and crafts activities can be a fulfilling way to express your creativity and connect with the desert environment. Whether it's painting the desert landscape, creating sculptures from natural materials, or weaving traditional desert textiles, there are numerous art forms to explore. You can also join local art communities or workshops to learn from experienced artists and share your passion with like-minded individuals. Living in the middle of the desert offers a unique opportunity to engage in a wide range of recreational and leisure activities. From exploring desert trails and camping under the stars to capturing stunning photographs and participating in cultural events, the desert provides endless possibilities for enjoyment and enrichment. Embrace the beauty and serenity of the desert, and let it inspire you to create a fulfilling and vibrant life in this extraordinary environment. 11.4 Supporting local economies and businesses. Living in the middle of the desert can present unique challenges, but it also offers opportunities to support and contribute to the local economies and businesses that thrive in these arid regions. Desert communities often rely on various industries and enterprises to sustain their livelihoods, and by actively engaging with and supporting these local businesses, you can not only enhance your own desert living experience but also contribute to the overall well-being of the community. In this section, we will explore different ways to support local economies and businesses in desert areas. 11.4.1 Shopping locally. One of the simplest and most effective ways to support local economies in the desert is by shopping locally. Seek out local markets, stores, and businesses for your everyday needs. By purchasing goods and services from local vendors, you not only contribute to the local economy but also help sustain jobs and livelihoods within the community. Additionally, buying locally often means fresher and more unique products, which can enhance your desert living experience. 11.4.2 Supporting desert agriculture. Desert regions often have unique agricultural practices that are adapted to the arid environment. By supporting local farmers and agricultural initiatives, you can help sustain these practices and contribute to the local food production. Look for farmers markets or community-supported agriculture programs in your area and purchase locally grown produce. Not only does this support the local economy, but it also promotes sustainable farming practices and reduces the carbon footprint associated with long-distance food transportation. 11.4.3 Engaging with local artisans and craftspeople. Desert regions are often rich in cultural heritage and traditional crafts. Engaging with local artisans and craftspeople not only supports their livelihoods but also helps preserve and promote the unique cultural identity of the community. Look for local art galleries, craft fairs, or workshops where you can purchase handmade crafts, artwork, or traditional products. By supporting these artisans, you contribute to the preservation of traditional skills and craftsmanship while adding unique pieces to your desert dwelling. 11.4.4 Participating in local events and festivals. Desert communities often organize various events and festivals that celebrate their cultural heritage, traditions, and local industries. Participating in these events not only provides an opportunity to immerse yourself in the local culture but also supports the local economy. Attend local music festivals, art exhibitions, or food fairs to experience the vibrant spirit of the desert community and contribute to the success of these events. Your participation helps generate revenue for local businesses and encourages the continuation of these cultural celebrations. 11.4.5 Volunteering and giving back. Another way to support local economies and businesses in the desert is by volunteering your time and skills. Many desert communities rely on volunteers to organize events, maintain public spaces, or support local initiatives. By offering your assistance, you not only contribute to the well-being of the community but also build connections and relationships with local businesses and organizations. Volunteering can be a rewarding way to give back and make a positive impact on the local economy. 11.4.6 Promoting sustainable tourism. Desert regions often attract tourists who are interested in exploring the unique landscapes and cultural heritage. As a desert dweller, you can play a role in promoting sustainable tourism practices that benefit the local economy. Encourage responsible tourism by sharing information about local businesses, attractions, and sustainable practices with visitors. By supporting eco-friendly accommodations, local tour operators, and responsible travel practices, you contribute to the economic growth of the community while preserving the fragile desert ecosystem. 11.4.7 Collaborating with local businesses. Building strong relationships with local businesses can create a mutually beneficial environment. Consider collaborating with local entrepreneurs, artisans, or service providers to create unique products or experiences that cater to the needs of the desert community. By working together, you can tap into the local market and support each other's ventures. Collaborations can range from organizing workshops, offering specialized services, or creating joint marketing initiatives that promote the local economy. 11.4.8 Supporting local conservation efforts. Desert regions often face environmental challenges, such as water scarcity and land degradation. Supporting local conservation efforts can help protect the delicate desert ecosystem and contribute to the long-term sustainability of the community. Look for local organizations or initiatives focused on desert conservation and contribute through donations, volunteering, or participating in awareness campaigns. By supporting these efforts, you help preserve the natural beauty and biodiversity of the desert while supporting the local economy. Living in the middle of the desert provides a unique opportunity to support and engage with local economies and businesses. By shopping locally, supporting desert agriculture, engaging with local artisans, participating in events, volunteering, promoting sustainable tourism, collaborating with local businesses, and supporting conservation efforts, you can contribute to the economic growth and well-being of the desert community. Embrace the spirit of desert living by actively supporting and engaging with the local economy, and you will find yourself becoming an integral part of the vibrant desert community. 12. Challenges and solutions in desert living. Living in the middle of the desert can be a unique and rewarding experience. However, it also comes with its own set of challenges. In this section, we will explore some key strategies and considerations for thriving in the desert environment. 12.1 Managing sandstorms and dust devils. Sandstorms and dust devils are common occurrences in desert regions. These natural phenomena can pose challenges to desert dwellers, but with proper preparation and knowledge, you can effectively manage and mitigate their impact. Understanding sandstorms. Sandstorms, also known as dust storms, occur when strong winds pick up loose sand and dust particles, creating a swirling cloud that reduces visibility and can cause damage to property and infrastructure. These storms can last for hours or even days, depending on the intensity of the wind. Preparing for sandstorms. To effectively manage sandstorms, it is important to be prepared. Here are some key steps you can take. Stay informed, keep track of weather forecasts and pay attention to any warnings or alerts related to sandstorms. This will allow you to take necessary precautions in advance. Secure your property. Ensure that your home and any outdoor structures are well maintained and properly sealed. This will help prevent sand and dust from entering your living spaces during a storm. Consider installing weather stripping around doors and windows to create a tight seal. Create a safe room. Designate a specific room in your home as a safe room where you can seek shelter during a sandstorm. This room should be well insulated and have minimal windows to reduce the risk of sand infiltration. Stock up on supplies. Keep an emergency kit stocked with essential supplies such as food, water, flashlights, batteries, and a first aid kit. It is also advisable to have a battery-powered radio or a portable generator to stay connected during power outages. During a sandstorm. When a sandstorm hits, it is important to take immediate action to protect yourself and your property. Here are some guidelines to follow. Stay indoors. Seek shelter in your designated safe room or any other enclosed space. Close all windows and doors and seal any gaps with towels or blankets to prevent sand from entering. Turn off ventilation systems. Shut off any air conditioning or heating systems that draw air from the outside. This will help prevent sand from entering your home. Cover your mouth and nose. Use a mask or a damp cloth to cover your mouth and nose to avoid inhaling dust particles. Breathing in fine sand can be harmful to your respiratory system. Avoid driving. If you are outside when a sandstorm hits, seek shelter immediately and avoid driving if possible. Sandstorms can significantly reduce visibility, making driving extremely dangerous. Dust devils. Dust devils are small whirlwinds that occur in arid regions. They are typically less intense than sandstorms but can still cause minor damage. Here are some tips for managing dust devils. Stay alert. Keep an eye out for signs of dust devils, such as swirling dust or debris. Dust devils are usually short-lived and relatively harmless, but it is still important to be aware of their presence. Secure loose objects. Dust devils can pick up lightweight objects and cause them to become projectiles. Secure any loose items in your yard or outdoor areas to prevent them from being carried away or causing damage. Seek shelter. If you encounter a dust devil while outdoors, seek shelter in a sturdy building or vehicle until it passes. Avoid standing near tall structures or trees that could potentially be knocked over by the wind. Conclusion. Living in the middle of the desert requires careful consideration and preparation for managing sandstorms and dust devils. By staying informed, securing your property, and taking appropriate precautions during these events, you can minimize the impact and ensure your safety in this unique environment. Living in the middle of the desert can be a unique and rewarding experience. However, it also comes with its own set of challenges. In order to thrive in such an extreme environment, it is important to be well prepared and knowledgeable about desert living. This section will provide you with valuable information on how to live in the middle of the desert. 12.2 Dealing with water shortages and droughts. Water scarcity is one of the most significant challenges when living in the middle of the desert. With limited rainfall and high evaporation rates, it is crucial to develop effective strategies for dealing with water shortages and droughts. In this section, we will explore various techniques and practices that can help you manage your water resources efficiently. 12.2.1 Conserving and collecting rainwater. Rainwater is a precious resource in the desert, and conserving and collecting it should be a top priority. One effective way to conserve rainwater is through the use of rain barrels or cisterns. These containers can be placed strategically around your dwelling to collect rainwater from rooftops or other surfaces. The collected water can then be used for various purposes such as irrigation, cleaning, and even drinking if properly treated. To maximize rainwater collection, it is important to ensure that your dwelling has a well-designed rainwater harvesting system. This may include gutter systems, downspouts, and filters to prevent debris from entering the collection containers. Additionally, implementing techniques such as contouring the land and creating swales can help direct rainwater to areas where it can be absorbed by the soil and benefit plants. 12.2.2 Digging wells and utilizing groundwater. Another important source of water in the desert is groundwater. Digging wells can provide access to this valuable resource. However, it is essential to understand the local geology and hydrology before attempting to dig a well. Consulting with experts or local authorities can help you determine the best location and depth for your well. When digging a well, it is important to consider the quality and quantity of the groundwater. Regular testing should be conducted to ensure that the water is safe for consumption. Additionally, it is crucial to monitor the water level in the well to prevent overextraction and depletion of the aquifer. 12.2.3 Desalination techniques for saltwater sources. In some desert regions, access to freshwater may be limited, but saltwater sources such as the ocean or saline aquifers may be available. Desalination is a process that removes salt and other impurities from saltwater, making it suitable for various uses. There are several desalination techniques available, including reverse osmosis, distillation, and electrodialysis. Reverse osmosis is one of the most commonly used desalination methods. It involves forcing saltwater through a semi-permeable membrane, which allows water molecules to pass through while trapping salt and other impurities. Distillation, on the other hand, involves heating saltwater to produce steam, which is then condensed to obtain freshwater. Electrodialysis uses an electric current to separate salt ions from water molecules. While desalination can be an effective solution for obtaining freshwater in the desert, it is important to consider the energy requirements and environmental impacts associated with these processes. Implementing renewable energy sources, such as solar or wind power, can help mitigate the carbon footprint of desalination. 12.2.4 Efficient irrigation methods for desert gardens. If you plan to have a garden in the desert, it is crucial to use efficient irrigation methods to minimize water usage. Drip irrigation is one of the most effective techniques for desert gardening. It involves delivering water directly to the roots of plants through a network of tubes or pipes with small emitters. This method reduces water loss due to evaporation and ensures that water is delivered precisely where it is needed. Another efficient irrigation method is the use of mulch. Applying a layer of organic mulch around plants helps retain moisture in the soil, reducing the need for frequent watering. Additionally, grouping plants with similar water requirements together can help optimize water usage and prevent overwatering. 12.2.5 Water recycling and reuse strategies. In a desert environment, every drop of water counts. Implementing water recycling and reuse strategies can significantly reduce water consumption. Greywater recycling is one such strategy that involves collecting and treating wastewater from sources such as sinks, showers, and laundry. This treated water can then be used for non-potable purposes like irrigation or toilet flushing. Rainwater harvesting systems can also be designed to incorporate water recycling. By using filters and treatment methods, collected rainwater can be purified and reused for various purposes. Additionally, implementing water-saving fixtures such as low-flow toilets and faucets can help reduce water usage in your dwelling. 12.2.6 Dealing with drought and water scarcity. Droughts are a common occurrence in desert regions, and it is important to be prepared to cope with extended periods of water scarcity. Conserving water during droughts becomes even more critical. Implementing water-saving practices such as taking shorter showers, fixing leaks promptly, and using water-efficient appliances can help reduce water consumption. During droughts, it is also important to prioritize water usage. Focus on essential needs such as drinking, cooking, and hygiene, and minimize non-essential uses like watering lawns or washing cars. By being mindful of your water usage and making conscious efforts to conserve, you can help ensure that water is available for essential needs during drought conditions. In conclusion, living in the middle of the desert requires careful management of water resources. By implementing strategies such as rainwater harvesting, well digging, desalination, efficient irrigation, water recycling, and conservation during droughts, you can effectively deal with water shortages and ensure a sustainable water supply for your desert dwelling. 12.3 Addressing desertification and land degradation. Desertification and land degradation are significant challenges that individuals living in arid environments must address. These processes can have severe consequences for both the natural ecosystem and human livelihoods. Desertification refers to the degradation of land in arid, semi-arid, and dry subhumid areas, primarily caused by human activities and climate change. It involves the loss of vegetation, soil erosion, and a decline in water quality and availability. To ensure the sustainability of desert living, it is crucial to understand the causes and effects of desertification and implement effective strategies to address these issues. 12.3.1 Understanding desertification. Desertification occurs due to a combination of factors, including overgrazing, deforestation, improper agricultural practices, climate change, and unsustainable land management. Overgrazing by livestock can lead to the removal of vegetation cover, exposing the soil to erosion by wind and water. Deforestation, often driven by the need for fuelwood and land conversion for agriculture, disrupts the natural balance and reduces the ability of the land to retain moisture. Improper agricultural practices, such as excessive irrigation and the use of chemical fertilizers, can deplete the soil of nutrients and increase salinity, making it less fertile. Climate change exacerbates desertification by altering rainfall patterns and increasing the frequency and intensity of droughts. Rising temperatures and changing weather patterns can also lead to the expansion of desert areas. These factors, combined with unsustainable land management practices, contribute to the degradation of the land and the loss of biodiversity. 12.3.2 Preventing desertification. Preventing desertification requires a multifaceted approach that addresses both the causes and effects of land degradation. Here are some strategies that can be implemented to combat desertification. 12.3.2.1 Sustainable land management. Implementing sustainable land management practices is crucial to prevent desertification. This includes adopting conservation agriculture techniques such as contour plowing, terracing, and agroforestry. These practices help to reduce soil erosion, improve water retention, and enhance soil fertility. Additionally, rotational grazing and proper management of livestock can prevent overgrazing and allow vegetation to regenerate. 12.3.2.2 Reforestation and afforestation. Reforestation and afforestation initiatives play a vital role in combating desertification. Planting trees and restoring native vegetation helps to stabilize the soil, reduce erosion, and increase water infiltration. Native species that are well adapted to arid conditions should be prioritized to ensure their survival and resilience. 12.3.2.3 Water conservation and management. Efficient water conservation and management practices are essential in arid environments. This includes implementing drip irrigation systems, mulching, and rainwater harvesting techniques. By reducing water wastage and maximizing water use efficiency, it is possible to minimize the impact of water scarcity on the land and vegetation. 12.3.2.4 Soil conservation. Protecting and improving soil health is crucial in preventing desertification. Techniques such as contour plowing, windbreaks, and the use of organic matter can help to reduce soil erosion and enhance soil fertility. Avoiding the use of chemical fertilizers and pesticides can also prevent soil degradation and maintain a healthy ecosystem. 12.3.3 Rehabilitating degraded land. In addition to prevention, it is essential to rehabilitate degraded land to restore its productivity and ecological balance. Here are some strategies for land rehabilitation. 12.3.3.1 Soil restoration. Soil restoration involves improving soil structure, fertility, and water holding capacity. This can be achieved through the application of organic matter, such as compost and manure, which helps to replenish nutrients and enhance soil microbial activity. Additionally, the use of cover crops and crop rotation can prevent soil erosion and improve soil health. 12.3.3.2 Erosion control. Implementing erosion control measures is crucial to prevent further degradation of the land. This can include the construction of terraces, check dams, and contour bunds to slow down water flow and reduce soil erosion. Planting vegetation, such as grasses and shrubs, can also help stabilize the soil and prevent wind erosion. 12.3.3.3 Ecological restoration. Restoring the ecological balance of degraded areas involves reintroducing native plant species and promoting biodiversity. This can be achieved through reseeding, transplanting, and the removal of invasive species. Restoring the natural vegetation cover helps to improve soil fertility, conserve water, and provide habitat for wildlife. 12.3.4 Collaboration and education. Addressing desertification and land degradation requires collaboration among individuals, communities, and governments. It is essential to raise awareness about the importance of sustainable land management practices and the consequences of desertification. Education and training programs can empower local communities to implement effective strategies and participate in land rehabilitation efforts. Collaboration with scientists, researchers, and environmental organizations can also provide valuable expertise and resources. By implementing these strategies and working together, it is possible to address desertification and land degradation in arid environments. Protecting and restoring the land not only ensures the sustainability of desert living but also contributes to the preservation of biodiversity and the overall health of the planet. 12.4 Adapting to climate change in arid environments. Living in the middle of the desert can be a challenging endeavor, especially with the increasing impact of climate change. As temperatures rise and water scarcity becomes more prevalent, it is crucial to adapt to these changing conditions in order to thrive in arid environments. In this section, we will explore various strategies and techniques to help you adapt to climate change in the desert. 12.4.1 Understanding the impact of climate change. Before we delve into adaptation strategies, it is important to understand the impact of climate change on arid environments. Rising temperatures, changing precipitation patterns, and increased frequency of extreme weather events are some of the key effects of climate change in the desert. These changes can have significant implications for water availability, biodiversity, and overall ecosystem health. 12.4.2 Water Conservation and Management. Water scarcity is a major concern in arid environments, and climate change exacerbates this issue. To adapt to these challenges, it is crucial to implement effective water conservation and management strategies. Some key approaches include 12.4.2.1 Rainwater harvesting. Capturing and storing rainwater can provide a valuable source of water in arid regions. Implementing rainwater harvesting systems, such as rooftop collection systems and rain barrels, can help you maximize water availability during the limited rainy seasons. 12.4.2.2 Efficient irrigation techniques. When it comes to irrigating your crops or gardens, it is essential to use efficient techniques that minimize water wastage. Drip irrigation, for example, delivers water directly to the plant roots, reducing evaporation and ensuring optimal water usage. 12.4.2.3 Greywater recycling. Greywater recycling involves reusing water from sources such as sinks, showers, and laundry for non-potable purposes like irrigation. Implementing greywater recycling systems can help reduce water consumption and increase overall water availability. 12.4.2.4 Water-efficient appliances and fixtures. Installing water-efficient appliances and fixtures, such as low-flow toilets and showerheads, can significantly reduce water usage in your desert dwelling. These small changes can add up to substantial water savings over time. 12.4.3 Sustainable energy solutions. As climate change continues to impact arid environments, it is crucial to transition to sustainable energy sources to reduce greenhouse gas emissions and mitigate further climate change. Here are some key strategies for adopting sustainable energy solutions. 12.4.3.1 Solar power. Harnessing the abundant sunlight in the desert, solar power can be a reliable and sustainable energy source. Installing solar panels on your dwelling can provide clean energy for various needs, including electricity and heating. 12.4.3.2 Wind energy. In areas with consistent wind patterns, wind energy can be a viable option for generating electricity. Installing wind turbines can help you harness the power of the wind and reduce reliance on fossil fuels. 12.4.3.3 Energy-efficient appliances and lighting. Reducing energy consumption is essential in adapting to climate change. Opt for energy-efficient appliances and LED lighting to minimize your energy usage and lower your carbon footprint. 12.4.4 Building resilient structures. In the face of climate change, it is crucial to construct resilient and energy-efficient dwellings in arid environments. Here are some key considerations. 12.4.4.1 Insulation. Proper insulation is essential for maintaining comfortable indoor temperatures in extreme desert conditions. Insulating your dwelling can help reduce the need for excessive heating or cooling, thereby conserving energy. 12.4.4.2 Passive cooling techniques. Implementing passive cooling techniques can help keep your dwelling cool without relying heavily on energy-consuming air conditioning. Strategies such as shading, natural ventilation, and thermal mass can significantly reduce the need for artificial cooling. 12.4.4.3 Sustainable materials. Choosing sustainable and locally sourced building materials can reduce the environmental impact of construction. Materials such as adobe, rammed earth, and straw bales offer excellent insulation properties and are environmentally friendly. 12.4.5 Biodiversity conservation. Preserving and conserving biodiversity is crucial in adapting to climate change in arid environments. Here are some key strategies. 12.4.5.1 Native plant species. Utilizing native plant species in your landscaping and gardening endeavors can help support local biodiversity. Native plants are adapted to the local climate and require less water and maintenance, making them ideal for arid environments. 12.4.5.2 Wildlife-friendly habitats. Creating wildlife-friendly habitats in your surroundings can help support local desert species. Incorporate features such as water sources, native vegetation, and shelter to attract and sustain wildlife. 12.4.5.3 Avoiding invasive species. Preventing the introduction and spread of invasive plant and animal species is crucial for maintaining the delicate balance of desert ecosystems. Invasive species can outcompete native species and disrupt the natural biodiversity of the area. 12.4.6 Community engagement and collaboration. Adapting to climate change in arid environments requires collective action and community engagement. Here are some ways to foster collaboration and support. 12.4.6.1 Sharing knowledge and resources. Engage with your local community to share knowledge and resources related to sustainable living in the desert. Collaborate on water conservation projects, energy initiatives, and biodiversity conservation efforts to create a more resilient community. 12.4.6.2 Supporting local economies. By supporting local businesses and economies, you contribute to the overall sustainability and resilience of your desert community. Purchase locally produced goods and services, and promote sustainable practices within the local economy. 12.4.6.3 Advocacy and policy engagement. Get involved in advocacy and policy initiatives related to climate change adaptation in arid environments. Engage with local and regional authorities to promote sustainable practices, influence policy decisions, and raise awareness about the importance of adapting to climate change. Adapting to climate change in arid environments requires a multifaceted approach that encompasses water conservation, sustainable energy solutions, resilient building practices, biodiversity conservation, and community engagement. By implementing these strategies, you can not only thrive in the middle of the desert but also contribute to the overall sustainability and resilience of your environment.